Who will be next?
Greetings, fellow operatives. Agent Beth here, undercover as your favorite esports host to bring you the latest NACT recap. Just as you thought, the NACT 2024 Spring regular season has come to a, stale end. The last day broadcast brought you more twists and turns than you could have expected. Bloodhounds, still grappling with defeat, took a match win straight from Devious Activity's pockets. Meanwhile, Nighthorde snatched the eyeballs of tens and thousands of viewers as they dethroned our kings and sent BTK back to square one. With playoffs right around the corner, let's discuss the paths to victory for some of your favorite teams.
Yo, I am muted. BTK is not kicked out of the NACT.
Bloodhounds found themselves
No.
in a 10,000 goal deficit, unable to claw their way to victory against DA.
I was
But
muted.
hold on to your
I
hats,
forgot I was
because
muted.
two was where the Bloodhounds showed us
Interesting.
their true
BTK is
potential
not out. Why?
into a
Why do people
fierce
think? Why are
playoff
people
run.
thinking that?
Old Carrasco boldly locking in that Eudora not only left her casters
We'll be
speechless
doing,
at the draft, but surprised the entire NACT community with an insane comeback victory. We got some inside scoopity doop into
Boy
the excitement
said,
of the boys after the win.
These are the
so
playoffs.
let's
These
take
are
a
the
listen.
playoffs.
Keep going, keep
Yeah.
going. Me, I'm up in 5. I'm up
The
in 5.
NACT playoffs, baby.
I'm going for the tower.
I just need the Brody skin. What Brody skin?
No, it's fine, it's fine.
3 years. I don't even think I've been streaming on YouTube for 3 years. Sheesh.
Any dice?
Keep going. Almost there.
Right here?
We have another way too.
All I want is my mod.
Nice.
Oh my god, okay.
You gotta win it, man. You gotta win it. I still have to get a lot of the IDs, I think, for some of the people that did win before, so.
Their heroic performance illuminated the path
What else?
ahead
It's
for just
cold, my
what they're
boy.
capable of in
What up, what up?
Last week's headline stealer, though, if you haven't caught up yet, was the insane.
We still got a couple
upset of
minutes
Nighthorde
before the
against
playoffs are even going in.
A decisive game one wrapped up in under 14 minutes, left jaws dropped. Then a stroke of genius with the Ixia pick outranged and outdamaged BTK. And
Said it looked like I've been sleeping all day. Pretty much. I got a fresh haircut.
Real dark horse
You know what it be?
season, just
You know,
like
fresh
their
haircut.
Rumor has it though that Oh My Foe started channeling his inner zoo after that epic win against BTK, so let's tap into the wildness.
Let me I'll jump in the reseal and get him going.
Wait, what did the Yo.
I gotta jump into the link.
Overall, guys, we wrapped up the regular season with a rather unsurprising GG number 1 and a BTK number 2. What I have
My
and
oh, okay. Here.
honestly,
Oh, no.
so should you.
What is this?
Are the dark horses and rising stars like the Nighthorde, Area 77, Fiends, and Devious Activity. But who are you rooting for in the playoffs? Comment down below.
All right, nice. Let me go jump on him real
Inside Agents
fast.
informed us that LEGACi is keeping its ace up its sleeves until the playoffs. I guess we'll find out their secret weapon very soon. Looking at the playoffs bracket, it seems like a GG is the only team with a fairly straight shot into the semifinals. Its ex-wife BTK, however, might face a tougher road ahead. Luckily, BTK has stuck with its tried and true regular season roster this time, so let's hope the Kings can swiftly regain momentum and give us a powerhouse performance in the playoffs. That's it for us today. Codename NACT regular season, mission success. Will host Liz return to the playoffs, or is she codename gone? I guess you'll have to find out this weekend. Agent Beth, signing off.
NACT spring season has been nothing but big plays and hype moments. 77 is going to have to back off. Bahari doesn't care though. Look at the damage coming on the Jules Cutie, able to shred him down. Every team has fought hard and competed at the highest level.
White Chicken able to get the I'm offended. Tarzan Cutie goes down. Maybe they should have just gone for the Lord, but they decide not to. They want to try to force this right here, but Jay is bursted. Shark back on the field. Area 77 are falling. Did they push it too far? Gaimin Gladiators don't come to our base just yet.
Now let's take a look back at their finest moments.
But the Lord is down to half health already. BTK, do they want to try to end this here? Oh, the final slash does lock on to Pro Destroy. Milo back in, knock up, taken out. Basic able to pick up the kill. Magic taking so much damage, but Kohari is up and ready to go. Speedy Light Wheel. Not able to connect just yet. Nicolette able to find another. It's nothing but Kohari and Churro against the world. And the minions are closing in. Will this be a 2-0? Fiends still trying to put it all on the line here. BTK feeling confident, dropping the toss. Just lock onto the base and finish it. Kohari gonna be the next to fall. Milo looking for it, but now Kohari gets the shutdown. And now the minions are back up. It's Churro and Kohari still against the world, but BTK's not playing anymore.
We're entering the 20-minute sleeps in trouble.
Ooh, a lot of damage on a Sleepy, but they got to get back to base quick. The Lord is already almost there. Oh, Minoan's Fury does come out. Full Barrage Flicker, but that is a lot wasted there. Can they clear it out? No, they're locking onto the base, and that is it.
Well, so it's just like a great combination by them.
Ooh.
Oh, another Divine Judgment.
Melon able to get the kill. Lord still coming. Bloodhound's down one member. A lot of damage on Ooga Booga. Melon able to get the kill. No T finds him asleep. Gets away with just a sliver. Yato flickers in. Lord is on the base, and it's 5 members chipping it down. DA take game 3.
Yeah, the Vengeance just pretty much doing the damage itself in Jay here.
Oh, they tried for the Divine Judgment, but did get caught. Kohari finds the kill there. A blazing duet from ISO, not able to find too many marks there. You can see the Vengeance from Uneven with those electrifying beats, able to put some damage on Kohari on the back line, trying to shred down. Yureshi might be the next one, and that is it. You can see Kohari. There are no more members for him to take down.
Melon onto T, cushion to the backside, looking for Boca. Taking a little bit too much damage. Ooga Booga able to force him away. T also taking a lot, easy peasy. Finds the decimation. Immortality down. T down. But the Lord has fallen as well. They want to lock onto the base. Can they finish this? Ooga Booga does it.
ISO finds the tower into the back. Nicolette with that time journey to try to protect her team. Bursted down. Taken down by Mark Cutie. This could be the end. ISO still pushing into the tower. It's just Colo left. We have minions up at the top. Basic with the blazing duet. Trying to clear out the minions. Gets taken out by ISO. Here comes Mielo with the damage. He gets taken out by Mark Cutie. It's just Cold World left, but they have no minions. Still going to try to force it at this mid tower. We have the timers up. Yureshi coming in. Zane is back out. Is he going to have the heavy spin ready? The core goes down. This is going to be a sweep for Area 77.
Both sides were going to kill their first kills of the game. You are going to see Cutie and Nash get the kill for the side of LEGACi, but the invasion on the orange buff.
Ooh, a lot of damage onto Riles there. I mean, Rams is there. Rams is going to take it. Praise Wrath goes down. Rams able to just get away with a singular HP there. But we're already seeing the possibilities from the side of LG, the invades. Whoopi now there as well. Ooga Booga looking for the invade, able to get the knock up. The Tyrant's Revenge. The Template goes down. Ooga Booga taking a lot of damage. Whoopi looking for the final punch, the knockout punch, and knocks him out.
You're still looking at 7 turrets in favor for GG though, but maybe some more for Devious Activity as they're now seizing the opportunity.
Ooh, big final slash onto TT goes down. Melon on the run. Fried Chicken finds the kill. Kush might just be next. It's a 3-for-1 trade. Best player's been down, and they don't care. Yato now in trouble, in the wall, trying to get away. Shark not gonna let it happen. It's the final slash, and all that's left is Mikasa. Can they end this here? It's nothing but Mikasa on the field. Mikasa pops the ult. Gonna try to, oh my God, look at the damage to Mikasa, but he's immediately taken out. GG will close the night out early.
The teams are ready for their battles, but only 2 will make it to Vegas for the final showdown. NACT, it's time to pick your champion.
button. All right. Hey, sorry, I was getting the players on.
The moment we've all been waiting for, guys. Welcome to day one of the playoffs.
There's still one more of LG coming in.
Warm-ups are history now, and it's time to separate the contenders from the pretenders. Fresh rosters, higher stakes, and the threat of fast elimination set the stage for top-tier gaming. Joining with me on the caster sets today are our veterans, Steph Weezy and Private. How's excitement ramping up the playoff stage, boys?
Oh, I'm excited. Hey, we're finally here. The playoff is on fire now. We've had a great regular season, and now jumping into day one. We better do it with Liz and also Private. How you doing?
Yeah, it's excitement galore here because now it is do or die time for all of these teams. Time to pull out all the stops, no more monkeying around. And for some of these teams, it might be their swan song on the way out.
The swan song.
Yeah, and we'll find out very soon. First up, let's take a recap at the playoffs format. We are here at day one of the playoffs, still with our same 8 rosters, but this time a misstep could mean a swift exit, and someone is going home.
It's all best out of 5 today.
Is double elimination series with best of 5s for the winners bracket and best of 3s when you drop to losers bracket. The playoffs bracket right now is shown on screen and is reflecting of the team's regular season standings. GG and BTK secured a top spots in the regular season, so they have a relatively easier roster to begin with and a pretty clear path to semifinals.
It's gonna be a long night, I know.
Teams are gonna make it to the grand finals, so we'll find out who's coming to
always keeps me up.
Yeah, and I mean, just like you mentioned, it's make it or break it now. There's actually something to lose. It's not a point system anymore. You can be knocked out of the NACT going forward here. You know, there's not too many chances left on the board. You have a best of 5. In the upper bracket, you get knocked down.
Yo, that is
best
crazy.
Of 3, you're gone. So we're gonna see who has that merit in them to be able to climb up that ladder to the top.
I think it's even holding a phone.
Yeah, and as we were talking about, there's no more points here, but the points have pretty much laid rest of where these teams are.
Is that what he's going to use for cams?
The best taking on the proverbial worst from the season right now, but that doesn't mean that all is done yet. They still have a chance, an opportunity to prove some of those
criminal, Dave.
Wrong.
Criminal.
Yeah, and even though only the top 2 teams are making it to Vegas, everyone gets a prize. So let's take a look at the prize pool for all of our teams. Now,
GG should have done
excitement. We have a total of $25,000 in diamonds for grabs, and the top team will be clinching home a $10,000 cash prize. And in addition to that, we have an $100 USD bonus for each win.
That's the 5s today. Yes.
Actually, an additional
2 teams play today, 2 play tomorrow.
As well as a $3 million prize pool for
in the chat. What's up, brother?
A lot of prizes this season.
And speaking of prizes, another addition. Every series that a team wins is another $100 in their pocket.
I scratched my neck again, bro. When I want to itch my neck, I'm like too fucking white. I need to go get
North America.
What's that?
Yeah, and
Ryle should be getting on.
Prize pool. There's also the MVP of the night in the grand finals. We'll have a little extra moolah. So we're just giving out money back and forth to some of those better players out here, and it's going to be very exciting to see who can come out on top.
Yep, and stay tuned for all of our exciting prizes for our viewers. As you catch the screen, we have giveaways coming up after.
My English is as bad as yours, Dave.
Now, for today's matches, we have the winners bracket top best of 5s with GG versus LEGACi and then Area 77 versus FIENDS. Now, both teams, we know that GG and Area 77 actually don't have
good morning,
but LEGACi and FIENDS have a pretty big roster change, so a lot that we can go into afterwards.
Yeah, let me see if they're having cam problems. I see people like trying to connect. Or is this? Oh no, this is the main director.
It's gonna be a long.
What's this like left camera?
For a couple of teams. Hey, time will tell. I'm not gonna throw that caster curse out there. But anything is possible in the land of Dawn. I mean, we've been asking the question, who can go toe-to-toe with, the kings of the hill, the people that are at the top of the ladder?
I think Riles has to, like, it just popped back up. I think Riles has to, like, turn on his...
even into the regular season in that top 8.
PC
Didn't have the greatest run, but hey,
him a second.
Now's their chance. Hopefully they learned enough in the regular season to be able to bridge that gap and put on some great competition today.
Well, Michael, I'm good, man.
I want to say this season for NACT has been loaded with just extra opportunities. Whether it's the qualifiers, that happened on 2 different weeks, which gave you extra opportunities to try to make it into the top 8, or even right now where it's a best of 5. So that is at the very least 3 games for you to kind of set the tone.
All the players are ready besides Riles.
And rise to the occasion.
Yeah.
And will LEGACi's roster change be that fresh start they needed? Let's take a look at what changed for the LEGACi team.
Riles, are you all right? They're looking for you to ready up as well whenever you can.
Swapping out for Whoopi will be an addition to LEGACi. A couple of teams have been swapping around. Switching the XP lane, I feel like it could have a phenomenal impact. I'm excited to see how it goes, but nonetheless, LEGACi definitely has a lot.
Am I the manager of BTK now?
Step into, especially
yes,
going
I
up
am.
against a team such as Gaimin Gladiators with the new addition on the roster for the playoffs.
Riles is getting on, but I see
Yeah, it's actually really exciting to see if they have had a little bit of a struggle when it comes to the team compositions, being able to protect Riles on some of those more comfortable picks that he likes with the assassins. But I mean, if any time is we're at that point where it now is all that matters. We're at the playoffs. One of these teams going to be moving forward. One of these teams going to be dropping to the lower bracket.
You're using
and let's
the co-director link, right?
Rosters coming up.
Yeah, you can see we just talked about it. We talked about it before. There's no changes here. It's kind of hard to mess with what we've been considering perfection so far. Is he going to be in the gold lane Shark, in the Roam Hoon, taking up the mid lane?
Riles said he tried. He said his camera is like freaking out right now, so he's not going to be able to.
Bringing up the XP lane. And
I mean, when I joined the VC, you could see him like struggling around, like the mic was like he was like trying to rush it.
But I mean, there was one match that was a very big surprise that kind of came at a cost of maybe them being a little indecisive when it came to some of the draft. Yeah, so I mean, we're looking for them to kind of close up those holes here as they move on here in the playoffs.
Let me go make Jolie do it.
Yeah, and GG is a team where every season they've played so far, they haven't really had a roster change, even in the previous 2 seasons. And for this playoffs match, do you guys think there's going to be a difference when it comes to best of 5 series,
I heard
how the series is going to come up?
I feel like a best of 5 always has a different dynamic because there's more things that you can kind of work toward if something doesn't work in game number 1, right? When you lose game number 1, it's match point and it can be an easy sweep and you're out of there. But when you have to lose essentially 3 games in a row to be knocked out, you have a lot more leverage to be able to bounce back. And I think a lot of teams can lean on that, especially when it comes to drafting. We do have a new hero in the game available. I mean, we got
Jolie's
for the end of the season.
Uses his second phone as a camera, and it's
I know he hasn't been kind of selected as one of the hot prospects, but it does change a little bit of the dynamic on what you may see in terms of drafting. So with a best of 5, definitely expect some surprises.
Yeah, especially now that we've been seeing a little bit more, especially Hoon on Lu Yi right now has been really favoring that mage, kind of been able to kind of get them around the map, get other players to their lanes very fast. A lot of damage and CC coming in with it. And
do I think of Kohari the Brave role swap?
So it's been an amazing game for them.
I don't know.
So
it's
far,
going to be quite wild.
This is the playoffs now.
I'm scrolling up to read on some of the cameras.
And roll forward.
Riles scared? I don't think so. LEGACi and Area representative.
Let's see who
let's see it, LEGACi. Let's see it.
As a favorite today for our predictions.
Sub member for LG. They Riles will get a ton of savages.
All the way for our
I've heard that they got a little something planned, so we'll find out.
Pretty much straight run to victory, and they have a relative.
Jesus Christ! All the casters are like GG. They're hoping GG loses. Will we see Nicolette's face cam tomorrow?
So
maybe.
Do you guys think that's going to make any difference in how it looks for them for today's games?
It's going to be a hard one. I don't want to throw the curse on them. You know, something I am surprised, though, with this prediction is that UA voted with everybody.
All I can say is stay tuned for tomorrow.
We usually see, but hey,
you'll definitely want to be there.
UA's voted with everybody. There is a chance that LEGACi may be able to pull this off. So maybe I should have switched my vote.
Or perhaps Yui considers them the underdogs. Interesting. No, I think Yui just kind of joining up with the crew there, but it's hard to argue against a team like Gaimin Gladiators who have been so successful in North America, especially when it comes to the playoffs. And then when you're talking about a team like LEGACi.
Zeke and Trex tie for predictions.
The shining point for LEGACi is that they have 0 wins, so there is honestly nowhere to go but up for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you already hit rock bottom, so all the only thing you can come is to come back up. And I mean, UA.
I think we're on the next giveaway, AD.
The only team that he's rooting for, no matter what, is
we'll do it monthly, so I'll be doing the next month giveaway.
Well, I believe draft is ready. So casters, let's get into the draft for the first game of day 1 playoffs. Let's get in.
That's right, and into the draft we go. Not going to waste any more time. Game number 1. First series of the playoffs is going to be Gaimin Gladiators up against LEGACi. The number 1 up against the number 8. Private in for a show. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I mean,
these casters don't even want to cast this, bro.
I feel like we talk about Gaimin Gladiators a lot, and when it comes to, especially when it comes to like to one of the top teams here in North America, and for me, I kind of want to focus on like what LEGACi needs to do to be successful. Right now, we've seen Riles play an assortment of junglers. He's played those tanky ones, and he's been able to play some of his assassins. He's not had success on really any of them, and it's not just him, it's the rest of the team that has to kind of collide in and be able to support him with those picks. The one thing I'm wanting to see here from this team, from LEGACi tonight, is timed objectives. When those objectives come up, I want to be seeing the entire team clamoring around for it.
All this to lose the
PH?
I don't know.
Lane. But the time for indecisiveness is over, and it's time for you guys to make a call.
We'll see.
And execute that when the time is right.
It takes time to become the best, man.
We were kind of talking about it, right? Gaimin Gladiators is
why is this picture so large? We were just talking about that.
On the early game objectives, and usually they thrive there. And
I think it's
about that 12-13 minute mark if you let them. On the side of LEGACi, though, you know, their early game's just not really there. Even sometimes when they get the more optimal picks, it just doesn't work in their favor. We haven't seen them win, I believe, a single game in the entire regular season. So, I mean, if they do win one, I guess that is a victory. I mean, if they take even just a single match, it would be great for them. But as we are now looking at the draft so far, a couple of picks.
I didn't watch AP versus or AP Brent versus PH.
We are seeing the Masha. I know you kind of talked about this. The Masha being a little bit of that heavy hitter now, and on the opposing side, the Vexana.
Did AP Brent lose?
Yeah, definitely.
I heard something about it.
A good ban there for the Vexana. It's been like probably one of the top
BTK
picks, and had the most impact on a lot of teams' compositions. The amount of CC she can throw down, the range there, and especially when it comes to
LEGACi
those
wins.
objective fights. You basically
Purple
wait in
head.
the bush, and then as soon as you're ready for the retribution, where Vexana comes in there, CC's the jungler down, and you're able to escape with a retribution onto the turtle and make your escape.
You know, and I'm wondering, I haven't seen Chip banned out yet. I really want to kind of see him in effect. I want to be able to cast one of those games with him on the playing field. I know a lot of people are still wondering, is he really even worth it? Because you allow a lot of valuable options to walk on the table. If you do select it, and sometimes it doesn't provide the strongest CC that you're kind of relying on in that roam position. The R-Lot is going to be taken off the table, though. That will be one of the limited options for either side to be able to pick up. You are still seeing kind of those beefier jungles still available. Something like the Barats can be
I can tell you guys if he actually
Angela, both of them very great. Do have to watch out for that Valentina. Something else that is still currently walking.
Did they accidentally miss a ban or?
Right, you've seen Hoon pick it out. You saw him doing really well on it. Could be a viable option.
One thing that's very interesting is we haven't banned out a lot of those assassins that best player is usually known for. Usually when we're going against somebody like Gaimin Gladiators, you see the Joy banned out, you see the Nolan banned out. So maybe LEGACi knowing something a little that we might not about where best player might be going, but we're going to go ahead, pick up the Ruby first here. She did take a little bit of a nerf just recently where about 50% of her regen
the picture that we have
nerfed
for,
down, I want to say a week ago, but I mean, that has not stopped the dominance
I can't say
of
that
Ruby.
right.
And especially here because it can be kind of a flexible pick, whether it's in the XP lane or as a roam for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, I mean, there is still Nolan on the table too. Maybe that will be a pickup for Gaimin Gladiators if they're able to be able to pull it off. I think the Ruby's great though, even with a little bit of the nerf. Still a very high utility hero that you can slot either into the roam position, possibly into the XP to keep LEGACi on their toes. Looks like they went the double support method though. They are going to ban out that
how to say it.
That Angela, and there goes Nolan. They're not going to let Gaimin Gladiators take it. They're going to go in for the assassin themselves.
It's harder to hear me?
Yeah, and then picking up the export
Is it 'cause
to
they're a
maybe
little bit too loud?
possibly counter out one of those tankier jungle picks by Gaimin Gladiators. I do like it here, but like we
Private's
said
a loud,
before, what I'm
a
wanting
loud
to
boy.
see from LEGACi here is the
There we go.
support of
Hopefully
this
you can hear me
pickup,
better.
because assassins, while they can be, especially on a Nolan, you can be able to get a traverse the map very quickly.
Everybody
get
does
those
want
objectives
GD to
quickly
lose.
and move around to get a lot of that farm. He is susceptible to getting ganked, so you're gonna need to make sure that your team is paying attention. The call-outs are there, and they're able to close in on Gaimin Gladiators when Riles needs them.
The photo that was used was like blown up wrong. I'm not sure why it was like this. So.
I mean, I don't know if it really worked that well.
Dave's working on getting it
the draft
fixed.
that they have so far, which may be a little bit of a problem. I mean, Joy's one of those heroes, kind of like that Nat you can't swap away if you don't have the suppression to be able to stop him in the tracks. Roger is kind of pulling some things out of the C meta. We've been seeing it translate into the North American scene. Inside of that goal lane, I think it works out really well. You can stack it up with something like a Purify to not really have to worry about too much CC, but it gives you the advantage,
they picked
at
up
least
the
in the early
Joy.
phase, to be a little bit more aggressive and dominate your lane.
Yeah, dominate your lane
Kinda
without
squishy
the
right now.
need for those rotations, and that makes it very relaxed.
It's kinda cold
for
in my
Gaimin
house right now,
Gladiators if
chat.
there isn't a counter on there. I think the only thing that we've really seen that can match up with a Roger in that lane is possibly.
I think it's like 90 degrees outside.
Not the Harley, the Harith.
Yeah,
The
82
Harith has been a
degrees.
big thing that can kind of counter, puts up a lot of damage. We've seen him try to match up with carries as well there, but if there isn't one of those two picks, I fear that the marksman lane is probably going to be pretty dominant for Gaimin Gladiators, or Gaimin Gladiators, as we do see that the Farama is going to be picked up here by LEGACi.
Yeah, they're going for the sustainability, right? They took out the Angela, they took out the Mathilda, picked up the Faramis, slots it inside of the mid lane. I think it works out pretty well. Now, I am expecting some anti-heal picked up from the side of Gaimin Gladiators, not only to counter the Faramis, but also to counter that X-Borg to top that off. So it's kind of knocking down two birds with one stone if they're not
Been
careful.
doing good,
now,
man. I've been doing good.
Looking at at least the synergy from
I've
those
been
two heroes,
working
right?
alongside BTK, trying to get them prepped for the NACT,
right?
man.
Utility, he can slow down the team, he can rush him with the last insanity, he can be the initiator as well when the Nolan can't go back in
And getting them
on his,
prepped.
cooldown. So I think it works out really well. And then
Good
you
to be
pair it up
able
with the
to-
heals provided over there by
Good to be able to hang out with a team and
I'm looking at Gaimin Gladiators,
chill
though,
and-
right? They have the Ruby. They
and actually
keep
help
pretty much
out.
everybody in their tracks when they do group up on that fair.
Other than being in the NACT league management, you know?
The Joy, I guess maybe.
Hope I get to go to Saudi. That would be crazy.
One could be a possible plan, but nothing to really solidify stopping him in his tracks.
Yeah, very interesting bans here coming out. We've seen that Hoon does favor that Lu Yi. That's taken off the board from LEGACi. And then I was just talking about that Harith. That it can be probably one of the only counters for Roger. That's going to be taken off the board for Gaimin Gladiators as they go ahead, pick up a Kaja for the ban and a Valentina, which means they're not going to have that IMU.
I need to find a job with
I
Moontime.
say, like, depends on what we're going here. We still have,
But
when
I feel
it
like
comes
that would
to
be
like, those
hard.
roaming positions.
I need Dave to hire me as an accountant.
I'm assuming Shark is going to go ahead and pick up this Ruby. So we're looking for that XP lane. I mean, actually the world is out there for fly
Need
chicken.
North America to make more money.
Out right now.
Well, then I can
So
just
he pretty
quit my
much has his
job
pick
and
of the
then
litter here.
be a full-time influencer.
I mean, he has flexibility, right? He can pretty
Or
much pick out what he
we
wants
gotta
to.
blow
Now,
up
when
on
it comes to
YouTube
getting the XP lane to get to the back
and go
line,
crazy.
I mean, there's not really too
But then
many
I would
backline
have
heroes available
to.
yet. You don't know who LEGACi's gonna
I
pick.
don't know.
We haven't seen their marksman.
It's really. I
picked
feel like
up.
it's
Oh,
kind of
wait a
hard to
second. But
create
there's
a.
a pickup. Is that?
I don't know.
That's going to be Hilda.
Only
That is
thing I could
Hilda.
do
was
like
gonna say,
content wise,
in a
because I do a
long
lot of
time.
esports would be
Yeah,
like
this is
tutorials and shit on heroes, but then I like.
Well, hold on. Hilda got a perm, but anyway, as we
You just do
are going
exclamation
back into
point
this, though, the Hilda
giveaway. It kind
definitely
of
can
shows up
harass
here. I can
inside of
pin it in the
jungle. Can definitely
comment.
be something
You gotta
that
get
Gladiators has to watch out for. But they do have Shark. I've always said that Shark has been one of the few roamers.
The giveaways at the end of every month.
At
the end of every month.
From getting the orange or purple buffs and providing that vision. So I expect him to have some good defense. But definitely
it is a
somebody to have
best
to
out of
watch out
5.
for.
It is a best out of 5.
Yeah, very interesting here. I feel like they are. I like the confidence of this draft from LEGACi
Best out
here,
of 5.
because a lot of these take a lot of synergy, especially with the Hilda. She's going to be trying
See,
to invade.
that's what I would
She's gonna
do.
Get that vision. So
If we could, I could do like live vlogs and stuff.
them, because Gaimin Gladiators, as they close in around a Hilda, you're going to need to make sure that she has that support so that she can make that escape there. But from the side of Gaimin Gladiators, Hoon's going to go ahead and pick up the Navaria, and then we have Brody being picked up.
Yeah, only 2 games today because they're both
and
best
also,
out of
I mean,
5.
There's a missed ban too. I don't know where the missed ban was, but anyway, that's just something interesting that we kind of noticed. But The Brody's good. I mean,
they
especially
pick
against
up,
a Hilda, somebody that's going to rush in and try and get to him. Because
that's a Lightborn Hilda.
Brody's great against that with the corrosive strike to be able to get that stun.
Roger jungle, GG.
Flicker. The Navarro.
I've been seeing GG pull out the Roger in the jungle a lot.
From the Faramis, when they do group up to heal up, he can just drop down that Astro Echo and slow down the whole team and provide that damage from afar and assist the team in terms of utility. But speaking of utility, last pick on the board is going to be the Claw.
Roger jungle. You think they're going to swap it?
Draft here. I'm actually waiting.
I guess I could already find out.
Sticking with this Brody, so then possibly the Roger's going to be the jungler for them. So I mean, and it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, only 2 matches today, but it's kind of going to be a long day because of the best out of 5.
You're going to be able to use that Lycan Pounce to evade a lot of the CC, a lot of the damage that comes out, and actually close in on the back line if you need to. And somebody who actually might be able to match up with the speed that a Nolan pick has for Riles.
When will we see BTK versus GG again?
That assassin. We said, hey, I got something.
So
assassin, switch things up a little bit.
Tomorrow will be. We would have to like refer back to the bracket.
I think the Claude will be okay. He should be able to get to the back line, go back to safety. Does have to watch out for the Ruby pick him up though with that CC.
We would have to see them. We would see them in the winners semifinals.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now jumping into game number 1, the first series
What's chat with Des?
The NACT spring season. Who do you think will be able to claim victory?
Right now, I mean, as far as a draft, there's a lot of boxes that need to be checked for the side of LEGACi to be successful here. But I mean, we've talked about it. This is a draft with a lot of confidence. You can already see Kuya Ken over there on the enemy side, just trying to get vision, wandering about, and they're not able to bring him down.
Yeah, we talked about it, right? Running on that Hilda, being aggressive, invading, but keep an eye on Shark as well. He's trying to provide that defense and keep him at bay.
Not the Pookie Wookie Bear.
The invasion as well on the opposing side. Trying to get anything they can nice and early.
Crazy.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, they're still kind of keeping each other at bay. I do like I was saying, the confidence. I like being able to kind of group into the enemy jungle, make sure that you're
Raul's invading level 2, bro. What the fuck am I looking at?
Job of that right now, as long as he doesn't get caught and taken down, though.
You see, my only worry is there is a Roger, and he definitely is like a shark smelling blood in the water if you're low HP. So you're going to have to be careful. He's going to be able to hit you a little bit harder with that Lincoln Pounce. Now, looking in the gold lane, we are looking at the Brody up against the Claude. The Brody, effectively, I would say, in the early phase is a little bit safer. I mean, the Claude has survivability, though, which will work in his favor. But it is definitely an interesting matchup. You're looking, though, on the bot side, a little bit of an invasion. On the top side, though, Whoopi, GG, going in for the kill.
Let me move my cam first.
We'll be able to take him down first blood for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate.
I had
a little bit of that
Discord in the wrong place.
Wearing out as Gaimin Gladiator is able to very quickly surround. And this is the things I was talking about. LEGACi needs to be very quick about seeing these openings, seeing these, or at least seeing these holes, and being able to kind of shut them down and get around Gaimin Gladiators before they can close in on their teammates.
Let me see if make sure.
Like you said, they're the team. You give them an inch, they go a mile. So you have to be careful. But Kuya Ken, he's not letting it go. He's just going to harass.
What's going on, man? How you been?
That way, LEGACi can get this turtle.
No,
with Shark, it's going to be able to get it right
out there, man.
LEGACi, Kuya Ken need to get out of there, though, taking heavy damage.
Yeah, and still holding it at about 1 kill here
Shark
right now.
turned into a bear, bro.
Did you see that?
We still need to kind of have
Dude, Shark turned into a bear.
Shut down. They're going to start slowing down with some of that aggression, and we need to see them actually make a play happen.
Boy, Shark a teddy bear.
Yeah, speaking of plays, Kuya Ken on the bot side, doing some damage on to Shark. 50% HP, needing to watch out. I mean, just look how heavy of a hitter Hilda is so far. Kuya Ken, like the one-man army, in the hoon. One more hit, maybe able to pull it off. Hit by the CC from Shark. Another round going down for the sustainability. You are going to see both sides fight it out. Blake Dweck from Jolie. Riles join the party. Looks like both sides will disengage and nobody will fall.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. What I wanted to see from LEGACi is all of them. You saw that Kuya Ken actually got well deep into Gaimin Gladiators territory, but you have
I did go to bed at like 4 a.m. last night, and I seen Dez on, and I was like, what the fuck?
Comes in to help and aid in the escape.
I'm a psychopath.
Yeah,
dude, pulling the 12-hour streams like me, man, turning into a YouTube robot.
Group up. But right now, you are seeing Gaimin Gladiators ahead by 1
I'm telling
kill.
you.
They did lose that turtle
content,
working
man,
in LEGACi's favor. And we said LEGACi had a little bit of a struggle
luck
at least
at,
in the regular
work,
season
Ritz.
when it came to the early game. But this time around, they were able to take the first major objective, but at the loss of one member.
LG's kind of keeping up.
Yeah, and they're able to kind of hold
They're
them
playing
out
better.
at this right now. Only about
So
a 700
They
gold
haven't
lead
died.
for the side of Gaimin Gladiators
I think
right
they-
now.
they did
Kuyaken's
die
still
once,
trying to
right?
get some vision, but now
Yeah, but
being
not like
a little
before.
bit
They're
more
playing
wary,
better
especially
now.
a
More
Shark
discipline.
doing a great job of making sure he's
I mean, it's
zoning
only
out
like,
the rest
what,
of
100 gold
Legacy,
lead?
making sure that they're not coming and
Yeah.
interfering in
Crazy.
any of these buffs.
Yeah, and you know, LEGACi, I mean, they can definitely be aggressive. They do have Kuyakin on this Hilda, and he's doing that. You are going to see the Blade of Heptases picked up by Riles as well, running that lethal ignition. Can be that assassin, and at least to be able to burst
I
down
think it's
somebody
that
like
Hilda,
Hoon,
though. I
who's
think
trying to
once
stay
they
in
get into
back
the
line.
late
But you're already
game, they
seeing
might
the
be
turtle
lacking
aggro
a
be
little
pulled
bit.
this time from
Oh,
Gaimin
Zia
Gladiators.
is dead.
Rotation on the bottom side for the trade-off on Azia, 4v1. Riles will be
They're
able
gonna
to kill
blaze
best
and duet
player.
that as well.
The turtle and the blazing duet to clear the lane.
I absolutely like this coming from LEGACi. This is what I've been wanting to see from them all season long. A group
Oh, damn,
of
they got
4
Zia?
players there to jump
they got
down
Zia.
on Zia to kind of
Jumped
make
him.
that connection, make sure he
Yeah,
had
I don't
no
think they should get
escape.
cocky. LG
Fried
might just
Chicken's
make
got
that
him, though.
cock of the
Escapes
century.
Kuyakin. Unable to break those shackles. Fried Chicken will be able to take him down with the electrifying beats.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate that the Gaimin Gladiators matching up kill for kill every single time. And this is what we've been seeing from Gaimin Gladiators. Even when you win a fight, there's somewhere else on the map that Gaimin
Damn
Gladiators
yappers.
are always able to find that way forward, whether it's a tower, whether it's getting a kill on the other side of the map. And Zinski very quickly wiped off the face of the map there.
Just showing you how
This is
deadly
the
Roger can
snowball
be,
right
even outside
here.
of the gold lane, inside of the
That
jungle.
was
Damn, I'm
Zia
so behind.
on side will open up
Crazy.
the map for Gaimin
Have
Gladiators.
you seen
Now
the
ahead by 2
Roger? I'm
kills
at like
in one turn.
524.
Yeah, and we just saw there from the goal.
Yeah, I'm
I
there
mean,
now.
not a huge
I saw
lead
Carlos
for
pick up
Gaimin
the-
Gladiators
Yeah.
right now. LEGACi doing a
That
good
was
job of kind of
crazy.
keeping it
He just
together
melted
right
him.
now at the 5-minute mark. We've seen it before, though. It takes about 2 more minutes, and Gaimin Gladiators usually go with a full frontal assault, as we have another attack here coming.
Yeah, Hoon will be able to find one. Takes down Kuyakin, his second death of the game, and getting a little bit more as best player on the invasion. Will be able to proxy these minions and also take the purple buff. Oh,
All right.
big snipe on the shot. He's in the mid lane.
Yeah, and just as best player passes in, gets a little bit of damage off with that Lycan Pounce. Hoon on the side
Check your
with an
Discord.
Astral Meteor
Oh,
to
shit.
go ahead and bust them down even further. Just kind of keeping on this onslaught as they are pushing their way through mid.
Ooh, one small step over there for best player. A huge
bad, I
leap
forgot.
for Gaimin Gladiators in terms of the objectives. Able to take the tier 1 in the mid lane. They took the tier 1 on the bot side, and they also
This is
got
huge.
the last turtle that was on the board, and now up by 3 kills. So far, we've only seen LEGACi be able to claim that first turtle, but now they're kind of falling behind on the objectives, and they need to be able to pick up the pace, because Gaimin Gladiators are one of those teams, if you don't give them some pushback, they're going to roll over you.
Yeah, they do have a good secure onto this turtle, but you can see Kuyakin in
Kuyakin's
trouble.
dead. Oh,
Trying to get
he's
away.
still
Hoon
living.
did fall.
No,
but
you got him,
found
you
one
got
an
him.
eye for an eye. This player is going to be able to take him down. Yeah, that is going to be the turtle.
Yeah,
going
that
to
was
the
the
side of LEGACi,
snowball
though, to
effect
even it out
when
on at
best
least a
player
couple
took
of
out
objectives, but you are still
fair
seeing
miss
Gaimin
there.
Gladiators trailing.
Look at the damage.
Yeah, and I talked a little bit
Oh,
about the
they're
confidence
forced to
of
play
this
3
draft, and
games?
that's because when you have you have
They have to win 3 games?
characters like
Yeah.
Riles, when
It's
you
the
have
best out of
characters
5.
like Hilda, when you
Oh,
start to
shit.
fall behind,
Just came from
Desert Stream, what up?
a lot of the usefulness of some of these picks, especially out of the
Dan
lane
said
phase.
to
Another
tell you
engagement.
that you
Yeah,
failed to get a
both sides fighting
savage.
it out on the purple buff. We'll be able to claim it. A lot of CC, a lot of damage.
Yeah,
Fried
savages
Chicken
are so
wrestling
easy
the
to
best
get.
player.
My
We'll be
bad.
able to find one link and pounce in onto Jolie.
You just got those lined up in your back
One
pocket,
member
man. It's
will
no
be lost
biggie.
on the side of LEGACi. Nobody for the
Oh,
side
yeah.
of GG.
Yeah, and this is where GG really starts to enforce their.
Oh, wait,
oh man, Doon just got dusted. A very nice little positioning
Doon
there
just got
for Riles
dusted.
and
What
Hoon.
the
I don't even
fuck?
think he knows what hit
What
him.
is this casting?
Yeah, I mean, best players getting some early and quick pickups.
Come on,
And so
Riles,
with
come on,
Riles,
go
looking at
crazy,
running
fuck
these
'em up.
aggressive
Fuck 'em
junglers,
up, look
but
at
again, you are
Dez.
seeing these turns
Dez
fall
has
at a
switched
fast
sides.
fashion in Gaimin Gladiators' favor. I mean, they already
Fuck
cleared
'em
the tier
up.
1 and tier 2 for the bot
Fuck
side.
'em
I'm rooting for Riles, bro.
Yeah, and right now,
I tried to
we're
get him on
really
camera,
starting
but
to
his,
hang
like,
on
camera
to
was
that
messing up.
legitimacy of that Hilda for Kuyakin. As you start falling behind, he's going to have a lot of trouble trying to find these pickoffs, trying to kind of stand up into the front line as they are engaging a little bit here with Fried Chicken.
Yeah, Kuyakin needs to be careful.
He just realized.
Astral Meteor on his way out. The accuracy from Hoon so far.
Oh, the
on
screen,
Navarre.
my
I
bad.
was just looking at the player cams. Was that a teddy bear on Shark.
No, it's just that his Shark just needs a little bit of a haircut there. You can see that very
He just needs a little bit of
from
a
him there as he
Shark
looks at
is-
the camera.
Shark's
and just
new name is Teddy Bear.
The game right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely focused, man. Putting it all on the line for the playoffs. Another turret will fall on the top side in Gaimin Gladiators' favor so far.
Giveaways are at the end of the month, chat.
With LEGACi.
Yeah, and Ben, this is what we were talking
We do
about.
monthly
That
giveaways
engagement
now.
into the purple buff of their enemy.
Ooh, Rouse will find Chicken though to respond back. Takes down
Damn,
one
Chicken
member
got
of
taken
GG
down.
on the invasion for that purple buff.
It's
Four
literally up
spawned
to
in
Riles
both
at this
sides,
point.
getting
I mean,
ready to
Jolie
take
hasn't
this fight
died.
into the pit.
So that's a
Yeah, and
plus.
right now kind of dancing around.
I'm
Kuyakin
good,
doing a good
Crystal
job kind of being
Castles.
that front
I'm
line.
talking
Ball on the
to
side.
Ico the G.
Ooh, Zia will find
Ooh.
on to Jolie. Last sanity
The
from
top.
Whoopi.
The
Look
top.
at Zemo.
Oh,
Whoopi.
Whoopi.
No Viraga armor needs to get out of there. Hit
Oh,
with
look at
Rouse.
Rouse.
CC
Look
the
at
shot.
Rouse.
Oh, they're gonna get him. They're
Oh,
gonna get
oh,
him.
The best player will
I don't know
make
about
it
that.
count.
I don't know about that.
Forcing out the
Oh
immortality
shit!
into the 2-2 turret
Oh
for the
shit!
mid-lane, and
They're
Whoopi
zoning
will
I like
call back
this.
to safety.
Yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
yo.
Hey, Rouse, yeah, talk to him. Talk to
But on
him.
the other
Oh,
side,
here comes best player though. Are they gonna be able to do the Lord?
Look at him, so.
It's falling
Nah, they're
so
throwing.
fast.
Not for free. A big
got
guy.
it.
They're selling my wow, bro. They're selling my boy Rouse. He's 3-0 right now.
Boone takes
They're
down
selling
Kuya
him.
Kin.
Shinsuke,
Johnson
get
trying to
out of there,
Forces
Nick.
Flicker, best player
Ooh.
on his tail. Lincoln pounce in. We'll be able to shut him
Oh,
down.
Roger's
but at
too
what cost?
fast,
They
bro.
lost the
Dude, they
Lord.
got. Is he building rapid boost on Roger?
I've talked about this, how much I missed seeing
Nah,
these
it's just his
Roger
second skill.
jungles. Just how fast he was able to close the distance there and be
Dude
able
is
to
a
get the kill there.
chaser.
And just there's nowhere safe. You're just never going to be fast enough to be able to escape him.
It's definitely a treat to see. I mean, I love seeing the Roger kind of sneak back into the meta, right? I was just like this when Martis came out. When everybody started playing the Martis, I feel like I'm getting that same type of joy in terms of the current meta now. But speaking of meta, Gaimin Gladiators focusing on the rotations, able to take majority of these objectives, lost that Lord, but it doesn't look like it's really phased them. They're still being aggressive and currently kind of maintaining the momentum for this match. I mean, look at the bot side. The Lord not even affecting them. You're already seeing Zia chunking it
That was a
down.
good cut by Shark.
Yeah, but I mean, they got themselves a little bit of breathing room. They,
This is a
especially with a
Teddy
2K
bear.
deficit right now, you're starting to look at points where a lot of these heroes are starting to fall off. Nolan's not going to be as effective when it comes to a lot of these team plays.
Oh,
Kuya
nah,
Kin's gonna have a little
Rouse
bit of trouble.
died.
You've
It's
got a lot
over.
of heroes
The
that
only
really
hope is
specialize in this
gone.
pickoff.
Oh shit, am I behind now?
Synergized play, best player. We'll find Kuya Kin with the
Yeah,
eye.
I'll put in
Big
times
setup
two.
from Shark. Fried
Oh,
chicken rushes
chicken,
in.
what the
Electrifying beats.
fuck?
We'll find Riles, Astro Echo, Astro Meteor.
Oh,
Johnsky takes some
God.
damage. Full team forced back into the base. Gaimin Gladiators not letting go of the gas though. Jolie with the BMI back to safety and the Blazing
They were
Duet.
able to take out
Gaimin Gladiators
Chicken, though.
continuing to claim this real estate.
Fast
Yeah,
forward.
Kaczynski's another realm just a little bit too late.
We're skipping
to save
through the
Riles. I feel like they
yapping.
could actually turn the tables on that fight a little earlier, maybe giving LEGACi a little bit of a leg up on there. But unfortunately, Riles goes down, the Nether Realm comes out, and they're still able
Time
to
for
find 2
yapper.
kills there.
Yeah, you see Zia pick up the Blade of Heptases as well. So he's going in trying to just burst down anybody on that initial engagement. They're being very aggressive, right? Usually we see them close that out around that 12, 13-minute mark. I mean, I would give it to LEGACi. They put up a good fight in the beginning, but now the later this game goes, in terms of the heroes that they selected, the synergized composition is not going to be the easiest to pull off, especially with Kuya Kin needing to find an opening now, but running into a lot of group CC, not only from Shark on this Ruby, but also on Hoon. Speaking of CC, though, Whoopi
Time to
already
yapping.
getting hit with the majority of it. Takes all of his
Oh,
Viraga
yapping
armor.
was bad at before.
Yeah, all of his Viraga armor there, and then GG.
No,
doing such a
it's
great job
GG
of kind of
versus
clearing out some of those
LEGACi and
purple
then
bushes. A little bit of engagement.
A77
See
against
him be able to get
FIENDS.
out of there, though. Like I
Yeah.
said, the joy. It's like that gnat. You can't swap away, right? I mean, there it was right there. It was just one-man army taking majority of those hits and then using the vengeance to be able to get back to safety.
Yeah, no, they're doing a good job, like I was saying before, of clearing out these bushes, especially those places where a Hilda, where a Riles can actually sneak in there, get some of those plays off there.
Oh my
Now we're going with another engagement.
This player is aggressive.
Pounce into
The whole
another
team's
realm.
there, and he just scared them
That would
off.
have been an interesting one. Maybe that's what Roger is wearing. But as you are going to go ahead and see, the Lord burst down another objective over there into Gaimin Gladiators' favor. Now 11-5 at the 13-minute mark. And LEGACi,
Dude, I think
they
Joy
need
is
to find
too
a way to
OP,
turn this
man.
back around.
Yeah, and you're looking at this already.
They didn't
about a
even
3K
get anything to
opening
be
there
able to
for
counter
best
the
player.
Joy.
He's got all of his items right now, so he is max build and just looking for an opportunity to kind of dive
After
in
playoffs,
and be able to
RG,
get
yeah, I'll
this
probably be
damage
playing
on,
some
maybe
RG.
Get another pick off there. You can see the damage there, 58,000 there for best player.
I finally made it to Mythic the other night.
Secondary there is
trying to
Fly
keep
to
up.
Chicken with 53,000.
It's just showing you how
I still got the
Roger is,
clip
right?
where
Put him
you
in the goal
smash your
lane, effective,
computer.
Put him in the jungle. Sometimes even more effective.
This is my
Player who
iPad.
kind of favors
I
these
feel
aggressive
you,
junglers
bro. I
instead
feel
of
you.
tankier ones. Who
The
you
score
can,
was
though,
like 10 and
able
10.
to get back to safety, trying to test the water.
It was like
trying to
fucking
give some
10
vision,
wins,
and
10
quickly
loss.
spotted
Dude,
out.
I was done.
And this is
You're that to like a
point we were
hand zone,
talking about
and then you
where
got
the
mad.
Hilda has become less lethal
That
here
shit
and
mad
now
funny.
is going to have
It was-
issues
dude,
when
it was a
comes to
fucking
taking
night,
on the
man.
entire team of GG.
I
Yeah,
know.
the Lord will be bursted down though. Whoopi gonna use that last sanity. You are gonna see the inhibitor in the mid lane fall as long as the bottom side.
Nah,
as well.
QT, what up?
Whoopi trying to stay in there. No more Baraga
Shout out from
armor.
the Twitch
I'm
side of
thinking-
things.
Netherrealm to save.
Nah, they can't end here. They're forcing a little too much. Back off.
Torn apart members does go out. You are looking at Kuyakin spawning back in, the full 5-man team ready to defend for LEGACi up against Gaimin Gladiators. One last inhibitor
Whoopi
go
with
through
the
best
ult.
player. We'll claim
Oh, hell
another
no.
last sanity.
I might
goes
have
out
to
from
go-
the
Dark
front line.
flicker.
The damage.
I'm gonna probably have to go get some Red Bulls or something at some point.
Jolie with the BMI back to safety.
Maybe I order some to the
Looks like
house.
Gaimin Gladiators
No way
keep
I'd be able
rolling
to.
the inhibitors, and nobody has fallen.
And not able. I mean, that's unfortunate
working
for
out
LEGACi. It's just
quite a
the
bit, so.
ferocity in which Gaimin Gladiators can come out, the precision, come in, take out all the high grounds from
fifth-
LEGACi.
the fifth
LEGACi
super
didn't even
chat.
lose anybody. They're just powerless to stop it.
Yeah, they're definitely putting on a very hard fight, right? But I will say LEGACi's
There's
been
cream
doing
for my
better, at least in
coffee.
this match in the early phase compared to what we've
Sheesh.
seen them typically do in the regular season.
$1.99.
Now, I mean, this is a best of 5 private, right?
Nah, I don't even know
they do have a little
pistachios.
bit more
Only I
leverage,
have. I never sent
even
it.
if this match does not work around in their favor. But for this match specifically to turn this back
I've been
around,
putting in
it's
a lot
going
of
to be
time.
a challenge, right? You have no inhibitors
doing
on your
BTK
side.
management
When you're
has been
looking at
quite
the,
crazy.
Turrets for Gaimin Gladiators, they only lost to tier 1 on the bot side, and they definitely have
Been whipping
major
them into
advantage.
shape,
You're
you
looking
know?
at overextending over there from LEGACi. Riles going
Oh,
far
Riles
past
dead.
Zia with the punish will shut him down.
Nah,
Lack
this
of
is
sanity.
bad.
LEGACi trying to
No,
defend.
LEGACi.
Finds one.
No.
Right, Chico finds
They
two.
lost.
3
GG.
members make that 4. Zia finds Whoopi.
Aramis is back.
Toski back in play though. Jolie.
Aramis with the flicker play.
Uh-oh. Blazing duet.
They got
not
one,
gonna
but
be
yeah,
enough.
GG.
But
It's
the
over.
face crystal will be bursted down by Gaimin Gladiators, claiming game number 1.
Roger's kinda
And
good. I ain't gonna lie.
fought match that
Against
LEGACi has
LEGACi.
put up here,
Against
but I mean,
LEGACi.
you're talking about a team like Gaimin Gladiators
I
and their
skipped
domination
that.
here.
I was hoping,
mean, that's pretty much all
I was
she wrote.
hoping
That's
it-
gonna be
it stopped it
game
for you
1
guys.
going over to GG here.
Yeah, great execution, able to kind of perform majority of the match in their favor. I mean, they kind of definitely had all the objectives on their side, and they weren't really uncomfortable at any given
You said
time.
Rome
We are
gap?
looking at the KDA on the board, 17, 6, and 40.
Sheesh.
For the team, the
No
rating,
way,
though,
Hilch.
I like to kind of take a peek on that, almost hitting double digits with 9.
Yeah, I mean,
They held in for a bit.
Start for Gaimin Gladiators. I don't think they expected a lot of the aggression that they got from LEGACi, but I mean, we've talked about it before. Once they kind of hit that 7-minute mark, they hit those little power spikes, they get their items, they just really start to kind of force their way.
They didn't have an
forward
answer
here.
to the
Take a look at
joy,
some of the
man. They needed a
comparisons here, man.
Kaja, Franco, something.
It's
What the
sad
fuck did they ban?
because,
Wait, let
like,
me
at
see.
the end of the game, you don't really get to see some
Something.
of the shining parts from LEGACi here, that as they were able to kind of withstand a lot of it in the early game. But GG,
I mean,
we've talked about it before. Once they kind of
I
grab
guess.
on, once they kind of get that little stranglehold, they just squeeze tighter and tighter until there is nowhere for you to escape.
Fried chicken
Yeah, and
trolling
I mean,
as
That's
usual.
aggressive play, especially picking out that Hilda. It caught me by surprise. I was looking at that picture and I was
Where'd
like,
you get it from,
I haven't seen
Hilch?
the Hilda in a while, at least on
Where'd
the
you get
NA
it from?
scene. But when you pick the Hilda,
Roger
right, you gotta
was
be aggressive.
wild.
You gotta stop him from getting his orange and purple buffs, but forcing out the retribution, and we really just didn't get to see that work out the best in their favor. And then as it gets to that mid to late game, I mean, when you pick the Hilda, you lack the group CC that your team kind of relies on, and that's where you start seeing GG punish, especially having the Ruby, especially having the Hilda. I mean, gold per minute, you're looking at
I'm just
best
surprised
player,
they went
856
Hilda.
on the Roger.
Out of
which was in
all
the jungle.
things.
Also the carry with the most
Hilda.
damage dealt.
And what did they
Sandbag
ban?
On the opposite side of the table for LEGACi and Shark. Claude will be okay. He should be able to get to the back line, go back to safety. Does have
they
to
banned
watch
the
out for
Kaja,
Ruby picking him
so
up,
they
though, with
didn't
that
want to go
CC.
Franco.
The Lincoln Pounce can be a problem.
They had Minnow
And
open
somebody
though.
who actually might be able to match
Dominoes?
up
That's
with
crazy.
The speed
It's
that a
usually good,
Nolan,
Hilch.
pick has for
Yeah.
Riles.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you said best player, not getting that, stacking up them assists with 11 as the forgotten one.
Yeah, not just the assist, but did not steal any kills from best player, allowing best player to get that 6-0 and a 10, allowing him to kind of chase in and grab up some of those.
Maybe they tried to like hill, like
mid head-to-head.
They should have put a lot more pressure on Roger when I filled up.
Players for LEGACi here, and like I said, in the early game, not too.
Next match should be like pretty quick.
When you talk about
They run it back.
Just how great Hoon can be.
Damn,
Going through the entirety of the game, it's a heck
Swap,
of a match.
I didn't even notice.
Here at the damage.
That's a new player.
What?
3,000 leading
That
the
boy
pack
massive.
for his teammate here.
Did he
best
really?
Player, and we talked about it before.
You got 6,000 subs in one day.
For
Fez,
Wide
from
Chicken, he just
changing your fucking format to the shorts.
Especially when he's allowed to kind of escape that
I'm
lane
just-
very
I'm-
early, cut in. Help
What can
out
I
his
say,
teammate and
bro?
Get a lot of that burst damage onto the entire.
I'm outsmarting the system.
Yeah, I mean, 94% over there.
I've heard that that's the way to go right now.
Participation was all across the
Yeah.
board, getting it done. I mean, at a point though, he was at a little bit of a race, but Riles on the Nolan though. I mean, they were both kind of bursting down anybody in front of their path with the swiftness, but overall, just the synergized gameplay from Gaimin Gladiators.
Are you streaming that way right now?
Is definitely where they kind of thrive.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
see LEGACi.
Yeah, it's not-
that same type of play
it's not as
style, right?
effective.
We see them. I think they did good.
It's
They took the
really
first turtle. There
random,
was a point
bro.
where they kind of gave up the second turtle. They went in for a synergized play on the bot
sounds like
side.
how,
Going for the marksman, they took him down for the trade-off, and
That's
I like
how-
to see those kind of
how
things.
TikTok
right? Find
was
an
at
answer,
first, too.
find something that
Yeah,
can
yeah,
favor.
it
Right
is.
after that moment, we just started
I
seeing
streamed
turrets
it too,
dropping
but I
left and
stopped.
right in Gaimin Gladiators' favor, and we didn't see anything of a response from the side of LEGACi.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem. I feel like the composition was kind of an all-in early
Streams
game
full?
type of composition that's coming out.
I could just
of
make like a
LEGACi,
short
which they
version of
performed
my.
all right in the early game. I mean, this
Like
is
have two different
honestly,
YouTube
when
accounts?
we compare this and we hold this up
No,
to how
on the
they
same
performed
channel.
during the season.
Well,
this
I
is
was thinking like
definitely a
technique-wise,
better
like do two
LEGACi.
channels.
They were getting to
Have like a
objectives
stream.
quickly. They were ganking
Have a
four-man
stream for the
ganks
short
into the
version
lane,
and
which is
have a
what I've
stream
been wanting
for
to see from
the
them,
regular
making sure
version.
you're cutting off the escapes of your enemy. There was
I
no
don't know
Nah,
if
I'll
that
say
would
just-
divide the
from
community
there.
though.
Getting that vision, that
I'd say just
aggression
focus
with
it
the
all on
Hilda
one
from
channel, bro.
Kuyaken there in the early game. It's just unfortunate
To
that
maximize the
you're
growth.
trying this now against the #1 seed in North America, and eventually they're going to find those holes, they're going to find those weaknesses, and once you get to the mid game,
giveaway's not working. You probably already have the 10
They're going
entries.
to start falling off because you have a team that is now grouping. It's going to be very rare, very hard to find some of those pickoffs.
Yo,
And that's
Aiko,
where
do
they
you know
start to
what
fall
private
off,
dancer
through the
real
mid-game.
name is or not?
You know, and not to mention, they also did a roster change, right? When they swapped their XP laner, Whoopi stepped in.
I remember
And
what
we're
it
looking at
used to
Gaimin
be.
Gladiators, there was
Is
no
it- is
change,
it James
right? They
or
kept the
not?
textbook since the beginning of the
I don't
season.
know if it is James.
And sometimes synergized changes like that can definitely affect the gameplay. I mean, we even seen the export having a hard time up against Chicken, running
I don't
on
think it
that
was
Joy.
James.
So
it was.
I wouldn't say it was definitely the only thing, but it's something that they
Oh,
have to
shit.
definitely make sure they're prepared
I
for.
don't
when
even
you make that
remember.
quick
We don't
switch
ever
into the playoffs.
say
Now,
our real names.
This is a best of 5.
That's
Painting
true,
that
that's
picture.
true.
Everything is on the line. You can actually be knocked out now of the
For some
NACT,
reason, I
so
think
you
it's
definitely have to bring
Ryan,
your
but I
A-game.
don't.
And like you stated, I think
Nah,
this
he
is the
looks
best
more
season
like
we
a
have
James
seen
to me.
before. Now it's unfortunate for them that they sit in that 8th position and going up against the
Let me see
#1
if I got
team.
it
So
on,
they
like,
definitely
my
have a little bit of a rougher
old
start
master
compared
sheets.
to other teams inside of the NACT for the playoff side. But that just means they have more to prove and more to showcase, right? I mean, we just want to see who can represent North America and hold that crown. And I'm just glad that they're
have
able
it
to
on
make it
there.
into the playoffs. It's a brand new team on the scene, Private, right? So speaking of brand new things, though,
Saving
into
Private
the
Ryan.
draft. Go game number 2.
Yeah, we're gonna see what kind of switch-ups we
I think
have
we had
here
it on the
with,
Games of the
LEGACi gonna be
Future
taking up
was
the
that it
first
had our
pick
real
here,
names, I
which means
thought.
that you're gonna be able to get that 2-man response from Gaimin Gladiators. Last bands we saw like the Masha taking
that was
off
the
the board
old
from the
Games of the
Matilda,
Future.
taken off from LEGACi, but they left open the Nolan, they left open the Joy, which have been big hitters for Gaimin Gladiators. I'm wondering if we're gonna see a little bit of a change here. Are we gonna ban those out, or are we still
we
gonna
didn't
like the
have it on
plan
there.
was to take one of them and deal with the
doesn't
other
look like
one?
it,
But I mean,
Ryan.
Fly Chicken had a heck of a game,
finding it, I'm finding
only
it.
outdone by best player.
All right, Private, how are we feeling about the Roger, man? Because the Roger had a really
this
good
was like
showcase
an
from best
older
player.
one,
We
though.
thought it was going to go in the gold lane for a little bit, right? We thought it was going to go there, and then we saw it didn't last second. But is that something that maybe LEGACi tries to pick up in the first half of the draft, or do you think it's worth not banning and possibly letting Gaimin Gladiators get again?
Well, it depends on what they leave out there. But one good, or not one good thing, of the many things that Gaimin Gladiators can be very successful in, it's with the draft there. They first picked the Ruby, which meant it was kind of flexible. It could have gone into the XP lane. It could have gone into the roam position. picked up the Roger. We thought it would only be in the marksman lane, so we thought that that was already ironed out, which left it open for them to go ahead and pick up that Brody. So they are very successful also when it comes to being flexible in the draft, making you guess where certain positions
his real name's Ricky.
By certain picks. But we're going to see this Masha picked up by LEGACi, which has been
his real name's Ricky.
Very fast and very powerful in the Mobile Legends scene very recently.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
you can find it on Liquipedia.
Aggressive. And I like the aggression, but also it makes a lot of room for mistake if you're not careful. So something they're gonna have to watch out for, right? I mean, now the Masha being slotted in could be a secret weapon. Time will tell. But on the opposite side of the table, we are gonna be looking at best player picking up this Fredrin. Now, the first pick last game, when they had first pick on the draft, was the Ruby. Obviously, Ruby's banned now. They're going to go in for something that is a little bit flexible in terms of utility, right? You have the Fredrin who can frontline a lot of that damage. You can stack him up with the CC tank, but you can also stack him up with some support if needed. And he works really good with the pick like the R-Lot, who profits off of that crowd control with the Demon Gauge to be able to dash in for some additional hits.
Yeah, and not just that, but he can be that tanky front liner that kind of maintains the front. It's just he has so many different things that he is successful at here. And I feel like Kuya on this Masha is going to perform basically the same way that Hilda does. Unfortunately, I want to say Hilda's early game is just a little bit more powerful than Masha's. It takes a little bit to get ramped up, which is going to be a problem.
my Liquipedia page says that
almost kind of the same plan that they had last game.
I'm an American mobile legend shoutcaster who has played a major role in growing the MLBB community in North America.
Nolan, who can put that fracture out. Masha, who can deal an absurd amount of damage. But I want to say Masha comes online a little bit more towards the mid game.
Yeah, it's risky though, because
it was a good fight by LG.
Very frontline damage, right? You're rushing in trying to get some easy pickoffs, but again, if you're too aggressive, you get hit with a little bit of crowd control, it could be a possible problem. We are seeing the Roger though this time be picked up on the side of LEGACi. We asked the question earlier, was it worth not banning and picking up? Since they did have first pick, and it looks like they believe it's a valuable option for them this time around. I do think this may be inside of the goal lane though, because this is a Nolan, so this is not going to be a Roger jungle like we've seen in the last match, which is going to be a little different story. But you kind of mentioned some of the counters that we've been seeing to the Roger so far, right? Something like the Harith can definitely still be on the table if they're not careful. Another good option to kind of play a little bit safer and stack up, you know, those core items. Something like the carry could also be a valuable option.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have already picked up the Brody right now, so we don't really have to worry. I mean, they're just going to use that for the Roger. I'm assuming
he's a Ricky.
Here. Yuzong going to be taken off there, so they don't.
He looks more like a Ryan than a Ricky.
Options. I mean, you still got a Lapu out there for LEGACi that can kind of come in there. It really kind of depends. I'm assuming this Masha is going to be a roam. There's not really too much flexibility with it. You can use it in the XP lane, but it's got a pretty, I want to say, not the greatest early games that Masha can kind of come up by, and I feel like Gaimin Gladiators are really going to try to take advantage of this. I do like that we're starting to really take Hoon away from one of those comfort picks, which is that Lu Yi, which offers up a lot of that mobility, and especially that surprise, the ability that we've seen Gaimin Gladiators use the Lu Yi to get behind enemy lines to surprise them, especially with their ganking ability on this.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, too. I mean, you're seeing a lot of prio on the mage bans this time around, right? You've seen the Lu Yi taken out, the Vexana, the Navaria, and then a couple of the supports as well. Minotaur
I'll be right back,
being
chat.
banned off the table, trying to limit some of the roam capability. Now, again, we mentioned Gaimin Gladiators does have the Fredrin, though, and they also have the R-Lot. So I feel like they have Group CC already checked off, and they don't necessarily have to go in for a group set tank. They can still go in for something to keep the team alive, and I'm looking at the table so far. Theramis is still an option, but since they picked up the Lilia, maybe they don't slot it in. But we are still going to have to see the response over there from LEGACi. It is going to go ahead and be the Kufra. Definitely mixing things up with the... I would say this is kind of unorthodox, because you don't really see these this team kind of play together with these hero picks.
Well, yeah, I was about to make a comment about the synergy that you have. Kufra's going to be able to come in. He's going to be able to get the sets, and then the Tyrant's Rage to kind of clap them against the wall. And you kind of really need that AoE burst.
He's an unorthodox again.
You're going to be able to have that possibly with Riles. He's going to come in and be able to get the fracture onto a lot of people there. But I want to say, especially when it comes to the Roger pick there, Masha's a very single target hero there. Valentina's going to be picked up here. This is, and I say, this is a decent amount of damage that you can have on there as well. Sinski going to be picking that up for LEGACi.
Oh, and I'm wondering what the final pick will be for the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Do they go in for a set roamer? Do they put the R-Line in their own position? I mean, that definitely can be an option. They're very flexible, and we kind of talked about Gaimin Gladiators when it comes to drafting. They're surgical, right? They're ban to down each phase.
Drink water and ban
on your
Matilda.
toes if you're not careful. So with what I'm seeing so far, in terms of synergized compositions, you have the Lilia, some great early game damage, especially with the Glooms. You have the Brody, in terms of survivability, especially when you have heroes that can get to him in the back line, such as a Masha, such as a Nolan. Shoot, even a Roger, even a, Kufra can get the job done. But they are going to go in for the Rafaela, which I actually am a very big fan of. And the reason being is they're trying to limit the options available for that IMU from the Valentina.
Yeah, that's going to be a very interesting draft from LEGACi.
What's
On one
up,
hand, from
Valdez? I say,
LEGACi, we
what's
have,
good?
I want to say, a few characters that specialize and they shine for different reasons. Like, the synergy
Anime
isn't
Alchemy said,
exactly
what's
there. I want
up?
to say, like, I would prefer a little bit more AoE
What's
when
up,
we're using
Alchemy?
a set roamer, a set potential roamer there. I mean, we're going to have a little bit of the spray from Valentina. We have a little bit of AoE that are coming out from Riles as well on that Nolan. But on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, we've got a lot of AoE damage. We can hit with multiple targets. We've got the blessing from Shark on that Rafaela. We've got the glooms from Hoon. Zia can hit multiple targets, and then with the torn apart memories ultimate, he can take down a lot of them too. And then the setting potential from a Flyd, and then of course the front line from Fredrin.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, now jumping into the Land of Dawn for game number 2 of our first series for the playoffs of the NACT spring season. LEGACi up against Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, we're going to see how well this composition pays off for Riles and company on LEGACi here. But like I said, you've got a lot of single target mixed in with grouping abilities. We're going to see on the side of Gaimin Gladiators, you just have a lot of AoE potential.
Yeah, and speaking of potential, a lot of damage on the bot side already. Zia, be careful with Shotsky. It took the camera off him for a split second in the mid lane and already down to about like 10%.
Bro, Sin got no minions.
Yeah, look at Fly Chicken being very sneaky there too, almost stopping him from being able to cut back there. We take a look at some of the emblems here, some lethal ignition stacked up on the side of LEGACi there, and then of course Impure Rages to
Could you imagine if LG wins one?
Gladiators mana, keep them in the lane longer, keep that mana up as well.
Yeah,
okay,
going to run the quantum charge as well. Riles though in the mid lane, forcing out the flicker from Shark. On that extension. He's getting out of there with the big set. And
what the fuck was that?
First blood will shut him down.
You can see it has not phased Shark in the slightest. Still with that same smile and that headphones on. But as we move on here, I mean, already LEGACi getting a good kill here. This is like we were talking about it before. A very good early game. They just need to kind of keep up that synergy as we start moving into the later games to kind of keep up those winning conditions that they need.
Right, I mean, game number 1, right? We see all Gaimin Gladiators draw first blood, but this time it is going to be LEGACi. LEGACi was able to claim the first
Nolan once again
last game, but then they started falling short on those objectives. So can they find that momentum and hold on to it for the early phase? You are seeing some aggression, though, even from Shark. Still overextending the invasion onto the purple.
Yeah,
doesn't go in for the turtle, but wants to delay and deny the farm away from LEGACi, and looks like they may be able to do it. Kuya Kin with the bouncing ball, best player, able to get the purple buff. Looks like he did use his retribution, though.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for LEGACi right now, is that this is the problem when you have such a squishy composition. You're going to be prone to being invaded, and Gaimin Gladiators doing a great job of it, enforcing their will there, especially right before the turtle, not allowing Riles to get his buff, and now he has to, and they contested it, and that's the problem. That's a decision making you need to make. Are you going to be able to get this purple buff? If the answer is no, you need to go ahead, move on to another part of the map, instead of just kind of sitting there, watching them do it, and then now you've lost a turtle and you weren't able to answer with it. You lost a purple buff and a turtle and you weren't able to reply.
Oh, speaking of replying, though, straight at the doorstep of Zia with the knockup from Kuya Kin. Riles in the bush, though.
Riles?
Looking for an answer. Corrosive strike for the knockback into the tier 1 turret. Zia finding his way to safety.
LEGACi has not won a single game, chat? Like, not even a map?
And create that distance until the absolute last moment. As Riles came in for the fracture, pops it off, creates that distance, and again, LEGACi leaving empty-handed.
Ooh, Kuyakin will be burning out that flicker, though, to go back to the tier 1 on the bot side. Fried Chicken taking a lot of damage from Whoopi on the Masha, right? The new addition over here to LEGACi with the roster change. But Whoopi, the response back from Chicken, but now a 2v1 is Riles joining the party. Whoopi will be able to get the kill.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried for Riles. He came in there, missed the fracture, and I was like, oh god.
Already a jungle
it's a 2-on-1 and you lose one of your members. That's gonna be a little bit to come back from this. We have a little engagement here at the purple buff.
Yeah, best player again trying to deny the farm away from Jolie. He does have Gaimin Gladiators to back him up as well. Hoon in position as well as Shark with that holy baptism. Praisers Wrath is going to drop down. Looks like best player was able
they
to
saved his life
again away from LEGACi.
I mean, Masha's
and I mean,
dangerous.
on the plus side, I want to say LEGACi did not lose any members for that. Unfortunately, still not able to protect their buffs right now, and this is going to kind of keep on progressing that lead until Gaimin Gladiators can really enforce their will around the 7-minute mark. Right now, though, only about 100 gold lead
They're
for
holding
Gaimin
their
Gladiators.
own.
It's like having a hole in your wallet, right? They're putting money in their wallet and it keeps on falling out. You gotta find an answer to close that hole. You can't keep letting
Come on, Ken. Flick
take your objectives. It's just gonna stack on the economy. Speaking of
Flick, what the fuck are you?
They're trying.
Claim the turtle off screen.
He doesn't even have flicker.
You can't try to get back to safety. Zia
will
be able to shut him down. Riles will fall alongside him. The double kill.
I guess I didn't see what happened. What you guys are seeing already.
Kill for Gaimin Gladiators, best player from the side.
Oh, he's not done. He wanted Jolie, but he'll try and go in for Shansky if he can. Both of them forced to go back to safety.
Yeah, and you can start seeing, especially up at the top lane, a rotation there from Fly Chicken, while the side of Whoopi is still trying to answer the minions right now. And that's just kind of the problem with Masha in the early game. Before she gets that Blade of Hephaestus,
some might even say stale.
Have now, which means she's going to be able to kind of get that one shot scare damage. Fly Chicken goes in.
Ooh, triple set from Kuyakin. Best player will take down Riles in the siege for the tier 1 turret. Best player will find Kuyakin for the double kill. Whoopi very low. Best player gets one. Zia gets the other. Whoopi will fall. Shansky.
Jesus.
Last man standing, and Hoon will take the tier 1
turret. I don't know what to say, Chuck.
I don't know what to say either.
Unfortunately, Riles is just hungry for a purple buff, any purple buff for his side right now, as Gaimin Gladiators have
being really aggressive
in his jungle.
Yeah, definitely.
Triple on a Fred's a
taking
crime.
Advantage of the early phase again for Gaimin Gladiators. This time a little
Got
bit
a lot
more
of good
smooth
highlights here, though,
than game
Sherry.
Number 1, Kuyakin taking some heavy hits, torn apart memories to seal his fate, and Zia will pick up his 4th kill of the game.
A much different game from the first. Unfortunate for LEGACi. I feel like this composition doesn't really help them, especially now that you have somebody like I
like how the titles maybe
who's not able to really capitalize, is going to be confined to that XP lane. You can see already left the XP lane, and Chicken is just having a full-blown and just absolutely eating up there.
Yeah, we were wondering how the Mosh would kind of play into this, but not having the easiest time. Chicken definitely showcasing his mastery, able to burst down all of the HP and probably take that turret down on the top side. Tier 2 will fall for the mid, Tier 2 falling for the top as well. And Zia getting a kill, shuts down Kuyakin.
Yeah, and right now, Gaimin Gladiators a little earlier than last game, really pushing through here. Very calculated, taking all these tier 2 towers in a row and then moving on to the turtle.
Yeah, there's a 21% LG on my side,
much
too.
that LEGACi can do here. They're starting to fall behind. 7K at the 7-minute mark. You can see, taking a look here at the items, a 2K gold difference when it comes to the marksmen, and a 1K gold difference for the junglers there.
Yeah, Kuyakin having a hard time too, right? Finding his 4th death. Shark on the bot side, though, will find Riles. Zia able to connect and burst him down. Riles a very far overextension, especially with how many turrets.
Why does the teddy bear have like a charger plugged into the wall?
We'll find best player who trying to respond back, trying to avenge him. Fried Chicken with the alley-oop of that assist will be able to burst down Whoopi. It looks like both sides will have to disengage.
Said, I'm not regretting voting LG. I ain't supporting GG. Damn.
Advantage.
Yeah, and Shark's going to be able to get away there. And this is the unfortunate thing. Riles doing
Davis probably the anti-GG
as an assassin, and you're losing the game. Start
all those
pushing,
people.
trying to get some of these lanes up, maybe get some towers on the side as well. But Gaimin Gladiators' map presence, their map awareness is just second to none right now. They are able to see that quickly and be able to close the distance even quicker.
Yeah, he needs to be careful, though, because he definitely didn't have the easiest start in terms of farm for the damage to be able to burst them down. And Gaimin Gladiators, they're looking to try and close this out early, right? We said they're kind of one of those teams. If you give them that advantage, they'll definitely take it and close it out at that 13-minute mark. And this may be one of those games if LEGACi is not careful. They need this one to be able to tie out this series in the best of 5. But a final slash from Fried Chicken. Connecting on to Jolie, a little bit of utility has been used. For
they went Roger Gold lane.
Commit to the fight. Holy Baptism
yeah,
down.
dude, they're just punishing the Masha.
The side of LEGACi, and now the siege for the inhibitor on the bot side. Gaimin Gladiators with the full sin. Now cracking open the base, and LEGACi left to defend. Damage onto the base crystal. You are gonna see the final slash going by Chicken. Shark finds Kuya Kin. Black shoots from Shonsky back to safety. Base crystal, 50% HP. The time.
GG's, guys. GG's.
Stop Chicken. We'll be able to find
not yet, not yet.
Down Riles, and now you're looking at the recall spam, stacking up that.
Why they recalling?
Damn,
the
disrespect.
they're looking to try and close this game out.
The
disrespect. Minions are in play for the bot side.
I hope they get
looking for
sweep
kills,
by
man.
Rouse.
With another finds Whoopi. Shots.
Reverse sweep, Rouse. Ooh, full play with that set. Nobody's alive.
But they look like they're trying to take down Kuya Kin before it. But down it goes. Gaimin Gladiators claims game number 2.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about using some of these games, the time you needed to kind of maybe get your feet underneath.
I feel like the Area 77 versus Fiends is going to be
to get a little bit more
probably more like it.
In their
more
side,
interesting.
But Gaimin Gladiators came back with a vengeance. When you talk about momentum, the difference between that first game and the second games, they seem to have found their stride and just unloaded onto LEGACi.
Oh, they're comfortable, right? I mean, they just stepped in their house, kicked their shoes off, and started playing Mobile Legends on their couch. With that performance for game number 2. LEGACi needing to find some answers. Game number 2.
Casters be going crazy on some of these teams,
let's kind of break
man.
this down, right? A couple things that we saw that maybe could help them for game number 3. Definitely kind of trying to rotate and find a way for the early objectives. Maybe not going in for such a damage-oriented early aggressive composition, but something that has
the giveaway is done every at the end of every month.
Just in case.
I've been keeping up with people that I've given stuff to. I need to go check the community post and see if anybody else posted their
me, I feel like it's just that the composition shined at different parts. Ymasha single target mid-game, Nolan early game, AoE type of attacks, Roger single targets. I want to say needs to get fed, so you're going to talk about mid-game if you got him in the marksman position, and then the
do monthly giveaways. We ain't that rich,
which really shines with like
if
AoE
we could do 15 skins
so
a day.
A lot of different aspects that didn't come together and
crazy.
synergize well for LEGACi here. We take a look at Zia, gold per minute, 842. Hoon with the absurd amount of damage dealt there. Whoopi, I mean the sandbag there, taking most of that damage. And then Shark, upping from 11 last game to 13 assists this game.
Yeah, definitely racking up those assists for the team. The head-to-head best players up against Riles himself. You are looking at about 73% kill participation, leading in best player's favor. But in terms of what's kind of stacked,
they updated blue stacks,
right? And I think it kind of just starts with just best player able to kind of get off these invades and delay Riles.
I have the biggest monthly MLDV giveaway on YouTube.
His team to back him up.
Yeah, you can just
call me top G for no reason.
The damage that was out
that's
there
cap.
too. Hoon, I mean, capping it off 45,000 there. Zia right behind him with 41,000. But look at the team participation, the trio. Actually, Zia, Shark, and Hoon there.
Shark's always the forgotten one.
Team participation for those 15 kills from GG.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a very fast game, right? We kind of said that 12 to 13 minute mark. This was under 10 minutes. For Gaimin Gladiators, just very comfortable so far. Just been dominating overall when it comes to the early phase. LEGACi, though,
like starving shit.
They gotta pick up the paces and they gotta pick it up fast. It's like we said, this is not the regular season no more. This isn't a point system. This is make it or break it. You only got so many chances before you get knocked out. Hopefully they can find their momentum, find their groove to be able to claim, I would say, just even a victory so far, to be able to at least find one in the NACT.
Needed to be updated.
Man, and it all kind of boiled down. I mean, the last game they were able to kind of withstand that early game. This time they did not have that pressure.
Trio.
And to the point that from the early minutes, Gaimin Gladiators were all over their purple buff. Nolan not able to get his buffs, not able to make anything happen right before that turtle came out, and then it was all GG from there. So, and it's just a problem when it came. I want to say they kind of approached this like they had
Did you get your diamonds today,
of the first game, and they found out exactly
like
why they couldn't execute
the same
diamonds
today
with this list of heroes.
Speaking of Gaimin Gladiators, it took
I got like
some of the exciting moments that kind of led to them
bad.
turn the game in their favor. I mean, look at it. 5 minutes.
I thought you would have been like in the 80.
Kills. Both sides were even, but a big final slash in initiation. Then the set for the stun from Kuya to respond back. But in terms of who was able to punish,
yo,
and
what
make it
up?
work in their favor, best player able to get
Man, you ain't respond to my
This is what
Discord
helped them
DM.
Stampede from 2 kills to 6, just in a matter
You
of
didn't
seconds.
respond?
Well, and this is what we were talking about. What really shined with Gaimin Gladiators, they had the setting potential, not just the setting potential, but they also had the AoE damage. So
Getting
once you
ghosted
got
by
that
the
set, once you
GF?
were able to collect them together, you
BTK
had
is
the
not out of the
creeps,
tournament.
coming out from Hoon. You had the damage from the rest
There's
of the
only
and
2
then you
games
even
today.
Had more CC coming out from
2 best
Shark
of 5s.
there, to be able to get them all
Better
stunned
than
out
watch
there.
his
So,
stream,
like,
bro.
once that first
What do you want me
set
to
came out,
say,
it was
bro?
pretty much GG
It's Legacy
for
against
whoever was
Gaming
caught into
Gobblers.
that.
Gaming
Yeah, I mean, and I will say something about Legacy, right?
Ain't much to say.
Interesting. I mean, we got to see the Hilda, now we got to see the Masha. Me and you were just talking about the Masha, actually.
Not the
You feel me?
Gobblers.
Inside of the draft, but so
Damn.
again, I think we can both
The
agree when it comes
Gobblers.
to
Ain't much to
overall
say.
synergized composition for what these heroes provide as a team. It's just a little lacking to what you typically see drafted from the side of GG.
Yeah, I want to say that the last draft kind of felt
Damn
like
Gobblers.
we were
Guys.
trying to take away from Gaimin Gladiators rather than having a spot where these picks actually shined. We picked up Masha because she's OP.
Much love,
because we
welcome to
know
the
that
chat.
what the enemy can do with it.
Next series,
but
I think, is
did we really
gonna
have
be
a plan for the
pretty
Masha on the side of Legacy?
spectacular.
We picked up
There's
the
been a lot of
Roger because
subs
we
and a
know
lot of
he shines
switches
in the
and
marksman position,
team
but did we really
players
have
on
a plan
FIENDS,
for him,
so it's
to
wild.
really kind of bully that lane, to kind of get our enforce our will with it, to get us to that mid game.
Yeah, it's almost like, okay, you got the Roger, which is great for
blue
the gold lane. You have
stacks
the Nolan, which is great for the jungle, but both of them kind of are very early and aggressive. Was Masha even the right option in that synergized composition, right? You could have kind of sacrificed, maybe got a little bit of set potential to work better in your favor, or something else that could have helped provide some defense against the Stampede over there from Gaimin Gladiators. But now jumping into
so the
game
next
number
isn't supposed
3.
to happen
Bans are on the
until
way. We are going to see the Kaja taken
next
out alongside the
series.
Navaria for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and take out that Vexana again. This time,
7
Legacy
p.m.
does
my
not
time,
want the Masha
so
on the table there. This is kind of
it's
a
5:30
mirror
right
of
now,
the
so like
draft we
in an
saw,
hour
or
and
at
a
least the
half.
bans
So if
we
they
saw
do
from the first
if they do this game
coming
in
out from both of these
15
teams.
minutes, we'll probably have like almost like an
Right
hour
now, it's kind
break.
of hard to
Maybe
really
less
kind of
than
predict. I mean,
that.
like, what
Hopefully
do
we'll
you
be able to get the
change?
teams
Do you
ready.
Change out the bands. Is it even the bands? Well, I mean, I want to say, first of all, the composition. We need to get something that synergizes. But we had that in the first game.
Do we want to double
and
check with
we
the next
had
teams
a
to see if they can
glimpse
play
of that
early, or do
synergy
we?
needed in the first game to execute it well, but Gaimin Gladiators just overwhelmed them as we moved into that mid to late game as well. So it's really hard because there's a lot of boxes that need to be checked for Legacy here right now. It's not just the draft, it's not just the picks, it's not just the synergy, but like a great combination of them all, of which Gaimin Gladiators have shown that they shine here in North America.
Yeah, I mean, even the execution, even when you have the most optimal draft, definitely plays a part in that, right? You are going to see the Angela panned out. Chip will be first on the board, this time for Gaimin Gladiators. Can't wait to see the new hero in effect. Definitely going to have a little bit of a problem if they're not careful for the side of Legacy. Now, we're wondering, right? Is he meta? Is it make or break? Is it even worth picking up this early in the draft as you allow other things to be slotted on the other side of the board? Now, Chip, though, I will say, I mean, theoretically, I would assume he's going to be ran in that roam position, right? He can kind of teleport his allies to the enemy for some additional damage.
Come on, chat, like the stream. Let's go.
Provide that CC necessary for the team on some aggressive plays, but he's definitely not something that we're traditionally used to seeing.
yeah, not traditionally used to seeing, but I want to
All right,
say
Area 77 said they can play early.
Be successful with Chip, I would say Gaimin Gladiators would be too as well, because they have that experience with Lu Yi and Hoon. And I want to say in that aspect,
like 30 minutes, like after this game, this game might be somewhere around that.
Than Lu Yi, because Lu Yi, it takes a little bit of time for her ultimate to actually go off. For Chip, it's instantaneous.
Very
You're
nice.
gonna be able to, you're gonna have a portal down. You're gonna be able to get to your lane quicker. You're gonna be able to kind of get from another lane to get to those ganks quicker, and then get back to your lane before the minions are pushing at your tower. So there's a lot of synergy here. There's a lot of synergization possibilities here for Gaimin Gladiators.
Yeah, and you're already seeing the
Zane hasn't streamed in 2 weeks.
Assuming it's a response.
We try to get one. I mean, we can't force Zane to stream at all, but he said that he was maybe going to do a watch party with this.
I'm not really seeing anything to stop Joy in his tracks.
He's definitely in playoffs mode.
Keep up
he's just
with the Benedetta now. Both of them
he's focused on gaming.
Mobile. Esmeralda.
He's focused on winning.
Okay, we're switching things up. I like it.
I feel like we're countering for countering for countering. Right now, we picked up the Joy. We've got the Harris.
A lot of you guys have been tuning into like basic stream and stuff like that. You probably caught that.
But then on the other
that
side,
I'm in the VCs a lot now.
Soak up a lot of those shields.
If you guys didn't know,
he has when he comes down with that.
I took
with his ultimate.
I took the mantle of being BTK's manager.
Kind of
so
raw damage and that mobility that you get with a Benedetta there. I haven't seen. I want to say I've seen Benedetta more on yellow than I have on Fried Chicken. So it's actually, I'm actually kind of glad, because I want to see how much that mechanical ability that Fried Chicken has.
A lot of people kind of
it's going to be interesting though, because again, I'm looking at Legacy's draft, and we
saw Trex's video.
Some little odds and end heroes that I
happened to
don't feel
Nami.
like have the strongest synergy as a unit. Now, this is going to be interesting when you're looking at what they have, right? I guess this should be.
I mean, it's not my place to say.
A Joy possibly going to be slotted in the mid or the jungle, because Esmeralda,
she just got swapped out.
I'm assuming it's going to go to the XP lane, but we'll have to see as this draft kind of prevails forward. Now, in terms of set potential from both sides, I mean, there's not really much outside of, I would say, Chip. I mean, I guess you have Harris with the
She got swapped out, and BTK reached out to me, and they were like, yo, you want to be our manager? And I was like, hell yeah.
The bank on rushing in and initiating, trying to get the CC for the stoppage. When
I've been putting BTK to work, Chad. I've been
Esmeralda dropping down with the
pretty much putting in as much time as they have.
It's really just some initiations for damage.
Trying to be there for him.
The Roger alongside it.
Yeah, that's a really interesting
I'm looking for org sponsorships for him as well. So
right now,
anybody knows any org sponsorships or any orgs have any special, connections to North American orgs or anything like that, let me know.
I want to call it, where they just both
tell them to DM me.
Absolutely mirrored each other, slapping each other in lane. Then they would go to cut each other's lane here. But Esmeralda kind of lacks, especially the mobility that Fried Chicken's going to have with this Benedetta here. We see in the draft.
You thought I was more towards GG than BTK?
And a pickup of CC, which means that this Esmeralda is going in.
Go ahead, say it. You know you want to say it.
I don't
Where's
know.
it going?
The jungle?
Where's it going? Where is it going?
I think it's going to the jungle. But I was like, let him say it. Because then if he says it and he's wrong, hey, I didn't know. I'm just kidding. But honestly, I'm right there with the private. I'm scratching my head. I'm trying to figure it out. Legacy. Looks like they jumped in the matrix and they're looking for the source code right now. Hopefully it's the right programming. But you are going to see Gaimin Gladiators with what I would say I'm a little bit more comfortable draft-wise, right? I mean, when they threw the CC in there with the Esmeralda, with the Joy,
the BTK and GG drama are always necessary for
tracks. But oh my gosh, this is just getting
insane. For the success.
I think we might be casting the craziest game.
I was just sitting here thinking, you've got so much dashing and mobility from Gaimin Gladiators. What if they picked up the Fanny too as well here? You're looking at a team that's going to be hard to catch for Legacy, and you don't have a lot to stop this dashing ability from them as well. And I want to say Hoon here. I mean, I honestly just being relaxed right now. He's shades of Gosu Zero here. You're gonna have a Harley in that mid lane. Oh, but we do have a one suppression on the side of Legacy here.
Woo. He's got a.
I had to do nothing, Drake. I had to do nothing.
Or you could grab the Harley.
Just a quick
stab. You gotta pick somebody, right?
And
but honestly, man, I don't know what's gonna be tougher. Trying to get the suppression off on one of these heroes, trying to stop any of these heroes with their mobility, Or is it going to be the cameraman trying to keep up with all the action because of how mobile both of these compositions are?
Yeah, honestly, the answer here with the Franco, I'm kind of
BTK
on the fence
tomorrow.
about. I almost feel like an Akai would have been a little bit better, just because it's
many
not going to be
dashes do they
that
need?
singular answer.
Jesus
right
Christ.
now, you have a choice. Like you said, can I
It's
get the
gonna be a
Fanny? Do I get the
crazy-
Benedetta? Or do I grab somebody else on their team and hope that we can bring it down? Ugh, I do not envy their position right now.
Speaking of envying things, off to the
All
land
you
of
see
Dawn
is
we
BTK?
go. Game
I don't
number
know.
3.
I'm openly supporting them.
NACT Spring season. Gaimin Gladiators up 2-0 up against LEGACi.
I think a lot of the casters try to be
Yeah, you
not
just see
biased,
a little
but
bit of aggression there from Kuya Ken coming into the jungle, but he
knows.
grabs Fanny instead of the buff, and you kind of want the buff so that it resets.
Alright, game 3.
Looking for it. I think we did
Sweep
get a
reverse.
retribution
Reverse
on the best
sweep,
player,
I mean.
Well, but he got a kill. So I would say that's a fair trade.
I believe. What the
It's
wait?
gonna have to be something to watch out
Sissy
for.
mid?
Best player's probably gonna go in for that Blade
Alright,
Ecstasies super early.
Hi, bro.
Just so he can get some
Starcast
additional
arrival,
peek-offs to bridge
Hunas
that
on
gap
Harley,
that
like-
Gladiators is looking to lean in on.
I'd be crazy,
Fly
anime.
chicken here on the
They
back, trying to
crazy.
be a nuisance already, starting to
What am I
cut lanes,
watching?
and you can see both of them on the side. Esmeralda at the bottom as well there. Whoopi trying to do an answer back with some cut lanes of his own.
Hey, I'm trying to bet whose fingers are moving faster, the cameraman or best player on the Fanny. But you are going to go ahead and see Zia on the top side in the 1v1. But speaking of matchups, though, aggression inside of the jungle. 4 members of LEGACi trying to chase down. One member, Jolie, is going to find Zia, though. Shark.
I forgot my ML
Trying to get
password.
out of there with the chip. It is 1 for
This
1 on
is
the board,
the slowest car chase ever.
Ooh, I don't know if he'll be able to get out, though. Best player wants it. He's going to be able to take him down, finding his 2nd kill of the game.
And that's the value you're going to get out of best player right now in with this Fanny. I mean, as slow as he was up.
Tom, I come on, Soph. I didn't just say nothing.
On the LEGACi side of the jungle, a best player able to close the distance so quickly, and that's what you're going to have is best player just zooming all over the map. No matter who gets low on the side of
interview that
LEGACi,
teddy
they're going to
bear.
need to be wary, and Kuya Ken is going to need to be ready.
I think we got to keep an eye on where the kills are going, though. Even though it's 2-1, best player picking up 2 kills. If he keeps stacking them, he'll be able to burst down majority of the members. Riles, though, will find one to even out the scoreboard. Takes down Shark. Deadly Magic on the Shansky. Forced to get away, taking some heavy hits. The best player looking to clean up, but not able to get to him.
Shark is the terrible, yeah.
Shansky will fall. Best player.
That's a W
Gets start,
camera.
finds his 3rd kill. Hoon.
W camera.
Roll 4-2 on the scoreboard.
You forgot the NACT was today.
Right
Let's
now, and why
go.
Franco is not a
Yeah, I can't
regular
believe
member.
louder though. I thought they need players to show their actual face. They probably let us live because it's Shark.
At least Kuya can grab the purple buff. Nah, that's not really worth the trade. But anything best player can get, he's going for. I mean, he's already 4-0-1. Take a look, though, off screen. We got to see Zia versus Jolie. Wrestling with the Lincoln Pounce, just showcasing how strong the Roger is. And technically, I mean, the hair is supposed to be the counter.
Yeah, I mean, a good job up there by LEGACi up there and by Jolie. But what I was going to say before,
Damn,
is that
see, I got
the problem
solo
with the Franco
kill.
pick here is what you're seeing. He's not a tank. He's a support character. And they're really taking, oh, this is that teleport we were talking about.
What is Shark
There's no ways
doing?
getting out of that.
Oh,
Deadly
his
Magic,
teleport.
5-man team, high mobility for a turret dive as well. Some great
He said,
execution.
what is
by
Shark
Hoon.
doing?
Able to escape.
I don't understand
Kuya Ken
this
won't be
here,
able to
bro.
take that kill, but that's the roamer for LEGACi. Zama Force
Oh,
dropping down.
nah.
Jolie able to get out of there, but hit with a lot of
Be
damage.
happy if
Bloody Hunt
they
does get
Moonton
out.
made an
Zia will
NACT
be stopped in
emote.
his tracks,
Same.
and Jolie, with the assistance, will be able to pick up that kill.
Though Shark stream, he streamed like
Not
twice
absolutely
on his
crazy
lifetime.
right now. I do
Not
like
really.
the synergy of those teleports, though. It's got a lot
They
of
are
options
dead.
there, especially you're just kind of looking, waiting for your team. You're like, are you guys all ready? Whoop, we found somebody. Boom, engage, and you've got 4 members
Whoa.
at the snap of a finger loading, unloading on you. There's not really much that you're going to be able to do there. We take a look at some of these items here. Yeah, not too much right now. I mean, like I said, just about a 1K gold lead for Gaimin Gladiators.
But you are going to see best player trying to get a kill. Flame shot for the still. Hoon.
Unloading
greedy
on
there.
you?
Gonna give the best
Yeah,
player
hearing
loading
this,
for
man, bro?
another on the double kill. Shansky, Deadly Magic. Not
4
gonna be until
members
the
unloading
final
on
hit,
you.
But a very close call. Blade
James.
Ecstasies, though, was picked up by best player, and he is hitting like a truck.
Got some NACT
Yeah,
food.
I mean, already he's sitting at 5-0-2 right now. And teleport again.
Ooh, gonna make the most out of Chip. Jolie taken down by Fried Chicken. No connection over there with the hook as well. Riles rushing in, trying to deal some damage. We'll be able to catch Shark with the electrifying beat. We'll be able to find the trade, but may fall. Chicken on the chase, able to shut him down and goes back to safety.
Yeah, and right now they
No
really,
way Shark lives.
What we were
No
seeing
way.
when we saw those Lu Yi
Rouse, go crazy.
gameplay there is that they're getting behind enemy
Okay.
lines. They're finding, and they're cutting them off, which is the biggest thing.
Yeah, speaking of cutting things off, 2v1 Whoopi turned into a easy death over there from the side of Gaimin Gladiators. 2 members falling though. It's now 11-5 in 5 minutes. GG up on the advantage.
And this is one of the reasons I was really kind of talking about. I would probably have preferred the Kai pick there.
Yo, what's the
Ken
break
is
between
just,
series?
He's
Is it
just
the
a bag
same?
of gold out there for Gaimin Gladiators right now. Doesn't have his
What's that?
his defensive
The
items
break
right now.
between
Best player
series,
too
is it the
far
same
ahead
time as
to really
regular
even be
season?
stopped.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get both the teams should be ready, so
everybody just out for the fight.
it'll probably be like maybe a 10-minute break or something like that
Gaimin
until the
Gladiators
next teams are
faster?
ready.
Kills right now, but
What's
still
that?
able to claim the objectives.
It's gonna be
alongside
faster than
Tier 1
regular
Wolves
season?
for the top
Yeah,
side.
yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Yeah, 20K
At least
to
this
15 right now. 5K
at this time it should be
gold lead
because the
for
players are
Gaimin
ready.
Gladiators at the
If not, it'd be like a
6-minute
normally like an
mark.
hour
Would be,
break.
I mean, doing an all right job down here, but
Yeah.
we're starting
With
to
a
see the
sweep like
towers
this.
fall in favor of Gaimin
But Area
Gladiators as they get
77
there
and Fiends
first
are ready,
and
so
are looking to kind of continue this push.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we got to see Chip in action. Not the way that I would have predicted, at least drafting-wise. Bloody Hunt, though, gonna go ahead and catch him in his tracks. Kuya Kin will be able to draw that.
Are the ads
advantage with
going
that kill.
crazy?
Off to a good start over there for
I paused
LEGACi
them.
to be able to turn it around. But Zombie Force dropping down Jolie.
I don't know how they
Zia
keep
shuts him
going
down. Zia gets
crazy.
a double, shuts down Kuya Kin as well. Tier 1 turret in the mid lane will fall as well. Zia off to a great start to be able to try and steal the MVP away from best player.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of is just at that question.
Support
you saw
the channel.
A great set and a pickup there.
Yeah,
for
I
Kuya
try
Kin
to
on
keep
that
the ads
Franco
away
into
from
the
like actual
more
game
Gaimin
times though.
Gladiators kills.
That way you
That's
guys
gonna
can
kill Zombie
actually
Force, drop down. Zia will find
watch.
Whoopi. Maybe able to get another, but Chicken able to deal the final blow. Takes down Whoopi. Shansky falling alongside him.
Nice.
2 members down for LEGACi. The kills are climbing as GG is rising up that ladder.
Yeah, and nothing has been able to stop best player right now. Kuya Kin is a super squishy at the moment. I mean, he's able to find a few. Oh, nice little hook.
Yeah, we'll be able to stop him in his tracks. That's the suppression they were looking for. Jolie gets best player. Blade of Despair picked up by Fried Chicken to deal some massive damage. Man, Private, I don't know. I don't think
Even
they'll be
Lami
able to do that at
top
the 9
one?
and 30-second mark like the last
Jeez,
game. This is
comparing
another
Lami
fast
top,
one
huh?
for the side of GG. Azia will find another shuts down Whoopi.
Yeah, we can take a look here. I mean, we've already got the Feather Heaven there picked up for the Harriet there. Zia is going to be doing an immense amount of damage.
Yo, Aiko, are they gonna stream lower brackets or not?
Benedetta, I mean, you've already got a huge amount of
Yeah,
damage.
lower brackets should be
coming
streamed
from
as
her,
well.
But now with that BOD, you're really going to kind of be crushing it. And we got the Malefic Roar and Blade of Hepsises picked up by best player right now, sitting 2K gold ahead of Riles.
Yeah, Zombie Force dropping down again. Zia being a problem out there for LEGACi, trying to deny them any farm, and now invading into the tier 2 turret, forcing 4 members of LEGACi back into the base. Complete bully so far, passing that 30K threshold in terms of gold.
Yeah, trying to make another quick one out of this. I want to say the synergy right now. Oh, look at the damage right now. Being capped off there by Azia with 28,000. But like I was about to say, like Shark with these teleportation portals out there right now is just doing such a great job. I mean, it doesn't even matter. It pops up right on top of tower, and the rest of the team just kind of folds into LEGACi, and there's not anything that they can do.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, just how mobile Gaimin Gladiators is and already how they're good at making the most out of the micro and the macro across the map. I mean, look at them getting comfortable. There goes the teleport we were talking about. Going to go ahead and possibly hit that shortcut. You are going to look at Kuya Kin, Shansky, trying to give some vision, though, trying to rotate around. But in terms of who has more items on their side, 7,000 gold lead for GG so far. There's the teleport in. GG may go in for the siege.
It's just saw best player kind of come in there. He's like, surprise! Oh, there's nobody here. So now he's gonna go back. It looks like they're gonna go ahead and focus their efforts onto the Lord right now.
Man, credits to the cameraman, able to keep up with this high mobility so far. Best player will be able to take down the Lord for the side of Gaimin Gladiators, but on the top side, electrifying beats may be able to find one. Falling Star Moon drops down. Whoopi will be able to shut down Hoon, but the Lord in GG's favor.
Who knows?
Yeah, Lord coming down at bottom lane as well, which means you're gonna have an immense amount of
Come
pressure.
on, Rouse.
Not long for this world.
Yeah.
His best player gets a hold of him and cables him into dizziness. We are gonna have a lot of pressure coming up at the top lane. I'm expecting to see Gaimin Gladiators kind of split, prioritize this so that you have the Lord at bottom, and now you're gonna have to answer up at the top as well. As you see Zia kind of hunkering down in this bush.
Right, we have passed the 10-minute mark. You are looking at Gaimin Gladiators being very aggressive so far.
I think that'd be a good one.
In their favor. Highest kill so far in the game is going to be best player, though. Only finding one death so far on this Fanny. But I feel like it's just a race for kills on who can kind of get the most in today's game for GG. But speaking of kills, both sides finding it out. A lot of aggression. Kuya Kim will find Fried Chicken. Best player. Rushes in, takes down Rouse. Bloody Hunt to drop down for the stun. Jolie with the alley-oop will take down Zia. 2 members falling for Gaimin Gladiators. 1 for the side of LEGACi, and GG will back off.
Yeah, they actually had to back off there. It looks like Shark kind of threw down a portal. The rest of the team, I want to say blindly, kind of just leapt into the portal, not really having a real good garner for what was going on. Ooh, best player.
He did connect with the hook, but no Bloody Hunt for the follow-through, and it looks like best player was able to get out.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that portal, I felt like GG kind of jumped into there, didn't realize what was going on, and then you had the rest of the team got eaten up. Not like this time, though. Whoopi just gets deleted.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Control, Alt, Delete. Just putting that on a macro right there with how fast they're able to shut him down. Whoopi at the front end of that 1-6-0, having a hard time getting online, but I feel like the later this goes, maybe LEGACi can turn it around. Maybe they try and play for the late game. Gaimin Gladiators with their aggressive stance, though, will they even give them that opportunity, right? They're starting to try and sink these lanes, possibly go in for some aggressive plays just because they have the dive capability. They're able to engage and disengage because of the mobility.
Well, and the problem here now comes to the point that you can't even split push, because even if it's just Shark that finds you, it's all over, because you can be able to throw down a portal, and then you have the entirety of Gaimin Gladiators coming for you.
Oh, speaking of Gaimin Gladiators, Chicken, Electo final blow. Riles getting out of there with the hair on his chin. 1 HP escape.
Yeah, 21-10 right now. 7K gold for the side of Gaimin Gladiators, looking to close this out right now. 19 seconds left on this Lord. I'm not even sure what you can do here. You've got a danger all over the map. If it's not even if it's not just Shark who's able to teleport the entire team to your position, you're talking about how quickly best player can close the distance.
Yeah, and speaking of best player, Gaimin Gladiators on the bot side, rushing in, trying to get some blood. Whoopi will follow Zia with his Zombie Force. Will be able to shut him down, but the hook and the Bloody Hunt into the turret. Kuya Kin on the trade-off will take down Fried Chicken. Zia fall. That is going to be Jolie picking up that kill, but best play to respond back with the swiftness will shut him down.
Yeah, and that's basically what we were talking about. The Shark able to throw down a portal. This time, I want to say Gaimin Gladiators a little bit more choosy and patient before they entered the portal, then got out there and were able to find themselves about 2 or 3 kills there onto LEGACi.
Yeah, best player rushing in with the steel cables, almost able to find one. Shansky will shut down best player, not able to escape the last-minute damage on the aggressive play.
Yeah, I mean, doing on a back foot right now, LEGACi actually able to answer with some kills of their own, but I mean, they're still being pushed into their turret right now. They're into their turrets. They're forced to turtle right now, and it's kind of up to this game's momentum is really on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. It's on them to make a mistake. LEGACi looking for an opportunity, though. You see this Lord just kind of laying in wait, and Gaimin Gladiators just kind of throwing out the bait.
Yeah, Shark will teleport, bring Zia and Hoon alongside them. Riles gonna use the electrifying beast. There goes the hook and the Bloody Hunt for the suppression. Hoon will be caught out of position. Chicken going to the battle. Electrifying blow will not connect, but he will get a little bit of a slash off for some damage. Falling Star Moon from Whoopi, forcing out the Cosmic Fusion, forcing out the Zombie Force from Zia. Rushing in, Shansky on the retreat now, trying to get away. The stun on to Whoopi as well. That is going to be 1 member falling for the side of GG. Nobody falling for LEGACi, but the
I feel like they just needed to make Loyi better.
Gladiators.
Like even
I was
better.
about to say, it did look kind of appear like Gaimin Gladiators were playing with their food for a little bit, but now starting to focus up on the lore. They're just going to look to end this right now. Best player going in, actually getting a decent amount of damage, but I want to say not having that same effect.
Chapter. Nah, I'm dead out, bro. Like, I'm actually falling asleep.
Shortcut activated, but Riles will be able to find one.
Like, it's
Shuts
not even
down.
a joke
Right Chicken
anymore.
Shark will fall as well. But the response back from GG. Best player will take down Riles. Jolie forced to jump into wolf form. Kuyakin taking some serious hits. Hoon on the chase. Cameraman trying to keep up with all the action. A lot going on so far. 24-16 at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, you've got just players from Gaimin Gladiators appearing at random points of the map with these portals, with the cables coming out from best player right now, the dashing coming from Zia, how quickly Benedetta can kind of traverse the map, especially when it comes with that electo final blow as well. And all the while, LEGACi trying to get a grip, trying to get some farm.
Private always takes personal shots at teams, bro.
Teleport. Just the presence of what chip provides. It's very hard to deal with in LEGACi. Forced to the drawing board.
He said
they're not able
the
to
gobblers
find them.
are playing with their
GG,
food.
Working on this lord. This may be their final push to be able to close out this game. If LEGACi is not careful, LEGACi needs this game though, right? If they lose here, they'll be knocked down to the lower bracket.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're at the 16-minute mark, about a 4K gold lead. This is the worst we've seen Gaimin Gladiators the last two games deal with.
You said I missed it. That Private said 4 members unloading into one.
Of an opportunity, but I don't really see a way forward here unless they can kind of take advantage of Gaimin Gladiators with these portals, maybe turn the tides a little quicker.
Yeah, I've had bad experiences with that chapter. I don't trust nobody.
Coming up at the top means we're going to have some pressure at the bottom as well. Just too high grounds left for LEGACi.
Yeah, Luminous Lord slowly making his way into the base. Only those 2 high grounds to hold on to, and you are looking at LEGACi ready to make a final stand. GG trying to close out this series with a sweep. Can they do it though? You are going to see Shansky take down Hoon with the assistance of the Bloody Hunt and the Iron Hook from Kuyakin. Best player with steel cables though with the cutthroat will find Shansky. One member falling for both sides. Final slash going down. With
Why is this game going to 18 minutes? Because Hoon went fucking
into the wolf form. Will be back in the base. Whoopee sustaining the damage. The Iron Hook.
Harley.
Jolie with the Lincoln Power.
Harley.
Down 2 members.
Different age.
Gaimin Gladiators will fall.
Got him.
LEGACi able to take down the Lord, but they're not done. Best player will find Jolie. Gaimin Gladiators still going in for the siege.
Now they're throwing.
You already see the inhibitor in the mid fall. Zia will be able to claim that. Kuyakin taking a lot of hits. Back to the base he goes. And they're still going in. Private, I think they're trying to close
I was
out
like
this
looking
game.
at Harris when I was talking about it.
Minions are slowly falling. Zia dealing a little bit of that chip damage. Falling Star Moon from Whoopee to clear out that minion. Here comes the next round though. Do they pull their punches? No, they're not done. They're trying to just find that opening, but I don't know if they can. Riles is going to shut down Shark, though. Maybe a slight mistake on the over-aggressive play.
Shark took the teddy bear out, huh?
I'm not even sure if it's a we can even call it a mistake yet. I mean, they're chasing them down right now. They're looking to try to get these kills. Are they going to be able to close?
Oh my god, bro, this is torture, bro. Why they?
Almost though. Was looking promising. Whoopee though. Very
they
low
just having fun, bro.
To change the narrative. Best player alongside him, 2v4.
They're just having fun.
We'll find best player Chicken now trying to retreat Hoon with the deadly magic from the side play of the bush. Grab by Shansky.
Nice petrified Chicken.
We'll find Shansky to return that favor though. A lot of bodies dropping in the land of Dawn today. Both sides over 20 kills.
Yo, nah. If they lose this, I'm clicking off.
If they lose this,
I ain't watching all that.
LEGACi have chosen one player on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. They're like, they might beat us, they might trounce on us and get into our core, but gosh darn it, we're gonna make sure Hoon has a heck of a game. As they've been able to find the hooks onto him, and Shark actually in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Winter Truncheon trying to save him. Maybe the high IQ play he needed. Zia will deal the final hits, and Shark able to get out of there alive. Chicken
gosh darn it.
trying to bait out this Lord with the aggro.
Yeah, and Kuya
Shark with the winter trench.
Find himself an opportunity. Rest of the team coming up.
Hey, recall though him, bro. Like,
though, he's gonna grab best player. Whoopee will shut him down. That means that the Lord may be in the taking for.
I might have to chapter. He gonna stop me.
But they need to be careful.
He gonna stop me.
Engaged though. A lot of utility was baited out there, and Gaimin Gladiators will be able to claim this Lord with no retribution.
Oh, nah.
With no retribution, and you had the opportunity. They didn't have
Yo,
Riles, though,
they can backdoor with
Shark.
Shark, maybe.
Retribution here. Whoopi trying to escape back to his
Why
base.
is it disengaging?
Ooh, Chicken will find Whoopi not able to get out of there alive. Immortality being picked up by Jolie last second, trying to sustain himself for the siege from Gaimin Gladiators, looking to close out this series. The Petrify
Area 77 said
Zaman Force
DQ.
alongside it. Chicken
DQ Fiends.
against the world right now. Zia will find Ryo.
Why?
Jolie. Proc
No,
that
it's a
immortality,
troll.
still alive, still in the fight. Zia will find Shonsky for the
It's a
double
troll.
kill. Jolie back to safety. 2 versus
Yeah,
4.
they did.
Who you can hit with the stun.
Bro, please
Down
just
goes the base
end, bro.
crystal.
Just end it.
Gaimin
Tower lock,
Gladiators
tower
takes
lock.
victory over LEGACi with a clean sweep.
Alright,
Clean
GG's.
sweep and a best of 5, 3 games in a row for Gaimin Gladiators. Unfortunate for LEGACi, not able to find the answer against North America's number 1 seed. You can see right there. I mean, a great game. I want to say a funner game for Gaimin Gladiators there. I felt like they were a little bit more lax here. Not as, especially trying out this chip and the functionality of some of those portals.
Like I said, I don't know who the MVP is going to go to, man. We were going to have to see. There was a lot of bodies dropping for that last match, but overall, Gaimin Gladiators, like you said, showcasing why they're in that number 1 position. KDA for the entire team, 31, 23, and 64. Team rating overall slightly ahead of LEGACi by 2. Didn't hit double digits, though, which is a little bit surprising.
I wouldn't blame you, Pistachios. I don't blame you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you can take a look here at some of the damage and the gold coming out. I mean, like, it wasn't a completely wallop from Gaimin Gladiators. The macro definitely in their favor here. 10 kills for Zia there, 12 for best player. Hoon took 6 deaths there. He was just getting kind of walloped there. And then 21 assists for Shark on the chip.
Yeah, I mean, man, I never thought I would see
that's what we're
all
doing.
10 of these heroes in the same game together. But hey, anything's possible for the North American scene, and there it is. Definitely a treat for the first series of the playoffs. Gaimin Gladiators, though, overall able to claim victorious. Rich Guy going to Zia, the carry as well, and then the sandbag will be Whoopi, the new addition, the last-minute flex pick. And the forgotten one will be Shark this time with 21 assists.
You might have to call Hoon, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, he went up from, what was it, 11 assists to 13
he
assists,
only
now
replies to you.
21 assists. And here, I mean, not even really a contest when it came between the junglers.
Yeah, he's not in the
this
VC.
game. 12 kills for the side of best player, and really kind of holding Riles at a heat right there. 5, 6, and 7 for him. And they just kind of closed in on them. They're able to find some kills. Riles, I mean, I want to say, like, he's done a great job when it comes to his position, able to find some of those kills, but it's just not on him solely. It's on the rest of the team to kind of come together, and unfortunately, it's not a team of 5 Riles. And here, when it comes to against a team like Gaimin Gladiators, they really enforce their will and able to press forward with a clean sweep over LEGACi.
Yeah, and I think it just kind of pays homage to best player running his comfort pick, right? He picked up that Fanny. He had a great start in the early phase. I mean, he was racking up those kills with ease. He picked up that Blade of Heptases, and he bridged the early way for the team. And then that's where the high mobility took over. That's where Chip started dealing massive damage, able to get the team from point A to B to C to D at certain points of the game, to where we were having a hard time even keeping up with all of the action.
You can see here 159, just basically 160,000 from Zia right there. And then Team 5 participation kind of spread out a little there for Gaimin Gladiators, as they were all kind of coming together with some of those portals, but otherwise kind of split off around the map there. But man, 31 to 23 here, and Gaimin Gladiators just basically making a statement here in North America at the cost of a LEGACi here. This is why they are number 1 here, even with some of the better engagements in that first series. Unfortunately, I mean, we're talking about a team like Gaimin Gladiators, and there's a reason they're at the top of NA right now.
Yeah, definitely agree with both of you. With Gaimin Gladiators, the result is nothing of the unexpected, but
I had a feeling it was
game,
probably
you can see
something like that.
It definitely made some pretty good fights against GG, actually clinching some
boy's like, "See you."
on their way, but was not able to connect in the end. What I want to know, guys,
the
is
interview
we saw
chat, the interview.
that Roger going in for the jungle lane. How do you feel about Roger coming back in jungle, or are we going to see more of that in the upcoming matches?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a fan of it. I mean, it's kind of, like I said, it reminds me of the Martis, when Martis started stepping into the scene, able to get those early kills, able to bridge that gap. But Roger just shines so well because he can dominate in the gold lane, but he can dominate in the jungle as well. And I mean, if case goes to show, we saw that today. And I think it's going to kind of shift the meta around.
No, we got about 20 minutes.
Same question as well. And I mean,
maybe like 10 when the
Roger can be.
When they actually get to it.
If this Roger
said they needed a little bit of time, so
it does open up for like a lot of flexibility when it comes to the draft and having that Roger out there. But we have to ask too, is it because the Roger is meta and he's going to be doing well in the jungle? Or is it because Gaimin Gladiators were facing a team like LEGACi where they felt they could be a little bit more lax in some of their picks?
Well, I mean, third game, we did see some Harley picks coming back in, so that's a question we'll continue finding out about later. But the Chip pick, though, we wanted to see Chip back into the scene, and we did see it in the last game. How do you guys feel about Chip?
He's hard to keep up with, I'll say that. Even just the cast, you're kind of like looking at one side of the map, and then boom, here he goes on the top side, bringing two players with him as well.
You said Liz is looking so
he
fake.
Can provide
Why?
a lot of pressure to teams that are not able to kind of focus on aggressive teams. So I think you can easily overwhelm
Dude,
teams
in the
that just don't
world
know how to
nowadays,
kind of
man,
think
like
on the
everybody's
fly
wearing
to adjust
makeup.
the defense, and I think that's where kind of
at the NACT, the casters wear makeup,
I
bro.
saw something today that I didn't see last week with the Chip pick, and that was a game where Chip made a difference. And of course, it's, I mean, we're talking about Shark here, so if he's going to be able to make a difference, it's going to be him. But when you saw these engagements, you saw he'd be able to kind of, as long as Chip was the one that closed the distance on somebody, he's able to lay down a portal, even underneath a tower. The entire team comes out, goes ahead and bashes whoever they're ganking, the marksman, the XP laner, and then they're back into the portal, back to their lane very quickly. It does have a lot of, I want to say, opportunities in five-man play.
Restock my
I know in ranked games, when people playing it, there have been some issues with it because you don't have that same synergy with random people that you're playing with. But like, I mean, here in five-man play where everybody's communicating and everybody can be like, all right, everybody in the portal now. They go in, they get back to their lanes very quickly. I mean, there is a lot of opportunity for a character like that.
And we'll start to see teams picking that Chip as they gain more confidence and practice playing it in the five-man roster. And the MVP of the series will go to best player from GG. I know you guys had a hard time picking your MVPs.
Oh,
but
the stare, I got you.
Best players gameplays. Let's take it away, Weezy.
Well, it's a surprise a little bit. It was definitely hard to figure out who it was going to be. Honestly, I probably would have gave it to the cameraman after the last game. But best player definitely had some great execution. Like we said, we've seen him on the Roger. Inside of the jungle, traditionally, we've been seeing the Roger inside of the gold lane, so he was able to kind of mix it up and keep even us casters, you know, on a swivel. And then also pulling out that Fanny for that final series and just having such a great game, right? There goes the Fanny right there, all over the place, and he's like a one-man army. He can get the job done. He picks up 4 or 5 kills before GG even needs to initiate and help him around the map, and just that utility that he provides for the early phase is what helps them dominate overall.
And this is why you see a lot of those bans on some of those mechanically heavy heroes when teams are facing a team like Gaimin Gladiators, because best player has the ability, especially for heroes like
get
Joy,
these damn players
Nolan,
ready.
Fanny. He's able to use them all very precisely, and we've seen there, even without the chip, he's able to get around the map, even into enemy territory at the early game, find the kills, find his way back out. I mean, it's just
earrings are a little wild.
Yeah, and when the first time that I saw a best player playing that Fanny, I was pretty shook when he had the recall game going on. He actually does recall a lot throughout the game, and if you guys haven't checked out his recall little one-trick guide, go check it out on our YouTube channel. And today we have an interview with Hoon from Gaimin Gladiators. Let's see what she got to say about this match. Hello, Hoon. How you doing?
Hello. Good, thanks.
Hello. Thanks. Flame shot Harley. What was going on there? 6 deaths.
Oh. Damn, right into it.
I got trolled. I got baited. Every
got baited
time
into
there was a
picking
chick
Harley?
ultimate, no, said come, I go, and I got hooked. What can I do?
So you're the troller with
Do you
Loyi,
think your
and then now
5-man can beat
the troll's on
LG?
you.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean like
Pretty
my
much
like
based on my
personal
own
team?
medicine.
Payback
I don't have a personal team, so I don't
So
know.
what do you think about the Chip versus Loyi matchup? Is there an opportunity for both Chip and Loyi on the same
Technically,
team
I'm
for
on Team BTK now.
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna go Louis there, but I thought Harley would have been more fun. That's why I picked Harley. But definitely Louis can work with Chip.
And you can troll each other throughout the game.
Yeah, it'll be an amazing macro with those two.
Yeah, we'll definitely like to see that in the upcoming matches. So if you guys beat LEGACi and bring them down to lower bracket, what would you give them as one advice as they walk into that lower bracket?
Oh, LEGACi.
Get better.
I don't know. Maybe Raz can pull out the not Fanny, Harley. He's actually pretty good at Harley.
I have no idea.
What about a Hayabusa?
Maybe if this was like 3 years ago. I think it's kind of washed.
I
He's good
mean-
Harley though.
Sheesh.
Well, give it to you, Rouse.
Calling him
Huna
washed.
said it. Pull out the Harley, so maybe we'll see that in their upcoming match. So, who do you guys think is your toughest opponent going into Vegas for GG?
I mean, definitely, I think the top teams that we worry about is Area 77, BTK, DA. So I don't know. We're going up against either Area 77 or FIENDS. So I think we need to worry about that first. But yeah, those
Which
two
is
that I
the
mentioned.
Okay, so out of the 3 teams that you mentioned, who do you think is the biggest challenge that might potentially bring you guys down to lower bracket?
That was my cat.
I'll say BTK because they're the only one that beat us so far.
Then talking about BTK, what do you think about their chance making it to Vegas?
Damn.
I'm not sure.
Okay, good. Fair enough. We're very excited to see how GG performs. Can you give us a little tour of your jersey? This is the first time we're seeing your Gaimin Gladiator jersey live on stream. So let's take a look at what it looks like. Ooh, looking strong there. All right. Thank you, Hoon, for joining us for the interview. Best of luck to GG in the upcoming matches, and we're gonna continue cheering on for you guys.
Thank you.
This is the moment every time during.
You said L jersey?
Yeah.
I was waiting for Liz to leave, but I like the New Jersey. Honestly, it was interesting when he talked about the Hayabusa, right? I was wondering if he was going to kind of give credit to it because Riles is a pretty good Hayabusa, but I do agree, just currently not with the meta. Maybe trying something like the Harley could be a game plan, but I thought he was going to say, like Private, I heard him kind of whispering it, drink water, ban Mathilda.
Yeah, as for advice, and yeah, he's right though. There are actually some buffs coming in Hayabusa's future. I'm not sure if that's gonna pull him into the meta soon enough, but yeah, he's had a kind of a rough ride of it. And while Riles did make a name for himself on the on the Hayabusa, he does respect the fact that it's just no longer in the meta. And I mean, to use it is really, especially at this tier. We actually saw him use the Hayabusa a little bit in the
FIENDS is all ready. Are you guys
I mean,
like?
I want to say that's just a little bit of a sign of respect that he has for the top.
Are we just waiting on your Reshi?
He knows that it's not a
Well,
meta thing.
you
It's not
got like we know an ETA on him.
for it. And then I want to say I love
Like
the
5,
cap
10
off there
minutes?
with seeing the jersey, the little black and gold there for it there. Nice colors on it. Really appreciate it, and especially Gaimin Gladiators there. It's a good, respectable victory for them here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, black and gold kind of matching with private here. We're all going with the gold theme.
They're calling them right now.
Gold earring, and then we have the gold tie. So we're definitely pulling the gold off. And looks like GG also have that color palette going on. Actually, last week Shark did wear the gold, wear that jersey, but we haven't really caught that. So this week we saw it on his teddy bear. Very interesting camera roll. Very, very interesting watching the games for sure. Now with the Harley advice, I feel like that was kind of a troll advice. I mean, are we really going to see Harley in a jungle position? Is Harley even viable for the jungle role right now?
Hey, there's only one way to find out, right? Well, hopefully we'll see it today.
Did you get a hold of him?
I don't know. I don't think so. Just because it's not oftenly picked to at least have enough statistics, and I don't really see Harley.
I think we'll be able to go
much.
on probably like a
Plus,
10-minute
I just feel
break.
like it's easily counterable. You can
Hopefully
grab
that should be enough time for him.
Deal a lot of damage to be able to burst him down. You can go the tankier route, be able to sustain yourself.
Just tag me
against the
once you
damage,
once you hear something from him.
I mean, I feel like anything's possible nowadays with the way the meta is kind of shifting.
He's not responding right now, so
maybe it's just the play style that Riles has might synergize well to make it an option, but it's going to have to definitely be something that the rest of the team is building into, like we saw from that second game of LEGACi, where you had some single target damage, you had some group damage, you had some it didn't synergize well, and you're going to need something like that, especially if you're going to pull out a Harley in the current meta that we have.
But for LEGACi though, today they had a very challenging matchup just because they're going against
he didn't
the
respond, so my
GG.
guess is he's in the shower right now. So
as general prospects for LEGACi coming from you guys, what do you think LEGACi can do to I don't know.
I told him to ping me as soon as we get him.
To get a match win. Oh, I mean, this is their last. They have one more chance, so they have to be able to claim the series in the lower bracket. Now, in order to gain one, I guess if we can just speak on the gameplay,
yesterday.
I mean, it's kind of hard to pick when they win against GG because they kind of dominate every area
he's
for the
there,
most
he's there.
part. But I would say the early game should be one of the main points that they kind of
you guys are all good to go then, GG?
To be able to take these objectives with little to no loss and trying to delay the trades from the enemy side. The second thing I would say is probably a little bit better drafting, in my opinion. I kind of feel like
just hop on the cams and hop in the lobby when you can.
Certain heroes playing with others, like synergized compositions, maybe going in for like that standard. Somebody with group.
They're just waiting on their the coach right now, but they're pretty much all GG ready.
And then
they're all getting in the lobby too right now.
Capability of anything of that nature, I think, would be a little bit better. But we typically see them pick a couple of heroes that kind of do the same thing, and it's a little bit overkill when you stack them together.
For me today, we saw, at least in the first game, I want to say we saw synergy. We saw better macros,
actually might be a lot quicker.
They were able to use the Hilda very well. They were
Onyx
able to get ganks,
sweeping AP Brain was crazy. I heard it.
It just turns out that eventually they got overwhelmed with it, and they were able to shine with it. The draft, and I feel like that was the plan that they came with this very specific draft. Unfortunately, when we got away from that draft, it felt like they just had issues. They didn't know what they were supposed to be doing, where these characters really shined, especially a character like a Masha or even the Franco pickup was questionable. I don't want to say it was bad, but I just feel like there's better options to be able to do it. We saw, like, I immediately knew as soon as Franco was picked up,
I'll let Area 77 know.
Surviving the damage that was going to be output by them, because like I said, he's not really a tank, he's a support, and it's something that you want to have like a strong front line for to be able to
Dave wants to let you guys know, don't vape while on stream.
There's issues when it comes to those type of drafts and decision making for some of the characters. I'm not sure, but that's kind of a question up there. Is that because of
no
hero?
Problem. He's seen that and he's like, oh shit.
They panicked during the draft.
No problem.
I don't know, but what I did see today was that they are getting better when it comes to synergizing. They're getting better when it comes to whoever's making calls
I let him know
out there. From the first game, the second game, I mean, there's very little you can do when you're getting pushed back that hard to really kind of shine and when it comes to macro and mechanics there. But I mean, they're getting better and they're improving. There's a reason that they are top 8. They made it through 64, 128 different teams to get here.
Oh dang!
So I mean, there is respect on that. They're still a top 8
all
team
that magic
in North
dust,
America. It's just there's such a huge shadow that is cast by the rest of the teams here at the top 8.
It's
Yeah,
the
they might
super
be
yappers.
struggling against the other
Dang.
7 teams. They're still doing a lot better than the other 100 teams
Come
that
on,
didn't
Dave.
make it to the regular season. So keep that in mind, guys. Now, before we go into the next series of the day, Area 77 versus the new revamped Fiends, we have a giveaway for all of you lovely viewers who are staying in tune with us right now. On screen, you have the giveaway code for one of these permanent skins. We have 40 today, actually, not 31, but we have 40 quantity for the skins. First come, first serve, so make sure you redeem that code, type that code in for one of these skins. They actually upgraded to 40, guys. I mean, it's not a big upgrade, but it's something, right?
Hey, I mean, I always say the best price is free, so definitely claim it while it's available. And like I said, I'm a collector myself, so I love getting every single hero skin in Mobile Legends when I can. Obviously, we can't grab those because we're on the desk, but there are some out there for you guys. So make
All
sure
right,
you guys
Area
get them while they're still
77's
there.
G now.
A nice round number 40 instead of like the random 31. It just comes out of nowhere. 31 available. I assume that at some point nine staff members got themselves some skins, and that's where we got that number from. But 40, we're up in it. We're up in the ante here in North America for you guys, giving you guys a little something back for our lovely viewers out there.
Yeah, I mean, Trug's spreading the propaganda that 31 is actually for stuff Wheezy to grab that #1 spot for Wheezy, but we're not actually taking any prize away from you guys, just to keep that in mind. We have a little break coming up. The next match is supposed to be scheduled at 8 o'clock, but we are only going to have a 15-minute break, so come back with a glass of water, refresh up for the next series, Area 77 versus Fiends. See you guys in 15 minutes.
The rumors? About what? The rumors from the board. The demon. He's coming!
What happened?
They're all dead! Oh no, no! It's him! He's coming! He's coming!
Impossible! Get him out of here!
He's coming! He's coming for us all!
Who's there? An imposter has sullied our name! We are the might of the kingdom!
I mean, before I didn't have to do anything, and I got like 25K every month, so. I know. Now I'm like breaking the limit, you know. So it's like a commission base. All right, chat. All right, let's see if there's any skins I can gift right now. All right. I know some people were hitting me up. I don't give them hints. Just get AI to generate like MLBB lore and then just start a just Just do MLBB lures. No, this would be the giveaway for from last week. Why is this so big? Why is this so big? Look, this one's not as big as that one. Why the fuck was that one so big? Yes. Yeah. I was monetized in like less than a week. Passion. That's passion. What, the giveaway? You guys peep this? Let me check my YouTube. I gotta pull up my Excel sheet. Basic's actually super good. He's really good at gold lane. It's pretty fun watching BTK. I made it to Mythic, so that's a plus. All right, we got Jesus Christ. I don't know who I'm the number 3 is. Kaio's the only one that I have that I think is the next teams are ready, yeah. Well, Area 77 is. All right, let me check my blood pressure 1. I think we already got taken care of. No name. So I should have all of the 4,000 diamonds besides whoever RM sorry to 2022 gameplays. And see if he replied. I don't think he replied. All right. So we don't have that guy. Yep, BTK's tomorrow, yeah. BTK's tomorrow. Congrats, hell yeah, I won. I got mine, thanks G. Much love. Wow, seems like all the noticeable ones in stream win. Well, that's not my fault. That's because they put a lot of time into watching the stream. That's why I built the flex coins, chat. It's like the loyalty currency is there to allow people that take their time to watch my content, and it gives back to them. So if you want to win skins, you're gonna have a higher chance of winning it by having more flex coins, which means just watching the channel a lot more. So about me, but not Sabo. And by gambling, yes. I don't see my name. LOL, LOL, LOL. Da 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 da. I don't have Discord. Monkey D. Luffy. Which one was Monkey D. Luffy? Oh. And when you guys have fucking names like Monkey D. Luffy, like, it's really hard to make sure you get the win, because that shit is probably the most used name and on goddamn on this game, bro. Someone said rig, not gonna lie. Why do people always hate when they don't win? All right, chat. We need I could probably just swap this, right? Wow, why is this so much fucking bigger? All right, chat. These were the winners, man. So oh yeah, I was about to send Kaio said he wants the cyborg werewolf Roger skin. Okay. Which I think he was Sayo would have been Kaio and Game, which is this one. Perfect. Alright, there's one skin. If you guys see your name on this, let me know. Alright, so Kaio is now good to go. We've given that skin. I think Cross, are you in there? I think I already gave you your skin. Champ, I'm not quite sure if I gave Champ his skin. I'm gonna say yes, because he's my fucking mod. He ends up getting skins no matter what. I'm sure I've gifted him a skin or two. Who knows? I don't know who all these other people are. Like, I don't know who this, I'm number 3. I might have to make another repost. Still don't know who this person is that won 1,000 diamonds, so if we don't hear anything from them, I might just end up turning this the giveaway into people that are active in the stream at the time of the giveaway. redraw. I can't redraw. It's already it's already closed. I can just add it to the new giveaway or something like that. Is that the real Brian? You didn't just go change your name, did you? I'm joking. If you see your name on here, just drop your ML ID. Because I wish the Cloudbot would keep track of who actually wins, you know? History. More. Oh shit, I can actually see it from here. Will it actually chat, like have them chat? My name is totally up there. I'm trying to see if most of the people that haven't talked. I see my name up there, but you don't. Alright. Do that for me, Brian. And then give me your ML ID, and then I'll get you added here while we're still waiting. There's still like a 2 minutes till the game starts, so I'm kind of just getting shit going. I was trying to see if it like because I'm looking at the history of like who the winners were, but it doesn't like update the chat when people are talking. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. NACT having 2 games today is weird. It's because they're best out of 5. It's crazy. It's so fast though. Hopefully the Fiends one won't be that fast. I'm trying to see. Man, I wish one of these people were in the chat that I could actually like see. Well, it says Brian's in here, but it's not updating his chat when he speaks, so. You're on the list? I don't know, man. You just go change your name, bud? Send me your YouTube in my Discord. This is the flex coins. I'll be doing monthly giveaways every month. So this was the first month, which was 15 epic skins and 1,000 diamonds each for 4 individuals. So yeah, if they're unclaimed, then well, gee, please, thank you. Area 77 said, can we DQ production since they went on a 15-minute break? I just send, just send it to my my Discord. My Discord's right here. It's just G the Ico with no spaces, no numbers, no nothing. Will I ever play Honor of Kings? Is that like the new MOBA coming out? And my Discord's right here if you want to send me the information. Same thing with you, Petrify. Just send me hold on here. Settings. Advanced settings. Account. Nope. You're my server? Dope. Is it like this? Settings. I don't know. I'm still working on it. All right, here I got a way to verify it. I got a way to verify it. So user management. Loyalty. Brian. All right, Brian. Brian, do exclamation point flex coins in the chat. I think I can just verify it this way. All right, you're definitely the real Brian. All right, pet. All right. Yeah, see, there's two petrifies. See, there's two petrify, but both of them actually have really, really long watch hours, which is quite crazy. Yeah, you're good, Brian. Petrify, do exclamation point flex wins in the chat. It's crazy because like both of them almost have exactly the same watch hours, so maybe there's like two petrifies. You're the 4500 one. And they're both on YouTube. You both have a decent amount of points too. What's your IGN, Petrify? The people are just yapping right now for once the game starts, I'll let you guys know. The games are starting here in a couple minutes. All right, I'll get you guys at it here soon. Let me swap this back to the main game feed.
Amount of difference when it comes to a role like the marksman into the mage position. I mean, well, there's a lot of difference, but there's a lot that carries over into the mid lane, and that you're waiting to kind of get your power spikes, the damage you're looking for those the squishier members to try to get that damage on. I think the added thing from the mage position is your rotations now. Now you're looking for opportunities to get those ganks onto the side lane, so it kind of lent itself and really helped Mark Cutie to kind of shine in those positions. But like we were talking about, I mean, no changes here, and especially for a team like Area 77, who in the playoffs has been known to really shine.
I'm trying to make sure people get it, and I mean, if I have to do it throughout the week and find out, it just is how it is.
Oh wow, looks like Zeke joined UA there with the Fiends hype. Zeke believes fully
I actually don't know when the new hero is getting released.
Today. What do you guys
Hopefully
feel?
soon.
I personally
I'm gonna add you guys in game, and then yeah, you guys just request request the skins.
Swaps there to there because of Mark Cutie's schedule, but overall they've been doing very well throughout the series. They're actually one of the two teams that took a win against BTK, so definitely very strong there. And Fiends' new lineup is a little bit questionable for me, but what do you guys feel?
I'm right there with you. I agree with the BTK statement. They were able to kind of surprise the world with that victory, and it was a good look for them. And also not changing too much on their roster means we already know what to expect with their synergy, and so do they, jumping inside of the Land of Dawn. And this is kind of why they earned my vote. Not to mention, I mean, we've seen Area 77 do really well. Private made an excellent point on talking about them kind of showcasing their talent when it comes to the playoffs, right? We saw them make, was it 4th place in the last NACT, right? They were able to get into 4th place. They've actually performed in an offline event as well. So that just showcases how capable of a team Area 77 can be.
I know I'm gonna date myself here, but call me
once
Agent
we
Mulder
reach
because I want
once
to
we reach
believe
7
in
days, just request the skin and let me know. If I see you request it, like if I'm playing Mobile Legends, I'll look at my
honestly, I want to say I'm a
spreadsheet
huge fan
and make sure
of what they've been able to do, especially
BTK
the last
plays
2 seasons.
tomorrow.
Last season got so many upsets in the playoffs that completely shocked me. This season, I'm not surprised by it anymore. We saw them take a lead over BTK, and here I'm actually looking for these to be, I want to say, my pick for underdogs. The surprises, I feel like Area 77 is going to carry a lot of surprises in these playoffs for us here in North America.
And the Alien Nation and the Fiends are ready, so let the assassination begins.
That's right. Here we go, jumping into the draft for the second series of the day for day 1.
Bro, give me my camera.
NACT spring season. Bans are already on the board.
I'm trying to move my camera and it's not even letting me.
For both sides. For me, Area 77, they're going to take off that Faramis. On the side for you, Private, looks like it will be the Mathilda.
Yeah, it's pretty basic bans here right now. The big thing for
me
is
a good game, chat.
That Area 77 has really
though you gotta watch out that there has been
compositions that
a little bit of like swaps going here. Kohari moved to the Rome,
from what we saw,
and then
Bainar of LEGACi,
Bainar, however you say his name, is now gold. So
too good on.
It's time to see what Fiends got cooking.
Every pick has a purpose here. They do well when it comes to
let me change the poll for you guys, chat.
Against their enemies here, and that's a big thing, that a reason why they were able to be so successful here to get 4th place, even a victory over BTK. So I'm definitely looking for them to continue to shine there in their draft here against.
You never saw Fiends before?
I mean, try to take a look at least both of these teams from their last performance to close out the regular season. Area 77, fresh off of a sweep.
Fiends is super strong in this current season.
On the other side of the table for Fiends, they went up against Gaimin Gladiators and they got swept 2-0. So one of these teams is fresh off of being swept, and the other one is fresh off of putting
Area 77 is also strong though too, chat. Like they're an amazing team as well.
It's gonna be definitely one for the books. We did get to see the Roger.
Yeah, Fiends did beat Area 77 at one point. So
that's gonna be a game plan for them. It has not.
Who's gonna go to the lower bracket? This is do or die for them.
On their shoulder as well, to be able to provide that CC and those teleports. But I mean, we kind of talked about what Chip can provide, and not really one of the strongest options. But speaking of strong options, playing a little bit on the safer side, Area 77 with the Fredrin.
Yeah, we're going to see what Fiends have to answer here. I know I've talked a little bit in length about Area 77, but Fiends have impressed me so much in this tournament, especially right from the start of the qualifiers. The first team, they put down Gosu in the first qualifiers. Anybody who's been here in North America for a while, they know Team Gosu, I mean, a staple here for North America. And to be put down by a team, and you thought maybe it was a little bit of luck, and then you saw the performance of Fiends throughout the playoffs, throughout the season here, and how well and how successful they've been here. So I mean, it brings up how good maybe Kohari has been, that maybe he's even better on the roam position than he is in the marksman position. He's still a question here as we're going up against Area 77, but we get a lot of that CC and the setting potential. Kohari picking up the Minotaur, and then we're picking up the Roger for a little bit of that marksman lane domination.
Yeah, I mean, you are seeing that Valentina picked up. Looks like it's a response, especially with the Kohari having that Minotaur for the Minoan Fury. The Roger, we predicted this, right? We thought Area 77 would take it if available. They didn't pick it up first pick, which allowed Fiends to kind of counter that and grab it for themselves. Now, Roger still can be flexed. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be in the gold lane. It can also be inside of the jungle. We got to see that today in both positions, and I think it did pretty well. Speaking of things that are doing well as well, CC picked up over there by Yoreshi, one of those heroes. Very hard to keep at bay, especially providing that split push capability. Being able to rotate around the map, get to the back line will be his main focus, and they need something to either keep him in his tracks or keep up with that pace.
Yeah, I'm expecting.
Water's got me going, chat.
I'm expecting to.
This is the last game of the day.
I gotta move into the second banning phase. We're gonna probably end up taking Harith off the board. We're gonna.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to get some highlights here
with the Roger here. Destroy.
I need to go get water though.
We got 13 seconds to go there. Or are we looking for maybe something to help out? I mean, against the CC right now, depends on what we have for the side of Fiends. If we can possibly play a Benedetta. I know Arlot's taken off the board there. Oh, and then we get a Vexana. So I'm expecting, I mean, that's a great and powerful pick. We saw this banned out. There's a reason she was banned out the entire first series, is because of the immense amount of damage and CC that comes out from her. Especially, she's such a huge factor in a lot of these objective fights and pushing off the jungle to help your jungle get that retribution.
I think those are all excellent points. I feel like the Vexana is good here. It can definitely provide that damage. Doesn't give too much profit to the Valentina, but I think the Valentina is just going to focus on the group CC, which puts Area 77 in a good position to maybe not even
drink
go for
water,
a
chat.
CC tank. Possibly go for something different entirely if they really want to. They could still pick up something like a Rafaela, keep the team alive, keep them mobile. If they really wanted to go that route, that's really the only other support that I can see them picking. I don't see the Florian sneaking up in here, but speaking of utility and heroes that kind of provide that.
Florian, what the fuck's a Florian?
This side for Area 77, trying to limit the XP lane capability, right? We mentioned what heroes can give the CC a hard time. You talked about the Benedetta. I think that's an excellent option. It's highly mobile.
You ordered some beef kebabs from this Greek place called Charcoal Flame. They made it on the papers for the best gyro and all the states, but the kebabs are fire.
I feel like the Black Dragon's a little too risky.
That sounds
just because there is a Valentina on the other side of the table.
Good.
There was that Herod that you mentioned, which would have been great to counter the Roger in a smart play by Fiends.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting here because I don't imagine a much can keep up with the CC. Herod is taken off the board. They actually really focused on making sure that this marksman lane is going to have, at least if it's just a 1v1, they're making sure that this marksman lane is going to be free for Fiends, which means there's going to need to be some pressure from Area 77. If Fiends may be looking to delegate where Area 77 puts the pressure. They're now saying you're going to, the picks that are left.
I just ordered some Hawaiian bros. That's what I was eating in the last game.
On the side of Area
I didn't want to eat too much of it though, because
trying to kind of protect Tarzan, the front line there.
A lot of meat, a lot of protein, a lot of good stuff.
They're taking off that early game there. Nolan just taking off the board there for them. So we're gonna see what we have in answer.
Gotta drink that water,
still looking for a marksman.
Yeah, Kohari's Roam
position.
There's been a lot of changes. Why the hell is there so many ads coming up?
A Claude or even a carry, right? I mean, you kind of mentioned the carry going up against the Roger could be a possible threat if you just let carry stack up for that late game.
We're in the draft. I'm letting the ads run.
I feel like the
sorry, chat. The hell, it helps me earn money.
Jumping into a Minoan Fury for the knockup, but it has
nobody likes the
Brody.
Nobody likes the
still could be a viable option,
draft
especially when you have a
anyways.
Roger who's going to jump in with a Lycan Pouch, try and burst you down. You can use that corrosive strike, get the stun, and flicker back to safety. But speaking of picks, gonna go ahead and lock in the jungler for the side of Fiends.
You got hungry when you saw me? Yeah,
at least
I had
so
to.
far is gonna be.
I need to get like a Red Bull or something maybe, or pop my pre-workout.
You brought up a good point that if you have a Valentina and you're taking a Minoan Fury, you maybe don't need a tank with setting potential. But I mean, I want to say Tigreal's still out there. Diggy is still available as well. We're looking. Oh, we're gonna have a Grok.
I got
you were right about the Claude pick kind of coming out there
chicken
as well. Gonna be able to spread out a lot
and the Honolulu chicken.
Gonna be able to kind of use that wilderness charge and especially his passive. His passive being able to be next to a wall.
Being aggressive
while holding his ability,
as a tank is sometimes like a
little bit more tankiness
factor
as well. Yeah, gonna see how well this stacks up.
It's
against,
super good. I normally always ask them to give me like extra teriyaki packets.
Now, technically, this could still be flex.
It's not super spicy, but it's like very like teriyaki chicken like.
Barats in the jungle, which means a Paquito will be in the XP lane.
The Valentina will be used to go against the Minnow.
Pretty hard though. We've seen him in the regular season deal a lot of damage from a lot of XP laners from multiple teams.
I like it.
And I think he's a great answer. Now, CC is a little bit more
I heard you
in my
back?
opinion, but I feel like Paquito has a little more tricks up his sleeves when it comes to survival.
Would you play like some ranked games?
Overall, when it comes to team fights,
everything but ranked.
I'm expecting a lot of heavy engagement for both sides.
Shit.
Yeah,
I heard rank's like super bad right now.
Against, I want to say
it is, bro. Like my win rate dropped from like 10% from last season.
In the mage position, in the marksman position. For me right now, I'm kind of wondering: is Paquito going to be able to close the distance on
you thought
Valentino?
Close
the distance on a Claude or a CC, especially because you like to
probably
set up a lot of these
that 14-hour stream. Got him.
Bring somebody down, and then you move on to the
after that LEGACi game.
Speaking of closing the distance, into the land of Dawn we go. Area 77
put him
up
to
against
sleep.
FIENDS for our second and final series of the night. Who will be able to push on forward in the upper bracket?
Yeah, all eyes. I want to say this is a very anticipated match, especially for me. I definitely want to see how Kohari performs.
Yeah, this is going to make it or break it. FIENDS had a lot of roster swaps.
Synergy
not a lot,
and playoff stability that they have in
some
the
crazy
past
ones that we didn't suspect.
Match.
Yeah, that's a big step. From
Area 77 stayed the same.
You don't see that happen too often in the NACT, and Kohari.
Whoa.
Was it the right decision? I think that's what everybody's
No magic. Kohari's wrong
now.
now,
On
and
the bot side, though, we're seeing a lot of early engagements in these matches.
I'm mad confused right now. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. FIENDS had quite a bit of
that's a lot of quantum charges on the side of Area 77. And this is what I was talking about.
Jenny, what up? You said the red team wins?
If Yuri's
shout out from tuning in onto my Twitch side of things.
A lot of these who are going to try to kite him away, especially with the immense amount of damage that he brings.
FIENDS is really strong, but so is Area 77.
You can see already here, and in the lane, he's having a lot of trouble against LEGACi, who's actually zoning him out away from starving him from his lane minions.
They got the Impure Rage.
There's a lot of mobility, but it's going to be kind of facing against a lot of damage, right? You've seen that double Impure Rage, a couple of tenacities, and then
CC being the late game handicap.
Keep up with the high
LEGACi though is like a one-trick CC. Like the dude is insane at your CC.
Will be able to draw first blood into the hands of Area 77.
And unfortunately, I want to say that the side of FIENDS just a few seconds too late to
you gotta watch out for him. He's definitely he's a powerhouse.
I want to say Tarzan didn't aid in that fight. It felt
the first blood already going to him. I've seen him like in the mid game, especially during a snowball. Like he can 1v4 with no problem.
Up against Yuri Cutie, and you kind of mentioned that it may be a little bit of a challenge for.
They're already zoning him out
to the back line. Speaking of backline, though, big knockup.
Ooh, Cherry Bomb coming from the right.
Tarzan Cutie able to claim the turtle for Area 77.
They didn't lose anybody on FIENDS.
The first objective in their favor.
Yeah, Kohari's now the tank.
I love the faith that Area 77 has in their jungler, the faith that the jungler has in his team. He didn't go to try to help them, focused on the turtle, made sure that he got that. After he got the turtle, then he went to help them. They got the shield, and then they all backed up. And a good game plan by Area 77. 1 kill up for them.
Cutie stands for QT, like you're a cutie.
A little bit of a closer game than the last series that we watched, especially with both of these teams kind of a little bit more even in terms of being objective focused. But synergy should be in favor for Area 77 since they did not change their roster that much. But will that be the difference they can lean in on, or will that be the strength
it's that simple
that FIENDS is going to try and hone in on?
It's that simple.
This
it
match.
Just means you're a cutie.
On the top side, he is running this Claude, has a survivability, but he is going up against that staple pick Roger that we've been seeing dominate so far for the meta.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job of pushing his wave there.
You forgot they all play better.
That's what I want to say the difference is that while LEGACi is kind of bullying Yuri, he's trying to make sure that he's starving him.
Yeah, these guys are
on the other side,
pretty crazy when it comes to the heroes they play.
Forcing and pushing his way.
You don't want to give
ISO, which
Area 77 CC to be honest. LEGACi's just a monster.
To make sure
like, watch, they're about to.
Oh, they got packed.
It
might be dead.
Oh, he got out. This time, able to escape the bottom rotation from the side of Area 77, almost finding his second death of the game.
A little bit of a wall there. Didn't actually do anything because Kohari.
Area 77 looks like they're jungling a little bit faster.
Mid lane as well. Right now, not too much going on. Very slow paced, but I want to say
I've seen a lot of
coming from FIENDS. As
a lot of jungles. Rods pick up the rapid boots.
1,000 gold lead.
Yeah, speaking of leads though, Kohari.
Kohari the Great.
Escape with that distance. LEGACi
GG's.
will find his second kill of the game.
Oh, that was just the mini lord.
We are looking at an invasion though into the jungle for FIENDS. May need to be careful though. Tarzan hit with the Terrify, hit with the CC, Pro Destroy.
Do they eat him?
Chase, forcing him out of his jungle. And JQT hugging that wall, trying not to get caught up by that CC turtle. 50% HP, both teams willing to clash it out.
Yeah, JQT doing a good job trying to bait out YuriCutie here, trying to put some damage. Yuri looking for an opportunity.
Oh, Pro Destroy is always stuck.
Will drop. Turtle, very low. Tarzan.
Do they go for it? Oh, he's dead.
77, but may get more. Praise Wrath drops down. We'll find Pro Destroy. JQT finds another. Churro Bomby will fall.
Pro Destroy just didn't know what to do there.
Very slowly, this game starting to edge even closer
into
done. Area 77's favor.
Yeah, Ryan on top side, very low.
Area 77 is strong right now, chat.
I ain't gonna lie, chat. This is also one side. I might just go take a nap.
It's just numbers.
I feel like every single time they engage, Area 77 comes with more members at the bottom. They weren't able to take care of it with 2 last
BTK
time.
plays
All right,
tomorrow.
We'll have 3 for you now. Upping it to 5
Blue team
and
destroys them.
against Fiends.
Against Bloodhounds, though.
A little bit more one-sided than I expected.
Yeah, tomorrow is against Bloodhounds.
Find some answers.
Oh, the good match is gonna be DA and Nighthorde. That's gonna be pretty good.
And they may not be able to
DA and Nighthorde.
Area 77.
I thought the same thing with this too.
Game on the bot side.
Yeah, they're super strong.
May be able to get a little bit more.
I mean that roster change last moment is kind of fucking them up. I think.
Playing to the survivability from the Barats.
We just saw the items there earlier, and we saw kind of the gold.
We'll see,
right
I think
now.
Area 77 got stronger.
Each position about 1K over their opponents in each single role there. So they actually have like about an item, except for you can see
Area 77. If you keep it, like,
but I mean, they're
like
doing such a good job
when they
right now.
all are in an area, they choose to engage and fight. Like they kind of give me like AP Bryn styles
on their own. They just continue. It looks like they're just continuing.
No, I didn't order anymore. I ordered it when I was eating last game. I was eating it.
Yeah, I mean, 2 core items to 1 right now for ISO up against Bryanar, right? He already picked up the Corrosion Scythe and the Demon Hunter Sword. Bryanar only having the Wind Talker to work at his disposal. Off to a great lead, and so far, I mean, they've been checking all the boxes off in Fiends. Looking like they were studying for the wrong test, as you are going to go ahead and see Area 77 pulling the aggro for the next turtle, and it looks like it may not go contested as JQT on point with these walls right now.
Pro Destroy, the tiny little dinosaur there. They're doing a great job, like to the point that Pro Destroy isn't even able to find his stacks to keep him up right now as we continue on with an engagement.
Yeah, Eternal Guard, heavy left punch, rushing
GGs.
in, airborne knockup on a Pro Destroy, and Yureshi.
Look, this is what I'm saying. Like when they choose to engage, everybody on their team engages.
But also a body on top of that. Churro Bomby with the response, so we'll find Tarzan. Cutie, big knockup from the Minoan Fury for both sides. ISO finding Kohari, but needs to disengage. YuriCutie in the mid lane. Bryanar very low. Marcutie wants blood, and he will get it. Bryanar will fall. Churro Bomby in the hands of YuriCutie will find another. That's a 1.
So I only have like 1 team or 2 teams to manage, huh?
Yeah, right now, I mean, as much as, a little bit of a YuriCutie in trouble there, getting beat down there by YuriCutie on that Paquita. But like I was about to say, I can't even really blame Kohari here. Like a lot of people have had their eyes on the roam position here. 35K there, you can see there.
No, everyone's making it.
But when it comes to like the team right now, Fiends are just not executing when it comes to like getting those ganks or rotating around the map. They're just, like I said, they're just continually replying to Area 77. Instead of making plays themselves, instead of finding out that they're not going to be able to take the turtle here, they're not going to be able to get to this lane a little too late and forcing something at another lane. Right now, they're kind of just stuck in this like continual like getting there at second place when it comes to each of these lanes.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're being reactive when it comes to Area 77, who's being more aggressive and claiming everything they want. Wild Charge will connect for the stun on a Bryanar. Minoan Fury from Kohari, not able to get the set he was looking for. Like and Pounce goes out. ISO won't find a turret. 2-2 will fall. Kohari will fall alongside it. Tarzan able to get that kill. ISO getting ready. BMI Blazing Duet onto Churro Bomby. Will be able to connect. Does BMI to safety. Pro Destroy will fall. The double kill. ISO the Magician coming alive.
Jesus
Aliens
Christ,
are landing
dude.
soon.
Yeah, and this is kind of the question.
What is this? The Area 77 Spank and Pank game? Is that what it is?
Start taking off.
We should just title this whole 10 minutes.
Getting those kills.
So I'm gonna just do 0-0 to 10 minutes, and we're just gonna name that the Spank and Pank.
Speaking of high ground, airborne knockup to a mountain. ISO finding Kohari. The siege for the inhibitor on the top side, trying to crack the base over. Response back. You can see the Eternal Guard drop down. trying to rush in. ISO forced to use the BMI. Cutie very low. Hit the Terrify. Chain CC too much to handle. Cutie able to get another 2-for-none trade. Area 77, 14-1.
A great bait there you saw from ISO to lure
it's almost like a kill and a half every minute.
That damage. He uses the BMI to get himself out of harm's way, and the rest of Area 77 comes in to claim their prize.
Pro Destroy trying to soak up all that damage, but he can only handle so much. His 4 members surrounding him, nowhere to go, and Cutie will take him out.
Yeah, and then I feel like this is the result. This is what a lot of us talk about when it comes to changing up the roster, losing some of that synergy, especially there were teammates at mid for Fiends, and unfortunately just couldn't close the distance to help Pro Destroy, to even get any type of damage there to help him out and kind of secure his escape. And this is the result of like what we talk about when it comes to synergy, playing with these guys for a little bit. When you're going up against a team like Area 77, who was playing together, ISO into the back line.
From ISO, BMI's back to safety. Base has been opened up. Lord,
dude, they even saved all the lanes too. Like these towers are just
trying to find the set
being
trying to keep him in this game. Area 77 trying to land on an additional planet. ISO will go ahead and claim an inhibitor. All have fallen. Fiends up to a possible final stand. Minions in the mid lane pushing through, and Area 77 ready to take it to their home turf, but can they close it out? This is still very early. 11 minutes. A possible fast finish on the way.
The full PH team teaching North America
they're
how it is.
Close it up here. A good job from Fiends trying to defend this, but I mean, you're looking at about 15k gold difference.
Most of these players are from PH, bro.
For the knockup, Pro Destroy able to grab up ISO, but not doing barely any damage. Blaze Duet hit with the knockup, though. Minoan Fury from Kohari. Marquise won't find Pro Destroy. One member falling from the side of Fiends.
Oh, they got a kill finally.
Responds back, takes down Marcutie. Both sides to the member. Make that another. Jureshi is going to find
their life.
Kohari with another knockup for Cutie, Tarzan Cutie, and Jureshi Cutie. Bryanar joining the fight, trying to clear out these minions. Shurabani forced into the base very low. The base crystal, though. Can they take it down? Yes, they can. Area 77.
Alright, I ain't gonna hold you. That's it for me, bro.
You think that's it? Alright, performance. This is the Area 77.
That was kind of crazy ass game, man. You get some sleep, brother.
When it comes to the playoffs, Area 77 does not disappoint, and they come here to take heads.
Yeah, the aliens, the extraterrestrials, definitely showing up to a new planet and ready to take it over. Game number 1 looking very good for them. They looked strong, the resolve was there, and the objectives were nothing of a challenge to them to be able to take. Fiends, on the other hand, needing to find some answers after game number 1, especially with Kohari. You know, he switched over to that Minotaur. Had a little bit of a hard time in the roam. I wouldn't really say it's because he switched roles, but it was just a hard composition, especially when you kind of first pick that Minotaur to rush against this and you allow the Valentina to pretty much use the Minoan Fury alongside you.
Yeah, and I talked about it here, especially the Paquito pickup. While I do like the damage of the Paquito pickup, you're talking about
you see my highlight?
Mobile, like he likes to close the distance and get those kills onto the squishier heroes, but you're talking about very mobile heroes here. Valentina, who's got dashes up the wazoo here to be able to kind of get away from somebody like Paquito. The battle mirror image from ISO on the Claude to be able, and then of course Jureshi Cutie, who's able to pretty much jump all over the map, almost like a ling. To be able to kind of get
I actually
away.
don't know
so
what pink
just
means.
Not able to close
it just sounds, it rhymes.
It was basically a bait from ISO that allowed Area 77 to get another kill onto Yuri Cutie here.
I'm a creator.
I want to say
what I do.
Greatly drafted game by Area 77, and then when it came to the synergy, getting to those side lanes, getting those pickoffs on a lot of these dudes,
yeah,
they
pink's
just
not even a word.
To perfection.
Yeah, speaking of perfection, Jureshi picking up the highest kills in the game, 5, 0, and 10. Like you said, is it synergy, right? Area 77, they're known to not really make too many changes, but work on their flaws. Fiends, on the other hand, a little bit of a newer team on the scenes. Made some
I wouldn't recommend
changes,
Googling those words together.
Out of every single team for the playoffs, this NACT, and it's definitely coming with its challenges, but they need to find their answers fast, right? There's not that much time to be able to figure this out, as we are now in the elimination phase. We're in the playoffs. Somebody will be knocked down to the lower bracket today.
Yeah, and I also want to make a comment too about Braynar on. Oh, we can take a look here. Well, first we're going to go into the stats. We can see
midlife crisis
ISO on the gold lane. Expected there almost 1,000.
No, it's a best out of 5. So we have 2 more matches. If Area 77 wins them all, then it's GG's.
And even Mark,
and that's the end of the
Pro Destroy. I mean,
that's the end of this,
somebody
and then
has to take the damage that was being executed out here by Area 77. But another thing
over
is the Roger in the gold lane. When you are pressing so hard into
so we still have at least 2 more matches.
Just backs up into the tower. He starts just getting his minions at the tower. He's like, okay, if you're gonna push so hard on me, I'll just sit under my tower, grab these minions, continue to farm, slow and steady wins the race. But what that also does is that also makes it so that Fiends do not have a lane to gank. They're gonna if they try to go to Claude's lane to try to help out the Roger pick.
I played quite a few in Marksman's.
They're not going to be able to they're going to have to dive underneath the tower for Claude, basically. And you have the option of the BMI to get him out of harm's way. He's just not really an option. And I just feel like there's just little things like that Fiends had trouble with, that Area 77 was really shining with.
Yeah, I mean, even when you compare the Roger up against the Claude, right? I feel like the Claude has a lot of survivability with the BMI.
I play a lot of jungle and everything as well.
He has a little bit of survivability, but he's more of that engager. Now, I will say,
I'll probably play some RG tonight.
We saw Area 77 just put a lot of focus into the XP lane, right? They were shutting down the Paquito. They were overwhelming him with that pressure. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 kills when we saw a 3-man rotation over there, but we didn't really see those type of rotations from Fiends.
I used to love Oppo and Kupo when they came out with the Transformer skins. I used them all the time.
Snowball that is. You are going to go ahead and see the damage dealt from both sides. Highest will be Yureshi. I mean, he did have the highest kills in the game as well. 88% team participation.
They did what?
Yeah, and especially in the early game on the side of Fiends, when it came to damage, you had Chirobami who brought
I normally am forced to play jungles because
you wanted was the
when I trio with people, we normally
pressure put on there, and you can see here
they always are so bad.
Of damage.
ML Jenny, are you from North America?
They really shut down the other 50% of Fiends' possible damage by putting so much pressure onto this Paquito.
No,
yeah,
EU.
There's definitely a lot of pressure
Germany?
on the line in Area 77. I mean, they're looking
EU
focused and ready to take it to the land of Dawn again.
I need a mid laner.
They need to go back to the drawing board, in my opinion, right? They need to kind of.
When I play with Rich, she's the mid laner.
It's a little bit shaky.
I don't think I need a mid laner
on that because there's a lot.
I need someone that can either EXP
also to counter up against it. And they did exactly both of those things, right? And I feel like maybe going for something more staple meta in terms of getting something that can be a little bit more valuable that early in the phase and not easily as counterable.
Yeah, EU's really easy.
First. So this time around, hopefully they can.
EU
do that.
had
there's just a lot even
a really low impact for MLBB.
Kind of turn around, and
they've always been looking for like tournaments and stuff.
When you change so much on your team in a short notice, right? I mean, Area 77, they're not really changing much. This is the same
used to
Area
have
77
Jimmick, but then Jimmick stopped playing.
This season, and
he like retired from MLBB.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and hopefully in this next game, I mean, they've got 2 more games here to try to find their footing, find something that works for them. Like I said, I feel like there were just little things that it's those little mistakes. The Paquito pick here, possible. Some of those rotations.
You played season 28 and 27.
The lanes and the pressure that they had in those lanes.
I played at like season 19, I think.
In a game against a team like Area 77, you just can't make any of those little mistakes, and you have to be as sharp as possible. But we're here. Second chances here for the side of Fiends, who are going to be starting with their first pick.
Yeah, speaking of picks, bans on the table. Mathilda, nothing out of the ordinary for Area 77. The Fredrin, though, that's a little bit of a surprise for me, at least for Fiends. It's a little on the riskier side. I feel like there's some other things they could have possibly taken out. Looks like they're limiting the jungle capability, right? They're gonna take out that Barats alongside the Fredrin, right? Now, Roger's still on the table. I wonder if Fiends is gonna try and pick that up and make it work at their disposal, but then there's still a lot of strong picks out there to kind of counter up against it. There goes the Faramist, taking a little bit more support off the road. Speaking of supports, the Angela is still walking, can definitely be paired up with something a little bit more beefier, such as an Akai. We've seen that pickup work and take down the top team in the #1 seed for the NACT. It could be a possible game plan for Fiends.
Can you
It's funny,
spam
is it bad?
the
I saw
dildo
the
minnow?
Frederick
Yeah.
ban and the Barat's ban. I kind of thought Fiends were taking on BTK.
You don't like the
Those
new
were
emblems?
usual
They're not
bans
too
that you
bad,
get
to be
against
honest.
Somebody like Moba Zane here.
Normally, a lot of the pro builds
tankier
will
ones
make
take it
you
off the table there. I mean,
allow you to go pretty far in this.
For me, I feel like sometimes when it comes to there's just so many options that are out there, especially for somebody like Tarzan. He plays a very flexible jungle, a lot of different picks that he can come into. So I mean, if it's I feel like there's other things that were kind of issues for them. I didn't feel like Fredrin was like the
they're coming out with even more emblems, so it's going to be a little bit crazier.
So we'll see how this kind of works out for them. Maybe they have a game plan in mind here.
I don't know if that just came down to bad drafting, because I felt like the draft was actually pretty decent,
Nolan
but
as well.
Vexana and
Fiends
Navaria,
are struggling a little bit here.
so there's definitely Mage Prior on the table. Lu Yi.
I think the subs and the swapping around, they had a little bit of trouble.
For the first phase for Fiends, they're going to go in for that R-Lot. Man, there's a lot walking on the table right here. Now, I think Area 77 is trying to get the Roger. They've been performing on it. They've been doing really well. Even in the end of the regular season, they picked it up twice, back-to-back for a sweep over LEGACi. I wonder if Fiends will let that walk. I mean, last time we got to see Fiends have the Roger, and it was up against a Claude, and the Roger really just didn't have the easiest time. So I don't know if that's what they want. And I think Area 77 is like, hey, we already beat it once. So if they want to pick up the Roger, I think we can afford it. But if not, we'll definitely kind of punish them with that. And that's just one of the things that these new staple meta picks kind of provide on the table. It even further diversifies the draft. But speaking of drafting, playing on the safer side for Fiends, they're going to go in for that Ruby, who, like you mentioned, took a little bit of a nerf.
Yeah, it took a little bit of a nerf. Kahari picks it up here. So maybe I actually like that Ruby pickup if it's going to be on the roam position for Kahari, because I want to say Ruby takes a little bit of a more mechanical hand right now to play well, to find those opportunities to get a lot of that CC. But in answer to that, immediately we've got the Minotaur pickup, the Valentina, who right now has her, I want to say she's got her pick right now. You got an I'm Offended out there that she can take. You've got the ultimate from Novaria out there as well.
Oh my God.
Echo. So I mean, she's kind of got her pick of ultimates out there.
Priorities.
We're gonna see what the next word possible we're gonna be picking up for Fiends here.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Dang.
It's gonna be picked up. I actually didn't expect that one, at least this early.
You know they like bury alcohol and stuff like before the event, and then they dig it up.
They let Fiends pick up that Minotaur first, and this time they pick it up first for their part of the draft instead, maybe showcasing that they can perform it a little bit better. But this time it's smart with what they did.
You got a 33
Valentina
win
alongside
streak
it to deny them.
That's crazy.
To have that IMU and also use it against them. There goes that Claude again. They were able to perform really well on it against the Roger. This time it will be up against the Natan. Both of them able to deal massive damage when it comes to late game. And it's really going to be dependent on how their teams rotate around and get these neutral objectives. And if it kind of paints the picture from last game,
I don't know if you guys just noticed, but like
a little bit better. So if Fiends can find a way to disrupt the synergy, rotate around, possibly delay some farm
just
in the
dropped
jungle,
like massive drone strikes on
it's
Israel.
definitely going to help boost that gold for ISO and also the gold laner.
You can watch.
Yeah, a little bit of focus from both teams, focus on the jungle, a little bit of respect there paid for the Fanny of Pro Destroyer we saw from his first game of the season. He's an absolute maniac on it, almost shades of what we saw from Best Player. And then on the side of Fiends, they're going to go ahead and take out Nolan. So that's a lot of early game damage from them. It's going to be, I want to say, the synergy of Braenar
it's crazy
and Kahari
out there in the world right now, bro.
On point, because I want to say Natan needs to get pretty close to the battle to be able to do a lot of to really have
Bavaria,
that effect.
Vexana, Valentina,
and he can
they're
really
all pretty good mages right now.
Even it out.
I'm not an EXP
but
person.
It's going to be on Kahari to make sure he's protected, to make sure
it's
that
like
he's
the whole
not getting
world's
ganked,
going to war.
For me, that's going to be my #1 target.
You know, it's interesting though, because it's starting to seem like the strategy. Okay, I guess we could say Ruby can still be flexed though. This still could be an XP lane Ruby. So it might not be Kahari. I'm not really sure if it
offer
will
a lot
be,
of range and vision.
I think what I'm noticing is Fiends is trying to prioritize Kahari getting comfortable first before they do the rest of their draft. That's at least what I'm getting so
this
far
is the best out of
today's
5
series. Now, there's a lot of range, there's a lot of damage, a lot of backline for the side of Fiends and some CC, but we still have yet to see who they're going to slot inside of the jungle.
Who else hasn't played today?
That Hayabusa has been
taken off tomorrow.
I didn't expect the Hayabusa to walk.
I kind of cocked my head a bit when I saw the Hayabusa van out there. Because we just talked about Hayabusa. He's not exactly a prime pick right now in the current meta. There's just not that he's terrible. There's just better options. I feel like right now, Area 77, they've got, I want to say, some of the same keys to success that they had from last game. This CC, the Claude right now. I mean, they had excellent games.
Whoever wins this goes against GG, by the way.
Maybe there's an answer on the side of Fiends as we move into the second game.
Just a big, like,
what Fiends
ideal of what's going down here is whoever wins this definitely goes against it. They've been the Hayabusa.
The way the draft is looking so far, though, I mean, it's not too bad. I feel like they have some value there for both sides. Xborg,
the Minnow, the Claude, the CC.
For the side of Fiends.
You need to ban the CC against Area 77.
Immortality.
I guess unless you're not worried about anything else. They didn't ban a Masha, which is insane.
Speaking of fighters,
it's actually insane. Nobody didn't pick up a Masha.
We've seen it ran in the jungle.
Masha is 100% OP.
Can Fiends pull this off with their new composition?
This all is I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for the early game.
You just woke up to see your live streaming and thought, what happened to my dude so early?
To really kind of claw out there, especially against a Dairoth. So
we only have 2 matches today. The first match already happened, which was GG versus LEGACi. Now it's Area 77 versus Fiends. This supposedly supposed to be a pretty good dang match. I'm not gonna lie, but
from your teammates and a lot of CC to help you.
It's a little
do you
rough.
ever take off if you've got a Martis on the other side? He's gonna be able to mortal coil his way around, especially to try to dodge that abyssal strike from Pro Destroy on this Dairoth. And you've got a lot of mobility. That's the thing too. He's gonna have to land that abyssal strike, and he's gonna have to land it on opportune moments when these guys have used their dashes and are not going to be able to create distance.
And speaking of distance, looks like we are going to be jumping into Land of Dawn for game number 2 for our second series, our final series of the day. Area 77 up against Fiends, who will be able to claim victorious and take this match.
Yeah, we're going to see here if there is a little bit of a difference here between the first game here. Area 77 was quite dominant in that first, really taking advantage of the new roster of Fiends here. We're going to see there's a little bit of a difference here. I'm looking for possibly for Kohari to kind of be that difference maker for the Fiends.
Audience predictions are out.
Yeah, the Attack on Titan skin. They're in the tournament lobby right now, Jenny, so they can use any skins. Like all the skins are unlocked.
Trying to provide some vision, but taking a couple of hits. Doing so, need to be careful though. Keep in mind, he is going up against.
I don't know if you've tuned in or you know who I am, but
now. You know what's interesting?
I manage all of these pro teams for the NACT. I'm the league manager for the NACT.
Yeah, I'm definitely not wanting to go back here. Speaking of,
so I make sure all of these teams are getting ready and all the players are ready and they're getting all in their cams and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely looking to stay in these fights a little longer.
I'm also an influencer.
Stay in their lanes, not having to go back for that mana there. So we're gonna see if that kind of pays off against a team like Area 77. The biggest thing for them was their ability to get to those side lanes and get those ganks in the first game.
Ooh, focus on to Kohari though. A lot of damage. Hit with the stun, catching JQT, but Tarzan QT.
I'm also the manager of BTK now.
For Area 77.
Putting in the work for those boys.
Already right into the early game.
Like the official manager for BTK.
That decimation onto him, really setting the tone. 9 seconds left.
Your boy trying to manage a lot around here, you know. You know what it be,
going to be slightly behind the mold.
Yeah, I need to be a little careful.
I've always been a huge BTK fan, so it's
that Area 77 has
kind of awesome to be able to help them out.
Both of them able to kind of grab you in their clutches and not let go of you for a decent amount of time, especially when they team up on you.
Yeah, here managing and putting in our best.
On the way, first neutral objective on the game.
I think Fanny was banned. I think Fanny was banned.
JQT walking around with the stun. No Fury last standing from your QT though with the grab. Tarzan will find Pro Destroy.
Yo, no. JQT, is he gonna fall?
Maybe able to shut him down. Yuri very low.
No, he's 1 HP.
Tarzan QT will be able to take the kill, and Turtle will go to the side of Area 77.
That's crazy.
It's just such a switch up. I mean, even in that, you saw the last Insanity go out, and at the last
I do not know how to play Fanny.
catches on, and I'm offended to make sure both members.
I've tried, but I always die.
Frontal blast of that last Insanity, but still, Area 77 able to come out ahead, 3-0, and with a turtle in their pocket.
Yeah, and that's huge, especially this early in the game. I mean, it's almost a 2,000 gold lead within the first 3 minutes, getting everything they wanted in that trade so far, and it's going to put Fiends in a little bit of a harder position.
A BTK fan after M3.
Trying to catch him out of position. They're just looking for him, trying to hopefully get the early kills off him in their advantage.
No.
Yeah,
I've played Fanny before, but only like 2 or 3 times. It's not
uses
fun.
the I'm offended onto Mark Cutie. None of his teammate was actually in a position
Uniform.
to
He said, "Are you supporting the guy that asked, are you a virgin?"
Your ultimate
to be honest,
some damage onto Mark
I don't think
Cutie.
people were supposed to hear that. So
we take a little bit of engagement here at the top lane.
Yeah, 2v1. Yuri Cutie sustaining himself. Does have the Paraga armor. Should be able to be just fine up there. This is
some things are better left unsaid,
but you mentioned Pro Destroy on the Dairoth, right? Needing to have an early
sometimes, I mean, that stuff's not like,
so far.
I don't feel like
an early death, but
when you ask someone at it, if it's like super controversial,
not wanting to be able to get hit by that.
There's always a right place and a right time to say everything.
Pro Destroy smartly and wisely moves right away from that, and that's kind of the problem here right now.
I don't let that. I don't let what people say though.
How much success is he going to have?
I guess I believe about him. I guess I
that abyssal strike onto somebody.
That's how I would say
it. The vengeance from Yoreshi. You've got a lot of mobility from Mark Cutie.
People can say shit.
We're going to be able to kind of get away.
I'm that type of person that
in a little bit of trouble here.
Pro Destroy, Vism Strike, not able to find the hit onto
they are
ISO.
Just destroying them right
now. But falling short at the mark. Bryanar still alive though on the bot side. Neither member will fall.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about, is just how quickly they're going to be able to disengage from that abyssal strike. And as we go ahead,
it's called getting older.
Turtle take here from Tarzan.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to be able to get it. Chirabami very low. Yoreshi Cutie will find him.
Yeah, that's
going to be
what happens.
Kills unanswered.
Your fingers get slower. Your eyes get
try
worse.
And close this game out even earlier than the last one. Fiends, can they turn this around? They need to find their proper footing. I mean, right now you were looking at Area 77 with a one-sided domination as the tier 1 turret in the mid lane will fall.
Yeah, I only the 5-minute
mark. Not live streaming. I think he works on the weekends. So
under tower, finds a kill onto Yuri Cutie.
I don't know if he's putting a lot of time into MLBB.
Now, as Fiends are having trouble maintaining their
he's got to make money for his family to survive.
77 are just basically laying claim on the entire map.
Yeah, just having a really great game so far within the last 5 minutes. Now up by almost 4,000 gold and climbing.
They just die?
You are going to see that turret on the bot side fall. And that's going to put him at a huge deficit, especially having the Natan.
I thought it was me at first, but then I was like,
running on this Claude, Bryanar on the Natan. Both of them needing their teams to take the neutral objectives to give them that power spike
he just
to be able to do that.
Maybe Dave's is a lizard.
It's going to take even longer for Bryanar to get online, but even faster
you hear the theory
ISO
about
lizard
men?
The Demon Hunter sword.
Yeah, I mean, he's already pretty much got enough items for him to start
like a lot of people in the world are like lizard men.
Are going to have to use that ultimate to get himself to safety, as now still continuing to push onto these towers is Area 77.
I don't know. They say Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard.
Very fast, mind you. Fiends. They just got to work on their defense a little bit more, a little bit of synergy.
What happened to Assassin Dave? I don't know. He like,
especially up against Area 77.
His equipment died.
Composure a little bit more together. Right
Chat,
now,
you guys believe in Lizardmen?
Though airborne knockup, ISO. We'll go ahead and take down Pro Destroy. That's gonna be 6 kills.
We are in 2024 and we can't tell all region with good paint. Yeah, I don't understand why all regions
right now,
can't.
There's nothing they can do to stop it. They're about
have
a
good
5K gold
ping.
lead at the 6-minute mark. We're already almost to the high ground towers of Fiends right now. They don't have the damage, they don't have the CC potential, and they're not able to get any ganks right now onto an offensive Area 77.
Yeah, in Area 77.
What the hell are you doing, Atlas?
Like, playing chess. One step at a time, but
You
major
just come in
steps
from
every
outside?
time they claim an objective. Speaking of objectives, Mark Cutie will go ahead and take the tier 2 on the top side. Tarzan Cutie will take the turtle.
You good, Dave?
2 more things that is going to give
your
Fiends a little bit of a
computer
harder
poop on
time
you?
trying to catch up. Now a 7,000, almost 8,000 gold lead. Highest kills in the game will go over to Tarzan Cutie with 3 kills.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of engagement happening.
Yeah, Pro Destroy is going to be able to shut down ISO. First kill on the board for Fiends. Last Sanity going out as well. May be able to find an answer, but no. Marquita with the
Area 77 is dominating them.
Sanity IMU. Tarzan will get one, gets two. Takes down your cutie and Pro Destroy Kohari.
Jesus
making that a triple. He wants the Maniac though.
Brian
got it. Will fall. Tarzan cutie will get it. Brian R will find him in response. Maniac achieved.
Look at the smile on his face.
Worth it. I know that's what he's saying.
Fiends nerf himself.
Actually being capped there by Marcutie, 27,000 out there.
Bro?
And I want to say you can start seeing the frustration from Pro Destroy. He's able to get the kill, but then lets out an abyssal strike at the whole of Area 77 that was chasing him. It's like there was no way you're going to get a kill onto somebody there. Just a little bit of frustration coming from him before he goes down. Now sitting at a 3 and 10 kill game and a 5K gold lead still and established for Area 77.
Dude, Jay is just chilling.
Even further. The I'm Offended though connected on a Marcutie. Entropy activated over there by Brian R. Both of them not going to lead to a kill, which is a lot of basic beta utility. You are going to go ahead and see that Astral Meteor go out.
Area 77 been screaming a lot though.
We'll connect on to Marcutie.
They've been putting in a lot of work.
You're already looking at over a 1,300 gold lead for
no, Dave didn't leave the NACT
compared to Brian R.
Dave just like his computer just died. I don't know what's going on with his computer.
By Tarzan, and they both have.
He's like the director of North America for Esports.
The healing item as well. So I mean, they're well on their way.
That's what I would call
the
them.
dominance right here is pretty established right now. Area 77 just pushing and enforcing their will. A little bit of a surprise there for Ureshi.
Oh, it looks like they're committing too. It looks like they're getting a little bit more comfortable trying to take these fights, but is that the right answer? Frog Armor will drop Area 77.
Again, 0 turrets,
trying to maintain the pressure on the map, just trying to keep them at bay.
Fiends are having some troubles.
To go in their hands. You looking at
we're only at 89 likes because let's get to the hundo.
And nobody
like
there
the
to really
stream,
contest,
chat. Like
and
the
down
stream.
It goes Area 77 with another objective.
Yeah, and that's just kind of speaking towards the lead that they have right now, is that you're able to leave your jungler absolutely alone at the Lord while the rest of your team is on the opposite side of the map. They're not even afraid of him getting ganked. They know where Fiends is on the map, so they're just going to create that pressure, all the while giving Tarzan an easy open with that Lord.
Yeah, definitely a major opportunity for Area 77.
I don't know if you guys got that the new YouTube view, but I hate the new YouTube viewer. Like the comments are on like the very far right hand side.
On top of that, for a possible push, and can they do it though? I mean, Fiends. Oh, it's going to be rough, right? I mean, they are very far behind in terms of items. So in terms of the fight, they should have the advantage for Area 77. And speaking of advantage, Blake Duet going out by ISO, clearing out these minions, not going to connect for the damage zone. No one here for the knockup. Ureshi is going to find one. Marquita takes down Cutie. 2 members falling for the side of Fiends. Ureshi will go ahead and open up the base. Down goes the inhibitor for the mid lane.
I like that ISO jumps in there, doesn't even lock on the targets. His goal was to clear out the minions so that they have an open base and hopefully maybe able to close this one up early.
Yeah, looks like they are trying to go in for another early finish. Astro Echo, though, for the 4-man set, is going to go ahead and slow down the side of Area 77, but not stop them on the push.
Oh, if you can send pics and vids in the comments.
Or
like GIFs, that would be something. Yeah, true.
Activated. Last Insanity.
There needs to be more like interactive stuff you can do in the chat.
Still play from Kohara, wrap it to the backside, but nobody to follow up, even if he does get the set.
Your money got lost.
Slowly make their way out of the base. ISO, though, from the side. Brian R. Ureshi will find Kohari. It's going to be 3 versus 4. Area 77 having the numbers. Fiends on the defense trying to hold them off. Minions still in play for the bot side. One on the top. Pro Destroy getting hit. Last Sanity. ISO will find Pro Destroy. You're going to look at the Frog Armor dropping. Ureshi Cutie will fall. J Cutie able to pick up that kill. Chirabami by himself against the full 5-man team now in play. You're looking at Tarzan trying to catch him. He's like, wait for me. Let me get to the base. Crystal, don't you end it without me. No, he's going to go in for the purple vote, but they could just end right here anyway. That is exactly what they're going to do.
Tarzan just getting the purple buff. That's crazy.
Number 2 against Fiends.
Yo.
Yeah, I mean, a dominating performance by Area 77. 10K gold lead here. I mean, it's not
Fastest
15K from
NACT
last
production
game,
day?
so we could say that that they're getting Fiends are getting a little bit better. But man, Area 77 just right on the button, sharp as a nails right now.
It was normally like
Great
11.
execution of that, and a very early victory for them in game 2 of this series.
Yeah, I mean, another one-sided story. I mean, right now it's
Christina.
It's a little rough, right? I mean, when it comes
up?
to Fiends, I just feel like the Fiends in the regular season was a little bit stronger, and I think this is just boiling down to the synergy being a little bit off, right? I mean, that's a lot to step into, a lot of major changes this far in the game. It's an upscale battle. I mean, you're kind of fighting this internal battle on top of all the external sources you're going against, such as Area 77, who's already a little bit more comfortable on the scene. 16-4 for game number 2 at a 12-minute finish.
Yeah, and I mean, even with some of the changes, you can see they're not a single tower or objective for the sides of Fiends. They quickly got overwhelmed here by that, and this was kind of I kind of saw this when it came.
This playoffs is about DA, Area 77, GG, and BTK.
Tarzan 7-2
Kahari equals game changer.
Again, laying his claim there, 3-0 and 10. JQ doing a great job.
Yeah,
with
next
his 10
win will be
as
over.
I mean, just the entire team. Area 77, we talked about it. It's just unfortunate. Area 77, with how strong they are, how much synergy they have, and how well they play in the playoffs, it's just not a team to be testing a new roster against. And it's unfortunate. I've heard that Fiends, they have issues.
They don't have
the issues was with like school, work, quizzes, and midterms and things like that coming off, which is unfortunate. But that's kind of the rules we play by here in North America, where like there's just other things that happen when it comes to the teammates there. For me, like my question right now is, how bad is Brayanar on Rome? And can we put Kahari back in the marksman lane? Because it feels like is Brayanar that bad that we can't have Kahari?
There's crazy shit happening in the background, chat.
Just to kind of, because he was always the highlight reel for Fiends right now. It just feels like they've lost that magic right now. You can see here, Rich Guy 903 ISO in the gold lane. Mar Cutie coming up as the carry. Yuri Cutie getting the 89,000 damage onto himself, and J Cutie with 10 assists.
Yeah, Area 77, just a really good game. Yoreshi over there head-to-head in the XP lane up against Yuri Cutie. I mean, the KDA alone, man, it's just a very rough game. I think it just kind of boiled down to overall the objectives.
Do the team still get $100 if they win these series in the playoffs?
Game number 2 and also game number 1, a little bit of a repetitive pattern. As you are going to go ahead and see that damage dealt, the highest damage for today's match. It's going to go to Mark Cutie, right? Once a goal laner, now in the mid lane, wreaking havoc with the Valentina.
Yeah, a huge amount of damage there, and I don't want to say, like, I kind of talked about it. I feel like right now it's not just the roster, but it's also
meta with a new HP based magic
of
item.
The roster. That's we're kind of ironing down Pro Destroy into certain jungle picks too. He tried out this Dairoth immediately. I knew like what was his target going to be, and was he going to be able to close the distance?
It's been a little while.
Was trying to get onto ISO. I know in the late game he was able to find a kill onto ISO. That's just because he got very low during a team fight. But when it came to like where Dairoth shines, when it comes to those lane ganks, he was still having trouble trying to be able to close the distance, and it's something we saw right from the beginning.
Yeah, and I feel like the tank mage synergy is also something we have to kind of look at too, right? I mean, it's like the glue, the spine of the book, and that's really where Area 77 I feel like is doing a little bit better, because we don't really see Chirobami and Kohari rotating together as a unit, as if they're reading 2 different books. But speaking of
Nightward's about to scrim.
We got something, a little bit of a surprise
we'll see
for everybody out there in the land of Dawn before we jump into the next match. That's right, guys. We are going to be having a giveaway. Make sure you guys claim this hero skin, the Reactor Core Atlas. This is the last time y'all saw that Atlas in the land of Dawn. Definitely would be excited to see it today. Hey, maybe gonna manifest that into reality, but the skin is available, limited quantity, 30 out, first come, first serve.
Yeah, not 31, 30 this time, and not 40. So yeah, go ahead and snatch that up quickly. A little bit of a little giveaway for you guys right away. You have to be fast though. Got to be very quick on your phone. Actually, you don't even need to. It's got the scanning code right there, so you just kind of scan it while you're watching on your screen, and boom. You got everything all loaded up for you.
Yeah, they need to claim that code faster than the cameraman trying to pan around on that last game we had when it was that high mobility. But man, Private, it's been a day so far, right? I would say the first series was a sweep game. Series 2, it's 2-0. It's match point. Fiends, they need to find an answer to turn this back around in their favor up against Area 77. Man, I gotta say, I think me and you can agree on this. It's the synergy.
We can interview
right?
Jay.
It's when you change so much at such a fast rate, you don't have time to really practice
ISO
it out
didn't
and
interview last time. Maybe we force him to interview this time.
Very risky move this late in the game, and I think that's something that Area 77 has been leaning toward for this series.
Last time he dipped.
Yeah, it's a commonality that we've seen here, especially from the last series. I mean, if you thought there was a domination from Gaimin Gladiators in the last series here, I mean, right now, Area 77 is kind of taking it to the Fiends right now. I mean, they went from a team that was able to take down Gosu, that was having a little bit of success here in the seasonal games, that right now they just have not been able to find their footing, and especially just not able to find, even when it comes to like ganks, the only real gank that we saw there was from ProDestroy, and he was kind of by himself. And this is kind of the complaint I made a little bit about LEGACi when it came to their synergy kind of getting around the lanes, where they used to just go at one person was going there. It was the whole team needs to respond either to the objectives or to those ganks on the side lane to help facilitate that, to make sure that maybe some of those abilities are burned out already, so that Claude doesn't have the BMI before ProDestroy comes in there for that Abyssal Strike or something like that.
Yeah, definitely keys to victory, especially when they pick these heroes. You got to be able to not only to execute, but understand like what it takes for that hero to start having the impact you're looking for. Like you mentioned, something like a Claude, something like a late game marksman. They rely on survivability, and they rely on your team getting the neutral objectives. When neither of those happen, when you get bursted down, or when your team is not getting these turtles and they're not finding the trade-offs, it makes it harder for you to kind of shine where you're supposed to. In Area 77, I mean, they're kind of looking like how Gaimin Gladiators was, right? They're taking all the neutral objectives, they're taking everything with little to no contest, and you're not really seeing too much of a kickback from Fiends. You see Kohari pop in here and there. He's like, hey, I'm here, but you guys are here too, and you got the numbers, and then he ends up getting taken down. And then that's just kind of where the disaster starts to happen. So we kind of have to see where this goes moving forward. I will say, I don't like seeing sweeps. I like seeing things go all the way. And hey, this is the playoffs, Private. Day 1. Best of 5. If you had any chance, this is your shot.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I do have to say a little bit of the lag. The apparent reason is that we do have a roster swap coming up for the side of Fiends. You can see there, ProDestroy is going to be subbed out for Magic, but it's not going to be Magic coming in as a jungler. From what I understand, we're going to be swapping around the roles a bit here for Fiends, and Magic will be going to his normal spot at mid, and the rest of the roster is going to adjust for that.
Oh man,
you cut it out.
It's like committing open heart surgery and brain surgery at the same time in a burning building. But we'll have to see how this kind of goes with the roster changes. Hopefully it works in their favor. Hopefully everything's all right. But Synergy is going to be their biggest enemy, even outside of Area 77, and I hope they can find it in game number 3.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because usually they had Churubami at mid, so I'm assuming maybe Churubami might be going as the jungler. Whatever it is, I kind of hoping that the answer involves Kohari in the marksman lane, because I mean, not to take anything away from Brayanar, but Kohari
we had a little bit of a swap
happen
here
for the Fiends. That no matter, it's one of those little talking points that I bring up when we talk about the greatest marksman in North America right now. It's marksmen that are able to do their job, get their gold, and be successful despite how their team is doing. And Kohari has proven that he is one of those marksmen, that even if his team is behind, eventually he's going to hit his power spike, eventually he's going to be able to force forward, and he's going to be able to get a lot of those kills and turn around a lot of that momentum for his team. But I mean, we've been harping a little bit on Fiends here, but let's not take anything away from like how great Area 77 is
What up,
and has been
Frostbite?
looking out there from their picks to
It's been a
dominating
minute,
their
eh?
lanes to how well they've been rotating. It's just been, this is an Area 77, like I said, that we love to see here in the playoffs.
Blocked too many
it's kind of a
already.
funny little
So I got
statistic
another
to throw out there,
crappy
but
ad.
Area 77 is
For some
4 wins in a
reason,
row right
YouTube's
now.
throwing out a lot of
They're
ads
definitely on that
today.
train, and they want to stay on it as long as they can. But speaking about staying on track of things, we're going to jump into the draft. Area 77 up against Fiends. Both teams ready to take it out again in the land of Dawn. But now we have to see where this goes, right? Area 77. Wait, are we? We're in game. Okay. So yeah, as we are, we're keeping things
Probably
interesting.
easier
Looking
to
at the
interview
fans so far,
Tarzan.
we are looking at the double support knocked out for both sides. And now we're looking at me in private again. Private.
What's
You
up?
want me to
Can't wait for it to
tell them to spice it
jump
up?
back into there. But hey, let's just jump back on that point. When you were talking about Kohari, you were talking about what he kind of provides for the team. I think he's the tempo setter, right? I mean, when he thrives, they thrive. When he doesn't, they don't. So I
Probably.
think they just kind of need to play into Kohari, and that's going to be their strongest thing. But now back into the land of Dawn. We are going to go ahead and
bring
get
more
ready
energy?
to class it out, though. Ignore the role icons. It's just we like to keep things interesting, keep you guys on your toes. All right, but another support taking off. We are going to see the Angela for Area 77.
I do like
I'll
this
let 'em
band
know.
coming out from the side of Fiends here. I was about to say CC and Claude are the main issues right now for Area 77. You just need to either have an answer or just take
CC
them
and
off
Claude
the
are
board for Area
definitely
77 as
what you
both of these
don't
players,
wanna
your
face
Rushy
against.
and ISO have shown just how dominant they can be in their lanes with these. We're going for that first pick for Area 77 now.
Yeah, first pick on the board. A lot to grab, and it looks like it'll be the safety route with that Fredgen. Most likely going to be in the jungle, which means they have a lot of frontline capability, some CC stacked alongside it, and survivability. On the other side of the table, Fiends going to risk it early, going to go in for their mage. They're going to pick up the Valentina. Now, I'm not too against it. I don't necessarily think I would have picked it there, but it still works because it provides draft pressure to make Area 77 think twice before they slot their next picks.
Yeah, I was about to say too, like, even though I prefer Valentina in an answer to something because you see ultimates out there that you're going to want to steal, but at this point, if you pick it early, it does mean that it kind of delegates to Area 77. Now you have to think about what ultimates you're going to give me because I have a Valentina out there, and so it's going to have to adjust some of their roster. You see a Zaman Force out there for ISO. Valentina's not going to be able to do much with that, and we're going to see how many other ultimates we're going to be juggling around here for Area 77.
Yeah, and speaking of answers, a little bit of a counter right there. You're going to see the Harris picked up the response over there to Brianar on the carry. Brianar has
After the NACT, I'm probably going to go get some like Red Bulls and stuff, chat. So
key points earlier
I might
today,
be AFK for a bit, but I plan to play some ranked games. I also have to get BTK ready for a scrim.
Now that's a very bold statement because the
So after the NACT, I might be slightly busy.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Profit off of it. It's
I'd like to play some ranked games, but I might not be able to play it live.
Like kind of
I don't know. We'll
basically telling you guys, I dare you to pick Roger. We're trying to take that off of the board. It's also a decent counter for Joy, but I don't really think there's too many people on Fiends that really like to play that Joy. And in fact, I'm not even sure who's jungling on their side right now. So I mean, that actually kind of might be a little bit of a plus on the side of Fiends because it's all kind of up in the air. We don't even know who's jungling, so we don't really know what picks are there for them and what is available. So maybe we take off. We don't take off some of those more mechanical heroes, and maybe somebody there on Fiends actually plays a decent mechanical Fanny, a decent mechanical Joy.
Which team are they streaming? We'll be
so we got the roles now.
Working with that team.
Inside of the jungle.
I don't know if I can tell you.
Whoa! Switching it up. Magic will be in the roam position. Brianar will be the gold, and
we'll be scrimming Nighthorde.
Will be in the XP lane. Is that something you would have predicted?
I will not be streaming the scrimmage.
It honestly, if
not
I
at
was,
all.
Set on Brianar being in gold lane, the only other adjustment I would have made was Kohari as a jungler, which fits. We've talked before about how well some of these roles kind of lend themselves to another role that might be
because
that might be beneficial.
it could expose some of their
Marksman
secrets.
Lane and the jungle kind of come in together. I want to say because the jungle is what the marksman wishes it could do, but it has to be patient. It has to get its gold. It needs to wait.
More likely, I'll probably be in the VC with him.
Mid game, and you're able to shine off. The jungle can do that right away, and I feel like it might benefit Kohari's play style.
Man, I'll tell you what. He might be breaking the record for swapping the most roles in the NACT.
That's all right, Mark.
In a single season. I mean,
I gotta make sure.
The gold lane,
I gotta make sure my team makes it, man.
I mean, man, this
I can't
expose
him.
This dude nickname, Mr. Do It All. I mean, he just has.
I gotta dedicate time as a manager.
Every step of the way. But the options that he has available, are they the right choices? And that's what we're going to be looking into today. Another pickup, though, for the side of Area 77. They are going to go ahead and slot in that Vexana. So they're going to be able to have that Eternal Guard, that knock up, to be able to provide a little bit more damage to the side of Fiends. But speaking of Fiends, they have mobility. They picked up the Yuzong.
Ooh, and the Masha pickup. It's that's going to be in the XP lane as well. If you guys haven't seen a lot, I know in North America it's been slowly picking up. Masha does an immense amount of damage, especially now that her Thunderclap ultimate resets with every single bar that she loses. I know we saw it a little bit, I want to say, from the side of LEGACi, who I feel like they just took it off the table because they didn't want to see it on the Gaimin Gladiators. But here, I mean, we might be able to see, especially as you go into the mid game with Masha. Once she gets that first item, usually a Blade of Hephaestus, she's going to be one-shotting a lot of these targets here on the side of Fiends.
I think Private's talking about some of his ranked matches he's been doing recently, man. You definitely know he's speaking from experience. But speaking of experience, something that we've seen across the land of Dawn for a decent amount of time, Ube strat may be in effect for the side of Fiends. They are going to pick up that Estus alongside that Barat, so they're going to be playing that little tank and support method to be able to rush in and take these neutral objectives. We know the heals from Estus can definitely be overwhelming. Now, I'm really excited to see how this plays off. We don't really get to see the Estus and Barat's combination too often. They have late game in the bag as well, too. They do have that carry, but it may be a problem up against the Harith, who is the direct counter.
Yeah, hats off right now to Fiends, especially Kohari, dude, who has been, he's basically laid claim here that, I mean, I don't know where my team needs me, but I'm going to fill that role to help out this team, regardless of how the roster is, doing his best here to try to help out Fiends where they need it.
Yeah, it just shows how flexible of a player he is and how dedicated he is to trying to win this out. Area 77 up against Fiends, game number 3, match point. Fiends needs to find a way to turn this around. Can they get the reverse sweep, or will Area 77 knock them down to the lower bracket?
1% moving over to Area 77. It was 80% to 20% there, and I think they lost that 1% with that last game, unfortunately. We're gonna see here how well it kind of comes together. I'm eager to see how well. I haven't seen too many Mashas in the XP lane. I've seen a lot of them as a roam position. I've seen some Masha junglers. I'm eager to see how well, especially because Masha, her early game is not very favorable, and against somebody like Yuzong, who can potentially bully, it might be a little bit of a mark there, as we see a lot of impure rages there when it comes to the emblems for the side of Area 77.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, this is technically a new lineup for Fiends right now, right? I mean, this is different synergy from game number 2 and 1, and they're being very aggressive, but it looks like it's kind of working in their favor, at least on the bottom side. A lot of damage is dealt over to the JQT. He will be forced to go back to the base.
Yeah, and a little bit of a press up at top. Not too big of engagement. Now we're starting to see Kohari move to the top. The big thing here is I want to see how well the team synergizes together. Do we have the call-outs from Kohari? Are we going to get more of a group of like 3 or 4 people looking for ganks in some of these lanes? And are we going to all be lined up when it's time for these objectives?
Yeah, you are seeing Magic. He is rocking that Quantum Charge, so it would be a little bit more mobile, especially running that Estus, needing to get back to safety. He does have the Flicker to be able to expand that distance as well. The heals may be a problem for Area 77 if left unchecked. You are going to go ahead and see Fiends, and this is different than the last 2 games, right? They're looking like they may be able to take control of these neutral objectives if they play it off right, but Area 77 not trying to let it go without a fight. First turtle going to Fiends.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference here. I mean, last game, Area 77, last 2 games, I want to say, Area 77, barely even let Fiends even get sight of the turtle. Here, Fiends get their first turtle unanswered from Area 77 here.
Yeah, on the bot side, ISO taking a couple of hits. Brian R doing a good job sustaining himself down there. Nobody has fallen so far, but the first turtle will go to FIENDS, giving him a little bit of that boost in momentum and also the economy over Area 77, as well as experience. Speaking of experience, 2v1 rotation to the top side. YuRiKuity hit with the Eternal Guard. YuRiKuity trying to go in for the final hit, but it looks like he will be able to get out of there with very low HP.
Yeah, a little bit of a bait there from the side. Oh, still got him. I'm wondering if that was the Eternal Guardian or a little bit. Yeah, that had to have been the Eternal Guardian. Eventually caught up to YuRiKuity, slowly but surely making his way to Yuzong.
I think the Eternal Guardian was able to get a battle spell of his own, like he used the execution on him last second, trying to close that distance. Well, speaking of closing distance, Zalman Force dropping down. Brian R very low. Kahari wrapping around. Magic keep the team alive with the Blessing of the Moon Goddess. JQD and ISO 2v3. Make that possibly 4. Chirobami thought about going down there, but quickly shifting focus to the mid lane.
Yeah, he's going to try to clear up. Well, and this is the thing, too. He's going up there while you see this engagement still kind of happening down at the bottom, looking for something here onto YuRiKuity.
Yeah, very low, though. Not going to be able to get out of there. Too much CC to handle. Tarzan will be able to take the second kill of the game for Area 77. They want more, though. Airborne knock up YuRiKuity. Finding Chirobami for their third kill. Brian R very low. ISO, man, looking like Tony Montana out there himself. That was a 2v1.
That's where Guardians have map packs.
A lot of heavy damage to Brian R.
Yeah, and you can see here already. Oh, actually starting with the Sea Halberd is the Masha YuRiKuity. So he's going to try to take away a lot of what kind of makes that Yuzong stand out. A lot of that regenning ability.
I think definitely does like auto attack you.
On the other side, receiver still trying
I've been reaching out to teams and
stuff. Is carry.
Yeah, big Minoan Fury, but the turtle will fall. Chirobami is going to go ahead and take one. JQD will drop. YuRiKuity takes down Tarzan. YuRiKuity to respond will find Magic. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. But this time the turtle goes to Area 77.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and you can see there, YuRiKuity comes in, thunderclaps, finds himself 2 kills, and just narrowly able to find himself an escape. Zalman Force down.
Area 77 is looking super strong.
Any part of that problem, you're looking at a different story right now from what we've seen in game number 1 and game number 2. And hey, I said it. I don't like seeing sweeps, and if they keep up this pace, you know, Area 77 may have to find a new strategy.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, it's not too bad right now. About a 1,600 gold lead for the side of Area 70. Not as dominant as the game they had before. The games they had before this. Ooh.
Dennis Welcome will connect for the stun onto JQD, but now the counterplay, the Minoan Fury knockup.
That was really aggressive for no reason.
JQD able to get the kill off of it as well.
Like it was unnecessary for him to just ultimate into the enemy's tower like that.
Their footing.
Like what the fuck?
Kahari seeing red there.
Did he suspect that Estes to keep him alive?
Into Area 77 territory to get that Detna's welcome, and then ends up kind of costing his team as it was the perfect set, the perfect opportunity for JQD to come in with a Minoan Fury, which kind of set his entire team.
Yeah, and Guardian's helmet picked up by Kahari. Should be able to sustain himself and stay in these fights even longer with some regen as he rotates around the map. We are going to see the turtle spawn in the next 15 seconds. Both sides actually able to claim one so far. You're looking at Area 77 up by 3 kills, but this is still anybody's game. And I think they realize that, right? They're not trying to overstay their welcome. They're just trying to wait for FIENDS to make a mistake, but it doesn't look like they plan on doing that anytime soon.
You can see like the mouse.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, 5-2 right now. It's a much more even game. Area 77 now starting to get a little bit more dominant. FIENDS just not in a position to really counteract as they start coming in.
Black Dragon from YuRiKuity dropping down with the Petrify. Tarzan QD appraises Wrath last second before the stun claims the turtle.
I think you might be looking at the one without the overlays.
Grip, knock up from the Minoan Fury. YuRiKuity will find Magic.
Really?
YuRiKuity finds a response back, takes down YuRiKuity. MarQuity will find Kahari a 1-for-2 trade in the turtle pit, but in the mid lane, the chase still on the way, and Chirobami on the bot side.
Yeah, I see it on the gameplay. Yeah.
Needs to get out of there. MarQuity will find him. ISO finds Chirobami. I
think that was the same thing when me and Sherry used to do it. I always would get confused because like I'd be looking at the mouse and then it'd be dragging it down the screen when I'm trying to control it.
YuReshiCutie came in
it was
there,
always a pain.
Dove in, thunderclap, gets himself a kill, dies in the process.
It never came on the stream though.
As the rest of Area 77 able to kind of collapse in around the Fiends, and then they just picked them off one by one as they were trying to make their escape.
Yeah,
I think
a little
so.
bittersweet for them. Definitely not what they had planned right there. This is going to give a big boost to Area 77.
A lot of RG games I get to play now.
They're looking for a mistake, and they found one, but a response back possibly on the way. Denton is welcome. Will connect. Kohari very low. YuReshiCutie with that thunderclap going in is going to be able to take him down. Magic on the retreat. Bryanar, Chirabami by his side will be able to burst down the Eternal Guard, but you are going to go ahead and see Area 77 with ground control.
Yeah, 4-1 and 2 for YuReshiCutie right now. He's having a heck of a game right now. Looks like he's building. Oh, he just got that BOD. So now, I mean, you thought he was doing damage before. He is going to be coming in there with haymakers every single time these.
Did we just lose caster volume?
Engagements come open. And
I think it just might be my side.
So hard. This is why Masha is usually banned.
I sound okay, right?
NA right now, because there's just really nothing you can do to stop her.
I had a little bit of a lag on the
mid game, and
on
once
the
you start
YouTube
getting
side.
items.
Yeah, and this
Maybe
is
it's my
different than the
internet
Masha
having a
game we seen
hiccup
earlier, which really didn't have any profit. And this is interesting because you mentioned that Masha picked up the.
But it was weird though, because like I could see it on my right side, like the live feed, perfectly fine.
Inside of YuReshi's favor, and right now 12-3, up by a decent amount of kills at the 9-minute mark, and leading in terms of turrets and turtles. They're looking to claim some more real estate. You're going to see the knock-up on the way, but no one's sure not going to be able to connect for the set they're looking for. Kohari with a lot of chain CC. ISO will find the kill. YuReshiCutie, wait a second. Black Dragon trying to stop them from taking the tier 2 turret for the mid lane. Not able to get there in time, but YuReshi.
Jerry, I'm going to send you a picture of how many like games I have open here.
Trying to find a pick off. Oh my goodness.
Look at this.
The essence. The residue will connect onto JCutie and the kill going over to YuReshiCutie.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, and YuReshi doing a good job there. He goes in, bursts down about 2 health bars. Once he gets down to his last one, he makes himself an escape. All the while, Fiends have to back off because every single punch that he lays out there is doing an exorbitant amount of damage.
The left side's one big one.
Fiends
I only have two actual monitors.
10K gold deficit. A 9K at the 9-minute mark. And this has just been the playstyle right here for Area 77. 1K per minute.
I've only had curve now, so.
Ooh, speaking of advancing, Denton is welcome connecting for the set. YuReshi very low. ISO will find Kohari just
let me go get Tarzan.
The Praises Rat dropping down, but hit with the Terrify from Chirabami, but rushing in with the energy of Raptor Tarzan on the dive. ISO
yo, Tarzan.
with the follow-up.
You're the
siege on the way, trying to claim one of these inhibitors minions. Intact.
We try to get ISO. We tried to get ISO last time, but look, they're all leaving. They're all
just
leaving.
a well-oiled machine here, pushing their way into it. They got all the towers until the high grounds, and now trying to force their way through mid.
Yeah, trying to close us out.
Dave said we got to get you on there so you can get all the women, bro.
Possibly to knock down Fiends into the lower bracket. 2 more inhibitors to go through in a 4-man team. They have the numbers. They have the advantage. Can they follow through? ISO.
Let's see.
Inhibitor, big knockup. Tarzan will find Magic. Black Dragon from YuReshiCutie getting back to the base for regen. Kohari will fall Thunderclap over there from YuReshi to secure the kill. Furious dive from YuReshiCutie connecting to 3 members of Area 77. YuReshi will find YuReshiCutie.
Area 77 is the hardest one to get an interview with. Tarzan said he's too tired. They want me to interview Jay.
Against the 4-man team of Area 77.
Let me get a link and make Smiling get someone in there.
Bryanar gets a double, finds ISO. The base crystal will fall.
I did, but he didn't want to.
Takes down Fiends with a clean.
They all like left the VC like super fast.
A refreshed playoff level Area 77 here. I mean, what to say about this team? YuReshi and YuReshiCutie leading the charge here, and absolutely laying waste to their opponent.
Yeah, laying down the law, letting them know, hey, we are here and ready to stay, landing from a whole nother planet and taking over yours. Now, team stats on the board, 19-6 and 40. I wouldn't say it was the easiest game for them, but they were still able to pull off that 9.
They did. Like when I was talking about the interview, they all just like scrammed, bro. You ever walk into a room and you start talking and everybody just runs? That's what happened.
Able to find the defensive stance on that Barats to be able to make up the difference, even with the Estes to keep him alive. And Area 77 punished.
Yeah, there were just some opportunities. Kohari, I want to say, split off from the team a little bit, not respecting the damage. That might be a little bit of a play style, or just not as understanding of the kit of Barats there. I mean, he charged in, he left himself open for a lot of those engagements, and he was getting bursted down. There's a certain point though too where it just comes on to the fact that Area 77 was just so far into the lead, so much damage, that there's not much that Kohari would have been able to do when you're dealing with the Zaman Force, the magic damage.
Is that private really? I think it's private's mic messing up, yeah.
And then I want to say Yoreshi here, 6-1
maybe private like blew his mic out.
A staple right now for these last 3 games here for Area 77. And then, like I was saying, Mark Cutie sitting at 3-0-11, just really laying down that suppressive fire to really burst down even a player and character as tanky as Kohari on that Barats.
And speaking of the game, just a little bit of a look at a couple of the stats so far. The Rich Guy ISO, highest gold per minute, and also the carry with the most damage, 75,000. Kohari, the sandbag, taking a lot of that damage on that Barats, and the Forgotten One racking up those phenomenal assists, sitting at
like 12. When I tell you, I popped in there and I was like interview, and then like all I heard was boop,
great
boop,
gameplay
boop,
by them.
Like literally they just all vanished. I was like
77. This is why I kind of picked them as my underdog pick here to do well in the playoffs, regardless of who they're facing, man. I mean, this is just a team that when it comes time for the playoffs, when it comes time to really show out, they really step up to the line. You see here head to head, Yoreshi Cutie really laying down the law into the XP lane, and there just wasn't much that Yuri Cutie was able to do.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they
Rose, come get interviewed, bro.
Put it out, and it lit up the room very quickly. Took down the entire building for Fiends. I mean, they did their best, right? We saw them go through 3 different rosters today, 3 different types of play styles, trying to find an answer, and it just wasn't there.
They all
Area
shy.
77 at every single door, waiting for them to open it. And they were able to execute. They were able to perform. And like you mentioned, they're a team that's went the additional mile, that's made it to an offline event for the playoffs previously in NACT. And it looks like they're trying to take it there again.
I just really like this composition from the side of Area 77 too, because you have so much CC,
good old production,
much suppressive fire being laid down from the Vexana, from ISO there, that when Yoreshi came in there, it was just easy pickings. He's just like finding the lowest person, punch, you're down. Finding the other next person, punch, you're down. All the while they're kind of trying to burst down his life bars, and he's just able to kind of find that escape, except for that one death.
I think it's private's mic that might be messing up.
Great games, guys. Did you expect it to go down this way? I mean, we expected
he sounds like a robot every so
victory,
often.
But not in this fashion, though.
Man, you gotta expect the unexpected, especially this NACT.
Easy night, Dave.
We're breaking records today. I mean, we're seeing players swap to multiple roles. Not something that we've seen too often, and I mean, it's definitely something that can kind of hinder you. Sometimes it can work, but this just didn't seem to be that occasion this time around. But hey, there's still another chance.
What up, not me? What up?
They kind of played out in the lower bracket, but Area 77, that was a little bit more expected. I think we predicted this. I think all 3 of us predicted Area 77 kind of
easy GG's game.
To the pure reason of the roster.
I might end up
Fiends,
just
I gotta extend this question to you guys too.
Closing out the stream and going to get a Red Bull and stuff, and then jumping on to do some RG shatter.
Would you still have picked Area 77 so confidently, or do you think it would have kind of shifted?
Ooh, this happened so quick.
Either direction.
Private, why don't you take
interviewed the losers?
for me, with Area 77 opening and beating BTK, I instantly became a fan.
Sir Rose was in my chat. I was like, get in here. Let's interview the coach.
It's hard to kind of pick against their showmanship from the last
then he disappeared
season
too.
I know how they can play in the playoffs. And Fiends was still that question mark, even with that 100% roster.
I am.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean,
I'll
it's
stream
one
my
thing
RGs.
that the regular season did for us is to provide.
I'll probably
us
end up
this
ending the stream and
ranking
trying
of
out
the
the new
tiers of
YouTube
each
short
teams
thing.
after the points that they
I
collected.
am
And we
excited.
just see that Phoenix,
Interview Dave.
although had a
The
very
chat saying
great
interview
start,
Dave.
we're not the top 4 contenders. The top 4 Area 77 was one of the top players. So definitely.
How you feel
I would
about these
agree
matches,
that
Dave? No.
Might have still voted for Area 77, but I think Fiends could have maybe taken a win or there. But that gives me the question, like, I want to interview Fiends and get to the bottom of it. What caused the roster change?
He did.
What went on for them to, like Private said it during the games, like, it must have been that their roamer was not it for Kohari to drop that
I just told
goal
him, I was like Tarzan interview, and he was like, nah, tired.
That
I was like, okay.
I feel like there could be a million reasons.
It wasn't a yes or no question, but all right.
Speculate. But nonetheless, I think it ends in the same results. It's just not proven to work in your best interest when you swap, especially in the playoffs, so suddenly. And hopefully, you know, they kind of learn and they progress and they find that more solidified team that they can focus on and perfect their flaws.
It's all right,
from what I've heard, and this is only
this is going to be a quick day,
it's mostly school exams, outside things that they needed to take care of that caused some of these roster changes. And that's kind of the friendlier side of some of these roster changes. And an unfortunate thing that you get here in North America, where a lot of these guys have other priorities when it comes to education and stuff like that, that you're going to kind of afford, which I'm honest say is probably a little better than some of these some of the roster changes that happen.
Hell, Dave, your favorite jungle?
Regardless, there is a synergy toll that must be paid when you do make some of these swaps. And Area 77, it's continues to impress. And that's another thing.
Did you hear myself
you got all these
laugh?
tests against a team like Area 77 that is just, it's basically what we've seen here is kind of what you do with some of these shakeups against teams that are established, like Gaimin Gladiators and Area 77, and that know what
He sounds like he's the one who slammed his mic on the desk.
The cost here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. And we understand with North America, these players do have other priorities, and we fully respect that. I mean, it is difficult to commit fully to
Everybody's
the
got
NACT when you don't have
mics.
the fundings, the sponsors, everything. So, I mean, just hopefully they
have
will
a
do
mic,
better
Dave?
in the lower brackets. And the MVP of the series will go to, drum rolls please, Ureshi. Safweezy, take us through it.
Oh, Ureshi, man, he's been a problem. He's a shot caller. He's high IQ. You name it, he's got it. And it definitely showcased today, as you are seeing him dominate with multiple different heroes, especially inside of that XP lane, initiating where needed, split pushing, creating the separation.
I had a Procaster
before,
but I didn't
neutral objectives
like it.
to give him the slightest advantage.
Yeah, not just that, but I heard that Ureshi has a big part when it comes to drafting, when it comes to a lot of these calls as well on the team. And just, I mean, he's just got a level of experience that is just matched by very few people here in North America. When it's in that lane, showed it to the point where they actually had to ban out that CC because he was so dominant in the first 2 games. But then
Private's mic is like
and dominates anyway in another fashion.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope this season Ureshi's visa situation has all gotten fixed up. Because he was a strong, dominating SP laner for the
Liz
past
just
year
setting
or so.
players out,
Not
chat.
always is he able to shine and then to have that stage to perform. But this season, I guess we're gonna see them continue outdoing themselves.
Liz throwing
we
hella
saw,
shade.
Maniac coming in from Tarzan today. So a lot of surprising plays, a lot of surprising hero posts as well.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what I'm all for, right? Yeah, we got to see a Maniac. We got to see 2 sweeps today. I was hoping for a long run in the 5, but hey, tomorrow's definitely another story, and we're just getting started. I mean, this is only day 1 of the playoffs, but guys, keep in mind, this is not the points anymore. This is not the regular season. It is make it or break it, as teams are going to be getting knocked out here soon.
Yeah, we still have 2 more series, exciting series coming from round 1 tomorrow. But all that's been answered today is that there's going to be an exciting match of Gaimin Gladiators versus Area 77 in round 2. And I'm really excited for that one too.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
that's not going to be happening tomorrow.
He actually said in a previous interview he thinks that Area 77 has a pretty similar draft with BTK.
Area 77 versus GG won't happen until next week.
To counter out Tarzan's hero.
Or is it even next
unfortunately,
week?
we don't have an interview with Tarzan today. We are going to see how Area 77 plays against GG, like you mentioned. Maybe they might clinch a win here and there because best out of 5 gives you a lot more
so we'll see playoff day 3 next week
on how well
which will be the decider of who makes it to the semifinals.
Unfortunately, today we didn't get to see the full 5 series, but maybe tomorrow
and then Sunday we'll have 4 matches like we normally have had, and then 4 teams will be going home.
They are very neck to neck with their points in their regular season.
So next weekend, 4 teams get knocked out of the NACT.
One side switching up their rosters and the other side not doing it at all. So, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think any of the roster changes coming in tomorrow might actually help the team instead of what they did today?
Joy Bosch. I think Joy Bosch will be an interesting one. I mean, him jumping back into the scene. He's played on 2 different teams so far this NACT. Both of them did not make it into the regular season, but now Joy Bosch having a second chance to redeem himself on a team that has that top 8 caliber, maybe the different story. So that is one that I'm looking forward to seeing. Now, can they pull it off?
Yeah.
Even though he's a great player, I think it's still going to boil down to like the synergy.
Today was
maybe a little bit of a challenge compared to other teams who don't switch it as often. But I would say that's one of the teams I am looking forward to seeing. I want to see just how well with Devious Activity picking up Joy Bosch, how effective they will be. And then they also have Melon too, switching. So that'll be interesting for the gold lane.
The playoff.
Well, Melon, he's already been a mainstay. I think he was subbing in for the last few matches for Devious Activity. I think that's the big question. Devious has got a lot of changes to their roster, but all
right, chat.
As far as
we're gonna call
overarching support,
I'm gonna get to this NACT meeting
for a while.
I'm gonna wrap up a couple other things, and then I'm gonna go grab some Red Bulls, and then I'll probably go re-live. I want to try out that new YouTube short format and see how well that does us. And then we'll go from there. We'll go from there.
I'll
be back on in a couple, maybe in an hour or so.
A lot more respect than I think a lot of people give it.
So I'll see you guys there
in a lot of these matchups.
Catch you later.
So as much as I feel like they have some synergy, I feel like maintaining that same roster, it's a powerful thing, especially as we move into these playoffs. And we've seen, I mean, I want to say, like, there's just been a difference between how some of these teams perform in the playoffs. I mean, even LEGACi stepping up, I want to say, a lot more aggressive, a lot more synergized with some of their ganks into the side lanes and how they operated. Not able to get over the hurdle that is Gaimin Gladiators, but then also how FIENDS kind of had some issues coming up above a lot of the roster swaps that they had here.
You guys can still hear me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Devious Activity is pulling back that BTK 2.0 vibes with the new roster swap. That's definitely a roster swap that's more tactical and strategic rather than just players not being able to commit to the tournament. But let's take a recap of today's matches. We had